What are those like? All those like databases they?
I'm not on camera.
Do you want to be on camera?
Kinda.
Okay, well, fine.
Do they not recognize your arm?
What?
Fix it.
Should. Hold on.
Just change the angle so we can all get in there. Oh, no, Jerry's not on camera.
Yeah. I don't think
He knew what he was doing.
Wait, let's go here.
Yeah, try that. That could work.
I just gotta creep in.
Been working out my back.
I got the Infinity Gauntlet in the car. I should have brought it in.
Oh,
yeah.
you should bring it in.
It started raining.
I know.
You want me to grab it?
Nah, you're fine.
All right.
You don't have much time anyways. You have.
Yeah, I got like half hour.
You have 30 minutes.
Oh, really?
So what are we talking about today?
So,
Aladdin.
anyways, hold on. Before we get this started, we're actually going to do an intro day. Hi, guys. Welcome to Simon Says. My name is John Simon, and with me is my trusty producer, Jere, as well as
Hello.
my roommate and friend, Karl, as well as my fellow Marvel friend and he wanted to go. I can't even do the intro right because I'm so angry about this movie.
It's okay. It's okay. They couldn't do the end, so it's fine.
Wow.
Thank you. Hey, Josh Nierenberg, say hello, Josh.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Ooh, he sounds great on here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds weird hearing myself.
Yeah, you hear yourself?
Yeah.
John constantly talks about how nice everybody else sounds, and he said, yes, that's what we've been dealing with.
Well, because you never hear anybody else because he's always talking.
Anyways, guys, so the big topic today is going to be
Aladdin.
First trailer was awful.
La Llorona, Curse of the La Llorona. I think we all went and saw that last night, right? Curse
Yeah.
of the La Llorona. I mean, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, right. What'd y'all think?
Oh, just
I left after
masterful.
the trailers.
I wish they did some time travel in it though. That would have been nice.
You bastard. Okay, before we get started, by the way, no one here is a quantum physics expert. Okay, let's just
No one here knows about time
Nobody
travel.
That's
knows
100%
anything
not on
about
my
time
resume.
travel. And I'm not a quantum physicist.
It's pretty much easy to say that time travel doesn't exist because if it did, somebody in the future would have already come back.
That's a theory I've said, but at the same time, unless it's like the stupid Avengers movie did, you just create another timeline.
Yeah, John would have come back and
Which
rewritten
didn't happen.
Avengers, I think.
Okay, quantum mechanics and quantum physics. We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Can we stick to our strengths? Let's go back
Quantum
to comic
Leap.
books.
I can talk about Quantum Leap.
We can talk about Quantum Leap, maybe. Hopefully do a reboot of that. But anyways, all right, anyways, before we get started, Jerry, from 1 to 10, what would you
11.
give the game? So here we go. Here's the thing. Everyone here liked the movie, right?
He just gave both timelines a 5.5. That's really what's happening.
Well, in theory, there's effectively 3 potential timelines. But referencing Game of
1, 2,
Thrones,
yeah.
if there's no memories of that, then they don't exist. So if they don't tell the stories, there's only the one timeline.
So here's the deal. So we all have like differing opinions of the movie. Jerry loved it.
And by the way, I hate time travel movies because there's no stakes. Yet
See,
somehow they
Yeah,
made
exactly.
That, they made
Yeah,
that work in this.
Yeah.
See, okay, anyways. Carl, on the other hand, he's kind of like what? What would you give?
See, I'll give it a 9.
You see, so Carl
I'll give it a 9.
and then Josh.
A 9 was my initial score leaving the theater. Then I went back, thought about it, went to sleep, woke up pissed, and I had to drop it to an 8.5, and then it's all the way down to an 8 right now.
So what's going to happen tomorrow?
I'm really thinking on rewatchability, it could get worse because the 3 things that bother me are, well, 2 of them are constant throughout the movie, and one thing is just
before
the
you get to
end.
that, hold on. I'm going to give my score. And I last night I thought about it. I'm like, all right, maybe an 8, and then I woke up same story as Josh. I'm like, fuck that movie. I give
First
it a
off,
6.5.
John is bald-faced lying because he sent me a text after he got out of the movie.
No, but
Not like it. That was not an 8 text.
that was an 8.
That was not
wasn't. That wasn't.
No,
You
when
hate
I came home-
everything.
when I came out
You
of the
literally
apartment,
hate
you were
everything.
sitting there moping.
Walking out of the theater, and then when I sat in the car is when I texted you.
Okay.
Yeah. So initially like an 8. And then when I texted you, I'm like a 7.5.
The parking
And then I
lot
woke-
took off a point.
And then I woke up in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck that movie. It's a 6.5. Now, granted, 6.5 is not fuck that movie. It's just there are some things
It's a
that in that
pass.
movie.
Yeah, it's a pass.
It's
And for
that's
me,
a watchable movie.
Yeah, so right now, I'm gonna go see it again. Obviously,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotta go
for
see
sure.
it.
Yeah, we all have to see it
Required.
again.
We all have.
I've just gotten out of my second screening. I have a third one scheduled tomorrow and a
kidding
4th
me.
one on Sunday.
All
like
right,
it that
everybody
much?
bow down.
Well, the 4th one I'm seeing Sunday with the guy that I've seen comic book movies since X-Men 3 was released. And
So
then,
1 for each timeline.
well, yeah.
So
Well,
you
the
started with
previous
the bar
ones.
super low. That's why you're at an 11.
All right, hold on. So how about Josh, Carl? You guys want to go see it in IMAX on Sunday? Maybe if we can find tickets.
Well, if we can do it Sunday evening, I work during the day. I get off at like 4:30. Definitely for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are tickets. There are tickets available in the evening. That's where I had to find.
Yeah. My seats were terrible, so I would love to see it.
Well,
late. I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, also, as you had mentioned or alluded to yesterday, there'll be people that will choose to watch Game of Thrones live.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
So that'll be some of the movie
shit.
fans.
Yeah, we got to see it at 11.
So we'd have to go see it after
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, because
That's fair.
Which
The Battle
actually,
of Winterfell. This is the
which-
biggest weekend. in
Yeah, you can't
entertainment
miss that
history.
one, yeah.
While we are talking about this, I'm going to go and look up showtimes.
and which
But
actually
anyways,
that would work out better because nobody's going to see the movie that late on a Sunday.
Valid point. Yep.
So, anyways, guys, why?
Okay,
oh,
first off, so
Yeah,
everybody,
11, really?
no, this is spoiler all over the place.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
spoiler all
Listen,
over your
guys,
face.
If you guys care to find out how Carl's Bumble and Hinge account goes,
That's not this show.
That's not going to be this one.
No, it's going to be at the end of the show.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
I'm just going to go. And
No,
say,
we don't have a lot of time because I got to do business stuff
what time
before
does it be
things
done?
close. Well, I mean, we have to like 5. So
Okay, well, no. We're listen. I'm giving this movie an hour and a half talk minimum, maximum. So, right now.
Then I'll
okay.
just go back in
I have
time
30
and
minutes of
restart it
rage.
over.
I have
Yeah,
30
you
minutes
have
of rage.
30
Yeah, okay,
minutes.
okay. Well, yeah.
So let's go ahead.
Let's start with Josh.
Let's start with you.
Yeah, because no, you said something that was pretty interesting to me because you said there was one thing consistently throughout the movie, two things consistently at the movie you didn't like.
Yes.
So that's pretty because most people were like, "Oh, the end. That's where it killed him." So
That was the cherry on top. That's not
Yeah.
even like that's not the thing I'm the maddest about. I can be okay. Spoiler talk coming right now. The thing I'm the like
Fast forward an hour and a half,
being
you won't
happy,
care.
like Cat being happy, going back in time and being with Peggy. I can be okay with that. Like, all right,
Yeah.
we're gonna glance over this plot hole to deal with that. The one thing I refuse to forgive is how you make Thor such a beast in the last movie, and you let him chop off Thanos' head in the first 10 minutes. By the way, didn't see that shit coming.
no, didn't see that.
No,
Great job.
No, hold on. Jerry.
Everybody went,
No,
"Whoa."
hold on,
it
wait,
was
time
awesome.
out. Jerry, no, last podcast, I predicted, second episode, I predicted that they were going to handle the Thanos issue within 30 minutes. Like, they're going to take care of it immediate. And that's what they actually really did. But anyways, go on.
He has 20
He's
minutes,
inevitable.
and you want to pat
It's
yourself
okay.
on the back.
It's okay. That's all. That's all. It's a lot of back. That's all he does.
I predicted it.
Yes.
Saying.
So, like I was saying, so we have Thor, who just comes out of the last movie, takes on the full force of a star, forges the weapon,
Yeah.
stabs Thanos in the chest, changes the whole tide of the war, and then he comes in this movie and he's the big Thorbowski. He has been drinking and eating Cheese Whiz for 5 years.
Trying to
and
get his
he's-
rug back.
He's fat.
Yeah.
Fat Thor, and it was just. It was funny for 60 seconds. For about a minute, I was like, we cracked up. We all cracked up.
I thought it was
did.
hilarious.
But
I'm like,
then once
he's going to be fat watch.
yeah, but then once it stuck, and then he was a whining bitch for the rest of the movie. He needed a pep talk from his mommy.
His dead
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah, his
His dead mother.
dead mom.
5 years into the future.
Yeah.
Just think about this for a second. Like, just keep going.
No, and it's the thing is, like, he needed a pep talk from his dead mom. And one thing that proves is no matter how tough you are, none of us want to go talk to our ex-girlfriends. So, yeah, he was scared to get the ether out of her. Another plot hole. That's the reality stone now. How did Steve Rogers get that back into her?
Awkward conversation, I'm sure.
You guys just Steve Rogers looking at Natalie Portman's butt, just going, "I can do this all day."
That's America's ass.
America's ass.
So wait, no. So Thor and Chris Evans are Eskimo brothers now.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
yeah, absolutely.
We're avenging all over the place.
I think he put it in him, and then he put it in her.
Oh
Anyways.
God, like the human centipede with stones.
Asgard
so,
centipede.
going way off topic. So the Thor thing absolutely
gonna
killed it
happen
for me. He was whiny, but then when he got Mjolnir, I expected, all right, now he's gonna like trim down and be back to himself. No, he fought him as Fat Thor.
Yeah.
And the second thing is no retribution for the Hulk. The Hulk was completely not wasted because they used him to do the snap to bring
Yeah.
everybody back, and
Yeah.
they kind of made sense. Oh, it's radiating gamma. I have to do this.
I'm
So-
the strongest of the guys.
Yeah, so it made sense. Which
Outside of
outside of
Thor,
Thor,
but
Captain
this
Marvel.
Thor was not the
And then
strongest
where
of the
fuck's
guys at
Captain
that
Marvel
time.
this time? Oh, I'm out in space doing nothing. No, she sat out a beacon saying, "Yo, dude, come back."
Yeah.
Rocket came back immediately. Why did it take?
Rocket wasn't as far away though,
But
because
still, I'm saying.
she also had other stuff to do. You know, that's only one planet to the thousands that she keeps boasting about.
Rocket and Nebula were looking for specific
Yeah,
things.
true.
She was policing everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And can you
Space
tell me
cop.
how large the largest thing that you could ever imagine is, and then
John's
realize
ego.
the universe is bigger than that
listen.
because it still contains that?
My ego, right? Anyways, go on, Josh.
All right, yeah. So the Hulk thing with no retribution, and the thing was, you set it up beautifully to give him retribution. retribution with Black Widow sacrificing herself and coming back. Hulk has a perfect chance here to come back pissed and just rage off. And no, he snaps, he goes down, and then when he's holding the building together to keep people alive,
Reference to
Secret Wars issues.
5.
Okay, thank you. Fuck off. Come on. Anyways, go on.
I gave you the opportunity to look smart,
My brain,
and you
listen.
got most of it, and then you still got angry at me.
But it's a mountain, first off, in that issue. But
Yes,
anyways,
and he's holding it up the entire time, and that's what
awesome.
led him to.
Yeah,
And I thought they were going to do that. Led him going back into Rage Hulk.
But they didn't.
it was right
I thought
there.
I thought
it was,
they had the
it
moment.
was right there to save other
I
people's
would
lives.
love to see Hulk smash one more time.
Oh my
yeah.
god!
And they didn't.
Yeah, not throw a scooter.
And then,
yeah.
I mean, in the whole, like, I'm going to go rage.
Admittedly, though, if the trade-off was not seeing the Hulk smash one of those flying space worms, but seeing Giant Man
with the stomp.
do it.
Yeah.
Well, the
punch
stomp
him in
was
the face.
fantastic. The
Yeah.
stomp on
The big guy.
Obsidian.
Call
Obsidian, and then the punch in the air of the flying snake thing was just
And then,
fantastic.
it was he was amazing. So yeah, the reason I give it an 8, I think Robert Downey Jr. nailed it, as he always does. God, I'm going to miss him.
Fantastic.
Okay, wait, time out. Keep going.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. nailed it. God, I'm going to miss him. Paul Rudd, due to a bunch of the other stuff gets overshadowed. Perfect, the whole movie. I thought Paul Rudd
Yeah,
was
no,
great.
he did an amazing
So
job.
good.
Jeremy Renner
Jeremy
is the
Renner
Yes.
best movie
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever seen him do. Jeremy Renner was out of this
His
world.
first
Yeah,
five
no,
minutes
no,
of the
his-
movie, he knocked it out of the
Oh
park.
yeah, he was great. Oh, how about the way the movie started? There was like no intro, no anything. You just see him shooting arrows. Me and John just go, no.
Yeah, no. At the theater, I was in all the air, just sucked out of the room
You're like,
instantly.
you're going to start it
when,
like
yeah.
this, you cold bastard.
Yeah.
That was really good, though.
Yeah, the fact that they
Yeah,
reintroduced the snapping right there. At the
Yeah,
very
it was
beginning.
very
Hey,
good.
guys, by the way, this did happen again.
Yeah.
Remember? So, yeah.
And also, Black Widow, I thought one of Scarlett Johansson's better performances. She holds the team together, then makes the sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it left it open. I just think Hulk, Thor, and that twisty screw job of a time travel ending were just the three things that really pissed me off. And it only pissed me off to bring it down 2 points. Now, when I say it's not a bad movie by any stretch, I just think Infinity War was so
When you stack
good.
it up.
It was so good that it dropped.
Okay.
It dropped.
I'll agree. I was terrifically overwhelmed with Renner and Johansson's performance, with leading up to the Soul Stone, with them going back and forth, and even watching again, having seen it the second time, while they went to Tony to try and convince him to help for the time heist aspect. She's wearing the arrow necklace again from Civil War,
I
Winter
completely
Soldier.
missed that.
So it's like she's carrying the burden.
He was staring at her
of
tits.
his loss. I'm not denying any of this. And it was a turtleneck, and of how much the effect of Hawkeye's family meant to her, and so that was there were so many details that were so very good on that.
So, okay, so we had Josh's take.
Those are my three
What was
things.
the if you can elaborate more on the time travel thing at the end?
Well, the time travel thing in the end, they lay it out earlier. The Ancient One says, if you go back and you change something, you're going to create an alternate timeline. So Steve, the old man Steve, just shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? He should.
See, I bet. Okay.
Also, it was corny as shit.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Well,
you-
we are talking about Captain America and everybody's impression of Captain America. Captain America is not a corny character.
but-
That's
no,
all
no,
I'm
but
saying.
not since Winter Soldier.
But here's
He's
the deal.
badass.
Hold on, here's the deal. The character that they created with Captain America would have never done that.
Well, that's how that character is.
He
When
would have
he's written well.
When he was not written, dude, I'm sorry.
He
This
would
movie
not
was
leave his team.
This was not a well-written movie.
I
It
disagree.
just wasn't.
So he,
I completely disagree.
So he just goes back in time and then chills with Peggy and lets Bucky go out there and get tortured his whole life.
Yeah,
he would not
See-
do that. Hey, I'm with you
See,
till the end of the line, Buck.
here's
Bullshit.
my thing, though. Here's my thing. Like you said. Okay, so you go back, and he returns all of his the stones, right? He returns all the stones, saying the path to be linear, right? So one of my thinkings is when he goes back, kisses Peggy, and they do their dance, alternate timeline. That for me explains why you get to see all these Marvel characters dead, and then possibly being
So wait,
comic books,
does that
they
mean-
come back.
Does that mean he goes ahead and just skips back to when Iron Man? How does he know that even happens then?
Who?
I mean, I'm saying that you just jump right back to, okay, that was when the funeral happened. I'm old now. I'm just going to give the
Well, no,
shield.
it ends off
Did he
with
use-
that scene.
Does he use the pin particle to jump forward?
No,
Like,
he
I
went
think
back
he
to where
just-
he was going to be.
Does that mean they
He
use the same fucking
stayed-
timeline? And that's just
He
dumb.
stayed there. No, it's not. Well, because again, the problem.
Yeah, that means he's complacent in everything that happened. He let Hydra infiltrate Shield. He lets all these things happen. He knows it's going to happen, but he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to stay in the sidelines. I already lived 70, or I also sleep for 70 years when all that shit happened. And now, you know what? Fuck that. These things have to happen because you can't change the fucking future or the present or where the
But he
fuck
did.
are-
But
But he
those things-
did.
Exactly.
But he
So
did.
it's so dumb.
No, it's not.
He's
You just
complicit.
you actually stated the reason why he can't do any of those things because he knows it worked out and everybody survived.
Okay, but no, he's still complicit in all those things happening
No,
no matter what.
but as a member,
as
he
a
is a military man.
Oh,
and
wow. Do you okay?
Jesus fucking Christ,
The
jackass!
character-
His name
the
is
character-
Captain Goddamn America.
Exactly. So okay, first off,
So
calm
when
the fuck
he's
down,
given
Jerry.
no,
But I'm
you're,
just saying,
you're
no,
interrupting
the
me and not
character-
allowing me to
the
finish, and
cha-
you're telling me to calm down.
character-
Let me
the
finish this
character
and
of
explain
Captain
my
America. Oh my
thinking
God,
of
John.
this.
One phrase.
The character. The rage. The rage. I told you he's pissed.
Go ahead.
You realize you can talk for an hour and a half about whatever you want whenever you want, but when I'm talking, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
He knows it finishes the way it does. He knows everybody gets the happy endings.
Yeah, he's content with that.
Unless he changes something.
Everyone on the screen does.
Well, everybody on the screen does. Everybody survives.
a lot of people that aren't.
He
Scarlet,
saved half
Vision.
of the universe.
Yeah, but if he pulls
He
one
saved half
thread,
of the
it's
universe.
to
No,
say
Downey
nothing works.
did.
Wait,
Then.
yeah. So here's
Downey did.
Yeah, but here's the thing with what he
by
said.
change, but if he changes, it doesn't matter who the person was. He was there that helped it. If he changes anything leading up to those events, 14,605, and only one of them works. If any one of those things changes, that's the thing to change. And what you're not, and again, time travel doesn't exist, so we can't say that this didn't happen.
that's the
old
problem.
man Steve Rogers was there the entire time. He already knew what happened, and he had to keep everything from not happening differently.
But they already specified earlier in the movie, if you go back and change stuff, it doesn't change the future. That's why in the movies they had to go back and get the stones and bring them to modern day. Because going back, you can't just kill baby Thanos and change stuff. That's why they had to go get the stones, bring them to modern day, and change it in modern day.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
the
no,
future
it's,
the whole
doesn't
point of
change.
the
well,
movie.
no, it doesn't. When they're saying it doesn't change the future. When you're in the past, the future is your past because you're in the past, and that past is now your future because you're going forward in. Because people can only see time linearly,
Linear. Okay, yeah,
straight ahead.
linear.
Now here's the problem. Once again, we are not.
And see how you
physics.
see how you transferred
Dude,
that
does anybody
transition
know a
that
guy-
fantastically, where you took the opening and then started
We are
talking
not
and continued to go.
physics. We're not quantum mechanic or quantum physics experts.
Does anybody know a
fact-
guy?
so,
We can
listen,
do this.
Well, we can do the time thing because we can only perceive time going forward.
Yes, but there's so many theories out there that you can actually just start looking into. reading
Theories.
up on.
Yeah,
then-
you mean things that aren't proven?
All
Then-
time travel
wait,
in itself
that-
is a theory.
okay, wait, okay.
It's a theory that we can't
So,
even.
no,
We're talking
there's
about
no-
fiction, though.
Okay,
so
yeah.
we can't
know,
get
but
into
nah.
But
We're
to be
talking
fair,
about realisticness in a superhero movie here.
Wait, to be fair, okay, wait, bringing up there's many theories on time travel. That means each person here can pick their favorite one and
And
fit
you
it to
go
that
on,
movie
exactly.
and fit it to that movie
That's the
and be
problem.
now here.
That's not a
here,
problem.
No, here's the problem
'Cause that's a
completely.
viewer.
No,
tell you my
because
least favorite one,
John's
that
picking John's picking the one that
Which is
makes
very
him
fair.
sad. I'm picking the one that makes me happy. That's
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean,
I'd rather be me in the situation than you.
Yeah,
Well,
no
I mean,
shit.
but I mean, it's interesting. In the movie, they say it's like all of the time. The clever thing that they did.
No, they
was all-
trashed every other time travel movie. Like, fuck those movies.
Well,
That's
no,
what
they
they did. They literally
Can you prove time travel exists?
No, we can't.
So this is what they did: is they said everything that you as a viewer that you think you know is not appropriate. They got you to get
That's-
rid of your biases,
that's called
but
bad
your
writing.
prejudice.
That's
no,
not called bad
No,
writing at
it's-
all.
Mortal Kombat did it better.
They did. Thank you, Mortal
Mortal
Kombat 11
Kombat
did it
11
better
did
so
it
far
better.
already.
What they're doing is they're trying to. The reason all of us here wanted to go into that movie without watching any spoilers because we wanted to go in without any prejudice of what we think is going to happen based on what we saw.
Yeah.
So what they did with that is told you it's like what you think you know of time travel is not how it works in this movie. Looper did a fantastic thing. Any you guys all see
Looper was
Looper?
a really good movie.
And
Yeah.
Looper, and again, one of the problems with time travel is when you try to explain it because it doesn't exist, so you can't explain it because it doesn't make sense. Looper said this: "That's the machine. It sends you back in time." That's all. That's all you need to know,
There you
and
go.
that's how
Yeah.
that works. And they created the loop with that, and it doesn't change anything because of the way that does.
Ryan Johnson, thank you very much for that, by the way. You did a great job with Last Jedi.
He did.
Go on.
Very underrated movie.
Thank you. Anyways,
We're all pro Last Jedi. There's a waste of time talking about that.
no.
Nah, I'm not a big fan.
of like Star Wars movies in general. Or
We're gonna send you back in time.
Just the last two. I don't like too
Force
much.
Awakens.
The
You don't
Force
like
Awakens is just a new hope all over again.
It's the
true story.
same exact thing. The
It bothered
same
me.
exact.
Kids,
bothered me.
focus.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
It's
Star
still
Wars.
Disney.
December. Is not,
what
listen,
isn't
But
Disney?
again-
December's a long way from here. I'm just saying, calm down.
But the
No
other
Star
thing
Wars
is,
talk right yet.
Fine.
you say that they're trashing other movies, as I air quote. In their reality, they're watching fiction that talks about time travel for something that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
know.
a second level of fiction within fiction that can't be proved.
Do you know
Time
what?
travelception.
Do you know what else we're not talking about in the movie that reinforced the fact that you can't go back in the past and change stuff in the future? Is when Nebula shot her younger self and nothing happened to her.
Well,
Yeah, well,
And also when Thanos,
that's-
2014 Thanos gets killed and snapped away.
well, that's the other thing. There's, of the three timelines,
here-
Well,
Wait,
one of
wait,
Thanos
yeah.
is already dead.
here's
So we've already
wait.
established of 3 timelines.
Okay, so
what are your
here's-
3
here's,
timelines? Obviously, the way the movie ended is the one.
Should have ended at the funeral. Oh God, we haven't even told everyone how it
We-
ended yet.
Hold on. We haven't even talked about how they just completely went Return of the King with that ending, and it just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't end.
no.
at the
First
logical
off,
moment.
I was fine
no,
till Cap. I was
because
fine
every,
till Cap.
every time anybody alludes to a Return of the King ending, talking about any movie, and then I happen to watch the end of Return of the King, you're fucking liars. Because every movie that has 3 endings, no, Return of the King has like 12. It's literally 45 minutes after the movie should end that they're still talking about. So no, it is not.
That's
It
your
ended.
opinion.
No.
The logical moment should have ended is when they were done with.
And
Tony
this
Stark.
is what I was going to point out
Absolutely.
to set you
don't
up,
think
to
so.
give you an opportunity to shine, and you trashed on it. Is I was going to say, no, there was clearly an opportunity that it left longer than it should have gone, which is how this movie should be described. It went longer than it should have.
Not long, like
It's
8 minutes.
Yeah, and again, that's not Return of the King, which is like 45 extra minutes.
I feel like you're
of
kind of exaggerating the 45 minutes.
you want, the movie's like 4.5 hours long.
No, well, the extended cuts 3.5.
The director's thing is
The
like
extended cuts 3.5 hours. But
it's like
anyways,
16 hours.
now you're just adding time. Anyways,
32.
That's how I perceived time watching that movie. It was so long.
well, that's how I perceived time after I saw that ending to that goddamn movie. Anyways, I'm just saying, like,
Did you guys catch do you guys know who the random kid was at the funeral?
No,
Yes.
who was
It's
that?
the kid from Iron Man 3.
Harley. It's Harley.
It's the kid from Iron Man 3.
was that who that was?
Yep, it's the kid from
It's
Iron
the
Man 3.
potato
Because he and I
gun
were
kid.
talking about that last night. Like, who the fuck?
wait,
is
wait,
that?
wait, wait.
When I saw him in the theater, that was my guess, and I immediately Googled it
It's
after I
him.
left.
It
and
was totally him.
It was the same actor. The kid's just grown up.
Aw, that's nice.
Next Iron Man.
Well, it's been like 8 years, like real 8
Yeah,
years.
2013, and then you go how much
13,
time?
so 6, and then plus
Plus 5.
5. Yeah,
Plus
so
5.
11.
Well, shame on those Avengers for not welcoming him in like better. He was just like off to the side.
They weren't there when he was there. It was
They
just
never
No,
met
they
him.
could have been like, "How did you know, Tony?"
they're
they
like-
they
they're like,
treated
"Who the
they
fuck is that
treated
kid?"
him terribly.
Like, what are you?
I'm
doing
sure
here?
no one talked to him at the wake.
Well, the worst part is that Pepper and they didn't, because she would know who he is because Tony would have kept in touch. and
Exactly.
everything.
He,
What do we think of Pepper's armor and Pepper
loved
joining
it.
the
The
fight?
rescue,
I thought it
the
was
rescue
cool.
armor.
It
I
was
like that.
sick.
I like that
It
whole
was sick.
scene. I like that
It was
reveal.
sick.
really cool.
All right. By the way, I think we can probably all agree the coolest part of the movie is when you just see Mjolnir take off and it flies and,
Hovers.
and fucking Cap catches
Oh
it,
my
and you
God.
got the shield and the hammer
Yeah.
and the lightning. Oh,
And then he's spinning it around. Like, that was like,
and bro, he was a little like he was just already too good. It was like
Yeah.
have you done this before? What the hell's going
Well,
on?
he's seen Thor do it 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah,
He knows how it works.
Oh yeah. Just all I have to do is watch a thunder god, and I know what I'm doing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
He's Captain
simple.
America. He's Captain America.
I
it's
guess.
America's
Yeah.
ass.
America's
A warrior's
ass.
a warrior is a warrior. You know.
So, but I'm just saying, like, okay, that was great, and I love how Thor is the one who called it, and he's like,
I knew it.
Yeah.
yes. Listen, the fan service in that movie was.
Well, no,
It-
Well, that's not a fan service
That was-
moment. There's no
it was-
fan service moment. Is Sandor Clegane walking up to Gregor McClane saying, "We're not finished. We're going to fight."
Yeah, he goes,
when
"You
there's
know-
no reason for that to happen.
You know who's coming for you.
Yeah,
you
you know. That's,
Well,
that's
no. During that Thanos fight though,
That was like, there's the hammer. He needs to be hit. There's Captain America. I'm going to try and pick it up. That's like part of a story.
Well, they gave a great nod to it in Age of Ultron 2015.
yeah, when he
look,
shakes
when
it a little
yeah,
bit.
which
When
yeah,
he
when
moved,
Thor looks at him.
yeah,
That was really
And the
really
look
really
Thor
good
gave was
subtle
like-
look.
Yeah.
So the best reference is when Tony Stark saves the day, which he does by getting the stones from Thanos and snapping his finger and making Thanos and his army go away. Is when Thanos looks at him and goes, "I'm inevitable," and then Tony gets the stones and goes, I'm Iron Man,"
Yeah.
and which is a
Boom.
callback to
Yeah,
the
to
end
the
of
first-
the first
yeah,
movie that
yeah.
started the whole thing, which
back in
made me go,
2008.
which just made me turn into an 18-year-old kid
Yeah,
again on
exactly.
the inside.
Yeah.
Like,
They did that
No,
a couple of
that's-
times. They did that because before Steve steps onto the time machine thing at the end, he says, "Don't do anything stupid until I come back." And Bucky says, "You're taking all the stupid with you," which is when we first see them together in the first Avenger movie. And then the movie ends. Did you catch what the sound was at the very end of the credits?
isn't it Iron Man's first armor?
It's him hammering the armor in the cave. So it's like it's closing. It's an audible callback to the creation of the MCU with the
pretty
Yeah,
closure of it.
yeah, that was the whole thing. Now, well, back to that Thanos fight though. I have a huge new respect for Doctor Strange, like because
You didn't have it in the first fight?
no, a deeper, huger respect for him. Because no, check this out, right? So Doctor Strange in Infinity Wars fought him while using the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had four of the stones.
4 of the stones. Now then, Thanos took on everyone in the MCU except for Doctor Strange during that fight, pretty much, right?
Yes.
And he wasn't using the Infinity Gauntlet, and he put everyone to shame, including Captain Marvel. So,
Well, no.
No, he put her out with the Power Stone.
Yeah, he
He
grabbed
put
the
her out,
Power
yeah.
Stone.
He yanked it out.
Yes.
He
Because-
yanked
and
it
then
out.
punched her
That was
with it.
actually
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he actually punched her in the face, and she no-sold it, just straight up dunk. Because
Yeah.
I'm Brie Larson. I'm the super powerful
Yeah.
feminist. You can't hurt me, man.
but yeah, but no, like Doctor Strange to me, like when he was just holding back the water and everyone else was just fumbling with Thanos. When if just Doctor Strange just came in, it kind of just seemed like a moment where, well, you know,
I really like. He
he's
looks
the
over,
strongest guy there.
He looks over at Tony and just gives him the
Yeah, just, that's the one.
time to go, buddy.
Yeah, you're.
Get it
What you're thinking, that's the one.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. You got to go. Sorry.
without hesitation.
when-
Thank you,
when-
Tony
when-
Stark.
well, and that when Scarlet Witch reappears and it says, "You took everything from me," and it's like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, you
Oh,
will.
yeah.
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 I like. Nah, yeah. Thanos just being like, dude, who the fuck are you?
So
I don't know you.
Yeah. So I only have a few minutes left, and I do want to touch on something that they set up for the future at the end of the movie. Is Thor going with the Asgardians,
The
of the
Asgardians of
galaxy?
the galaxy, yeah.
So
That's actually a
with-
comic book.
Yeah, but so what I'm really pumped for is I'm assuming we're going to get Thor up in space for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yep.
And a little Thor versus Adam Warlock fight going on.
Ooh,
I'm
yes.
really pumped to see that. I think that's
Yes.
coming.
Hopefully, Chris Hemsworth helps Chris Pratt get into shape for part 3.
What do you say? In Infinity War, you're one sandwich away from obese. I actually rewatched Infinity War a little bit before I came in here to get some happiness back in my system.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I
well,
might
just,
have to do that.
just the
tonight.
first couple minutes. Yeah.
The first time you
First
miss
hour.
both. The first time you missed, and the second time you got both.
Yeah, I might have to go and do that. I need to see. I need to see
like,
Thor say,
this?
"Give me Thanos."
Bring me Thanos. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. All right, so yeah, I gave Infinity War a 10 out of 10. What'd you guys give it?
Same.
Yeah, same.
Because it's like
Ten.
I obviously I didn't know what the ending was, but you knew it had to be a down ending, and even
But
then
it was
it's like
way more than
it
you
was way
expected.
more than
Oh,
anything
The
you
entire
expected.
theater was silent
Yes.
Yeah.
until Black Panther
Okay,
got snapped.
hold on.
The
quick question.
last time I'd seen anything close
Then
to that at the
everyone
end of
got
the movie was the end of Saving Private Ryan, and I saw that like on Memorial Day weekend when it opened, and so it ends, and everybody just kind of gets up and walks out and doesn't say a word.
All right, now that
Only
you've seen the
close to that.
movie, new prediction for box office. I don't think this movie has the rewatchability that Infinity War has at all.
I still think 3.2.
Not even close to the rewatchability.
It's going to outdo it, though. Just
Well, purely based on this weekend alone.
well, yeah.
yes.
Well, yeah. Like the numbers
But
right
I
now
just-
are surely based off how good Infinity War was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight
But I'm
up.
just saying, I don't think this movie's gonna sell as many tickets. I don't think maybe people are gonna see it as many times as they saw Infinity War.
You remember the scene where everybody's
It's a wider
out
release,
there
though.
and they're facing each other, and there's a giant man and a flying horse and all the Asgardians? That 40 minutes is going to carry
True, that is.
whatever anybody's opinion.
That final battle is the best scene in Marvel.
Yeah.
It's
Really
It's not
is.
close.
you have
It's
you
not
have,
close.
you have the Civil War battle, and that's 12 people, and you're like, this is amazing. And then
It was.
Infinity War, and then it's like, this is
You have
amazing. And then it's like,
everything.
no, every person that's ever had a name and a power appeared.
Yeah. Fucking Wong
yeah.
joins in, you
Yeah.
know? And he did.
Did you get everybody? Do you want me to
Yeah.
get more?
And
Yeah,
he
it's
and he
fucking
does
Wong.
one or two things in Infinity Wars, and he comes in, you know?
Wong, he comes in like a beast. He's creating
Yeah,
like a
holds
shield for all
up
the shit
everything,
coming up.
yeah.
He's like, I got you guys. He brings
Yeah.
everybody with Doctor Strange. Yeah, dude, it was freaking incredible.
You have a Pegasus flying through the battle.
Valkyrie,
Yeah.
when she flew on the
Yeah,
side of the
just
Leviathan,
slicing down,
and
yeah.
gutted it from the side.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh, and Thor just left her like, Asgard needs a king. He goes, it has one. And so now Valkyrie's running Asgard, which is funny because
'Cause
now Thor was like a big, huge drunk. Valkyrie was the biggest drunk in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, it's like, all right, you can stop drinking. She goes, I don't want to stop drinking.
Well, she can actually handle it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like she's given a huge response. There's like, what, 30 of them?
Well, there.
Maybe
because
last after the battle.
Well, no,
I did see a few die in the battle. Yeah.
They were there because there was still the possibility that the ones that started escaping before the ship. So I mean, there was the survivors of Asgard. Half of them were killed, and then
that's where Valkyrie was.
So yeah,
Valkyrie was with the
some of the other
dipped
people.
out before Thanos showed up, or as they were leaving. As Thanos was showing up. So I'm just saying, like,
all right, well, round up to 50.
I don't know. I'll have to see it again.
It was enough. It was enough.
No.
Whatever it takes.
New Asgard.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you guys that the Thanos theory didn't happen?
No Thanos.
I will say this though: the one thing that made the one thing that
I had not heard it called that.
Yeah, the Thanos theory. So
Thanos?
the one thing that made me proud. The one thing that made me proud. I have never seen the United States or even the world in such solidarity as they did in pushing that meme. It's the most united we've ever been as a
Paul
people.
Rudd talked about it
on social media.
It was
on
great.
social media that was uniformly loved.
Yes.
I've seen it from so many different people that I didn't even knew.
And
Paul Rudd explained it.
Yeah, and it did
in
and
the
then,
UK.
And then
this is what it is.
And then everybody's response is, "Why does he have to go up his butt? Why can't he go up his nose or his ears?" I was like, "Well, you can't smell or hear out of your butthole, or at least I can't. So that's not going to happen."
So you guys are all going to see it again this weekend. Obviously.
I mean, we have to.
We already talked about it.
Yeah.
We're going to go see it
Have
again.
to.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
but the
so-
thing is,
so you're-
I
so
don't
you're
think I'm going to like it more.
You're questioning whether the box office will be more as you're planning to see it again,
Yeah.
whether it'll be less as you plan to see it
how
again.
many times you see
It doesn't
Infinity
have
War?
re-watchability.
No.
I'm going to see it again.
I have to see it again in IMAX. I'm just saying that's
Yeah, but
that's going to happen.
It's a
But I'm
weird
not gonna-
question to ask.
No, but I'm not going to go
that's
see
just
it
twice.
6 times.
Yeah, he saw
or
Infinity War 6
8
times.
like I saw
but
Infinity War.
but those 6 times, did you see that in the first 3 days?
I was in Costa Rica when Infinity War came out, so I saw it in Costa Rica.
That wasn't the question.
And then I flew back. I immediately saw it in IMAX, and then I saw it in IMAX 3D, and I saw it in RPX, and then I saw it in regular, and then I saw it in 3D again.
So
and
your statement with rewatchability has more to do with box office and the weekends 2 and 3 and 4.
Extended.
No, I
don't think it has legs.
Nothing's going to change.
I agree with John on this.
It
one.
doesn't have the
I
legs
think
that
it's
Endgame's gonna
I
have.
think it's going to have a tougher time than I thought it would. I really do.
It's not going to have the legs that Endgame had. Endgame's
Gonna smash
multiplier.
it.
Infinity
Money-wise.
War.
Excuse me.
I'll be
Infinity War.
very happy to see that. I really love the movie, so I'd be happy to see it break any kind of record it
Well,
wants.
no, it's going to shatter.
Do you think it's better than Infinity War?
No.
See, I put them together. That's the thing.
They are really one movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it lowers.
I don't-
think by
it does.
association,
It
it
does.
lowers Infinity War.
See, no, here's my
score.
thing. I
War's
don't think you can
perfect.
have Infinity War
How?
without this movie, and I don't think you
didn't
can have
like
this
the
movie
movie
without
that much.
Infinity War. I
Yeah,
think
but
they
no, but I
coexist.
mean, what? So if you
If I
have
give it-
chocolate ice cream,
You could totally
that's
have
going to
Infinity War
ruin the
without it.
vanilla ice cream that you had the other day.
Basically,
There you go.
if I scored that movie a 6.5 and I add it and make one movie and I give Infinity War a 10, law of averages does what?
Yeah, but again,
Brings the
he
score
asked
down.
you, does that make Infinity War less? By combining them, that's a new movie, not the same
That's
movie.
what we just
yeah, you average them together.
you average
No.
them together. That's
So
that's what we just said, Jerry.
the back end is so it turns out to an 8.
If it's one movie.
Yeah.
If it's one movie, it's an
turns into
8.
an 8.
But
Yeah.
that it doesn't affect Infinity War by itself in any way.
No, not by itself.
That's
But
why I'm
if you were going to watch it consecutively and be like, okay, I'm going to watch both of these movies, I'm not going to look forward to watching Endgame.
I don't
as
know
much
that
as
you.
wanted to watch
I don't
Infinity
know
War.
that they're. I don't know that they are designed to be watched back to back. It's almost you have to
don't think
have
so?
that time in between.
Nah,
There's only 3 weeks.
I'm
between
not
them. I mean,
saying people will not watch them back to back. I'm saying that the most effective way to do that is not to watch them back.
What, like let it sink in?
Yeah, because I mean, it's
you got to watch Ant-Man and the
there were
Wasp
wait,
too.
wait,
I
or
guess.
I mean, there was literally some people that thought some of the snaps. What the? I mean, I was in a couple of theaters in Infinity War, and they're like Black Panther goes on, and there was yelling at the screen
Yep.
like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
it just happened!"
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man,
That
people
was so
crying.
sad. I almost did. It was terrible. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah,
I was
don't
like,
wanna
shut
go.
up.
I don't wanna go.
Stop that.
That was not
Well,
part of
dude,
the script.
and also when
No, he totally Doctor Who reference. By the way, I don't want to go. Is
Yeah,
from
yeah,
David
David
Tennant.
Tennant. Yeah, David. Tennant.
and then when Thanos was fighting Iron Man in Infinity War and he was about to kill him, the whole theater was just like,
No.
It was. Oh,
I've heard of you. You have?
you're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Hopefully, the people will remember you.
That movie's so much better than Endgame.
It's not. Yeah. Well, what they really should have done is it should have just been Infinity War, and Thanos should have won and killed the original guys, and then the new guys should have had to try to fight him, and that's how you start the next phase.
I don't know. I don't like.
You had to give
here's
the
thing
send-off
is,
to start.
Jerry doesn't like time travel movies. I like time travel movies, but time travel for being the resolution for this movie just didn't do it for me.
But again, this is what I said to Josh before you come in is typically the time travel, all the movies that they trashed in there that you seem offended by, they use time travel as a fast forward rewind, like on a tape machine. And it's like, we'll fast forward to this point, we'll go back forward to this point. Whereas this, they said it's like, no, basically it's all already happened. You're just not aware of it because you can only perceive time in the way that you're going forward.
How does he solve the time thing? He says it's a Mobius strip. A Mobius strip is one line.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Whatever happens, happens. It doesn't matter what you change. It's gonna happen.
It's already occurred.
It's already happened.
The movie already established its own rules for time travel. I understand that.
Yeah.
To me, I just didn't like it.
Well, you were hoping you end up in one of those other 14
You're choosing
million?
not to like it at that point.
No, I just don't like it.
No. This actually, I have no problem with this because it's the people that didn't like Last Jedi that would say it's like, oh, they're plot holes. Actually, no, there's not plot holes.
There's not a single one.
You can
There's not
literally not like it. That's fine. But if you give a reason, it's a bad reason. No, you're not liking it because of the way they handle time travel. That's perfectly fine.
No.
That is valid.
But to say that it's like, oh, it's because they use time travel this way, it's like, that's kind of dicey because they made the rules stick for what they did.
They made their own rules for time travel. I just didn't like the way they did it.
That's fine, then. That's perfectly valid.
And
I apologize for all the yelling earlier for that.
It's
I know
okay,
you won't, but I am.
I know. I'll apologize for
person.
yelling as well.
Sorry.
I did not like the way they utilized time travel. If anything, that was the last thing I wanted them to do.
Now, let me say, I
did not want them to utilize time travel to be the way they fix everything.
Yesterday they won't, and that's kind of specifically how they designed that. They made it first. They had to have the brain to figure it out, who's no longer around. They only had a certain amount of the materials to do that. They destroyed the some of the others. I don't think that they're setting it up to make it so difficult that it's not going to be a thing that they do. But the yesterday we were talking about the time travel thing and leaving Steve in the past, and you already didn't like that.
I already hated it.
And I didn't care for it in thinking of, because I was thinking it's like, oh, because then that gives them the opportunity to go back and pluck him out. No, that's not what they did. He went there.
Yeah.
We now see him now.
No, theoretically,
that's
they
not
can still do
well.
that.
Yes, Back to the Future timeline, time travel. But that's not what they're doing. They're saying it's like whatever is going to occur is occurring.
Whatever
where we
happens,
are
happens.
is only the future going forward. I will say, going back to one thing, when everybody was asking when the events of these movies took place in relation to each other, and Kevin Feige says,
he's like, this one, this year,
well,
this year,
he
this
said,
year.
well, he said like each movie takes place in the year it was released. Every movie released from that point on never took place in the year it was released.
Yeah.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was like before that. Black Panther was immediately after Civil War.
The timeline's
Spider-Man was
kinda fucked
where it was
now.
different, which was just funny.
They're all over the place. Yeah.
Which you should just don't say anything.
Yeah,
just
you
let it
should.
be.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So wait. Let me give my take on like Steve Rogers going back and having his dance with Peggy. So this is
Terribly
why
okay with that.
This is why I really loved that moment, was just because, okay, so at the very ending of, at the very beginning of all of this, blah, 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 then you have Infinity War. So you have, the entire MCU decimated by the snap, right? Right? At the very end of the movie. Not the last scene, but pretty much the last scene was the snap, right? So the last scene in this movie was him and Peggy, and they kiss. And then I think that just brings, I thought that was just a really cute moment where they just bring everything forward and say, hey, we're going to flourish now.
Yeah,
I thought that was
he
great.
picked the wrong person. Steve should have been with Bucky, and we all know that. Okay. But on that goes,
Bucky with the good hair.
On that note, guys, it's been fun. I do have to get out of here. I don't hate it as much as him. Like I said, it's an 8 out of 10. It's been real, guys. You guys hold it
Thank
down.
you for coming on. We'll definitely
Very
have you
good
back.
having you.
Yeah, we'll have you back.
We'll go see
and
the movie Sunday.
We'll go see it on
Yeah,
Sunday.
we'll text about it after Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we'll
see you
go
later.
see it on
Guys.
Sunday, and we'll have you back on as well.
Take it easy.
Definitely when. Man, just I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it again. And as of right now, I told you yesterday when we were recording, there are two things I didn't want to happen, and there were the two things. that happened.
And
I already established. I'm like, I don't want time travel to be the solution, and I already established I don't want Captain America to go back in the past.
But it wasn't.
all the things they did.
I was not in favor of that because I didn't like the idea. It's like, oh well, then they could just go back and bring him. But now since they've changed, they said this is our time travel rules, which was good because then it's like it helps limit. It's like, oh well, you can't do this and this. Well, no, that's not what they're doing. And the other thing is by showing him in the present. Like if it only ended with him in the past, then there's like, oh well, they can go back and get him, and that's the opening that doesn't give him a happy ending.
In essence, they could still go back in the past and grab him.
But they can't.
They're not going to.
But this is the thing, though, is like, and
That's still in their back
this is
pocket.
why I loved Dark Knight Rises so much, is that comic book heroes never get the happy ending. because the comics. I mean,
Yeah,
the other
they
day,
keep going,
the
keep
other
going,
day,
yeah.
Batman celebrated his 80 year in comics. Others are like 50 years. It's like they
Did
keep
you get
going.
that? Did you get that issue, by the way?
No, I haven't been to the store recently.
Is it like, hold on, is it like a bunch of short stories? Is that what it is?
Typically those are like anniversary issues.
Yeah, the
are like
anniversary
that.
issue is a bunch of short stories, right? Yeah.
For
Kevin
what is it,
Smith-
Detective 8 and 1000?
Yeah, 1000.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it's
it's a bunch of-
Detective
it's a bunch
Comics
of small
1000. It's a bunch of small
and
stories.
then all the different artists involved.
yeah,
in it.
well, no, they have.
No, actually, I think I may have that because that was a while ago. But the thanks, Casey Jones. Train right off the tracks.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
The is that Batman would never get a happy ending, and because he always has to be that person who does that, and that's why I liked at the end of Dark Knight Rises, he has Selina, he's letting whatever happen. He did all that he could, and that he's going to go forward and have that life, and he handed it off to somebody else. And with Captain America, it's like I fought my fight. I've served my time. I did all that I could do.
Time for me to rest.
It's Tony said, enjoy that life, as he got the opportunity to see Tony enjoy his life while he wasn't, and it said, maybe I should have that opportunity. And by showing him all the way into the now, then it's like that was his story. I mean, they've had stories and comics with Old Man Steve being involved in S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever because of his so I mean they could still reference him, but it's like no, it's like there are opportunities with Sam and Bucky to carrying the shield, or who knows what else going forward.
Yeah, he got his out. But so I mean, moving forward though, what's going to happen? So you have Scarlet Witch. Wait, is that she getting a TV show?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
Vision's getting a TV show.
Yeah, but it's called WandaVision, and it's actually supposed to be taking place in the 1950s. How they do that? No idea. But that's apparently the premise of the
So
show.
how are they doing Vision then?
And then at the same time they're doing Bucky and
Winter Soldier and Falcon is what they're calling it.
Yeah, Winter Soldier and Falcon. They're getting their own show.
Yeah.
But
Buddy
they've
cop
already
drama.
established now. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert: Falcon's now the new Captain America, which I love.
I think it's really good.
I thought it was going to be Bucky, but
I kind of
I liked him being. He's a more noble warrior. Well,
and
noble.
I think that's why Bucky stepped off of that, because
Yeah.
Bucky knows what he's done.
Yeah.
that's why he gave him the look like, dude.
No,
it
it's
can't be
Falcon's
me.
This
done
one's for you.
things. Yeah,
This is for you.
I mean, and also they can still establish that eventually Winter Soldier can still become.
Oh,
yeah,
that's all.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
It's,
Later on,
I
he's got
absolutely
like
convinced.
80
yeah. That shield gets passed.
He's got
on.
an 80 film contract anyway, so he's going to still be there no matter what.
But no, both of those guys are going to handle the shield during that
Yeah,
series.
for a good while. During I mean, the thing is, there's still no.
Oh, by the way, Falcon using his wingtips
Oh
to
my
stab
God,
that guy.
so cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Since we've not done a proper review and going like moment by moment from beginning to end, we're just going to randomly jump in things that
We're
we
not
remember.
literally. We're not even.
We're
really
using our own
going-
timeline there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how you did that. But no, I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they handle things. I mean, they pretty much established they're probably be doing an all-female Avengers movie.
Well, there was definitely an A-Force reference. And
Definitely.
Yeah, they all set up like, oh, she's not going to be
It's like
alone kind of
bitches come,
thing.
and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, girls, let's go.
Yeah, Beyonce was
Boom.
playing in the background.
yeah.
the Bayhive.
Yeah, it was, and actually, I loved it. I thought that was an amazing scene.
That was pretty cool.
It was a really good. They staged it very well because they tracked the camera backward
And
to
they
wind it out as
showed-
they walked in to come and set up and defend. And the reveal of some of them, because Valkyrie flies in on the back with the horse, a couple of them fly in. Hope just pops up full size for the Wasp, and then at the very end, Nebula and Gamora walk in to the side as right as they get. It's like, how am I going to get there?
Well,
Don't
then,
worry.
and
Yeah.
Then Gwyneth Paltrow comes in.
Well, she was before that. She
Was
was
she before that?
because
Well, you
that
saw
was,
it
it was
twice already,
closer.
so-
Well, that was closer because I thought that was the last one as well.
I thought
But-
she was the last one.
Well,
No.
she's the last one in the tight, but when they widen out as they're walking forward,
Oh, okay,
that's when
yeah.
Gamora and Nebula come in from the sides.
Yeah, and they said no Mantis.
No, Mantis
No, she
there.
was in there.
Mantis
She was in there?
She was in there.
totally
Oh, I
there.
missed her completely.
Yeah,
She was
definitely there.
in.
She must have been hiding somewhere.
Well,
Ha.
was it? Who was it? Who was listing all the Guardians, and they listed all of them, and then Rocket, like all the Guardians, and like Antenna Girl.
yeah,
Antenna Girl.
It's like she's new. I don't know. Her
I
name.
loved Rocket in this movie.
Oh, Rocket
was great.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite
Hey,
characters.
hey
in this movie.
Ratchet. Hey, you're only smart on this planet.
Yeah, that was great. He had some great lines in that movie. And his overall arc was nice. I liked it.
Rhodey had a couple of good ones. I was like,
Brody, yeah, everyone had really good lines. It
Everyone
was
had
very
their-
funny. It was very funny.
what do you think flows through my brain, veins? Cheese whiz?
Yeah.
How do you?
No, I like Thor like telling Chris Pratt at the very end, like, "No, you're the captain. No, you're the captain.
Oh.
You're the
oh
captain."
no, you're
When you watch that again, the way that he delivers the "of courses" at the end,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, you're the captain.
Oh,
Of
that-
course,
that-
of course,
Of course.
of course. And it's like
Yeah.
totally.
How'd y'all like Cap fighting Cap?
That was the thing that was brilliant about that was the way that he realized how he could defeat himself.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Both. Well, the
Bucky's
first part is like, I
alive?
can do this all day, and he's like, I know.
I know, yeah.
And he's like, Bucky's alive. He goes,
See,
what?
And then he's.
Like, dude, look,
I
I
was in-
really liked the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just I don't like the way they handled the time travel.
Bringing back all of the Hydra agents that were S.H.I.E.L.D. members.
Oh, I love how he got the case. That was the best.
Everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna do it again." I'm like, "No, they're not."
No,
Hail
he's
Hydra.
like, Hail Hydra.
Yes.
He just takes and he
That was
smirks.
brilliant. I
That
loved
was
it because they
that was
already
amazing.
knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
They even got the same B guy, when who was standing at the
Tidwell.
No, the in Gorillas and Crossbones group, the
Oh,
other
that
guy,
other dude, other
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
he was in Batman versus
in-
Superman.
yeah.
He was one of he was the Luthor's head guy.
One
That
of
he
the
was the
henchman or whatever.
Yes, when he kidnapped
Whoa,
Lois.
what's going on,
he
Jerry?
kidnapped Lois, and he's the one who duplicated the phones
You have
when they
a
were
phone,
doing the
Jerry.
boxing
There's
thing.
no shame in searching.
No. I'm trying to because that's when he
I'm just
duplicated
surprised
the
you
phone.
don't remember his name.
I know.
Well, no, I've never heard his name.
Did you get enough sleep last night, Jerry?
No, because I immediately watched it, woke up and watched it
Yeah,
again.
you want to look up his name so you know for future reference.
Well, at some point, yes, but
No,
because
go ahead, do it right now. We
he's-
want you to do it.
he's a like if,
I
if
want
you,
this on camera.
Install
well,
your
because,
data.
well,
now.
this guy is the guy that had the scar in the face that was in Gladiator and The Saint
Jerry,
and in Braveheart. It's that
okay.
same type of guy.
It's okay. To
No,
go
he
in-
doesn't deserve a name.
At what time do you want to install the update?
Yeah, go ahead and link up into the Matrix.
Friday.
Yeah.
You wanna learn
Life,
Kung
life
Fu,
station is
Jerry?
critical.
Jerry, you need to go into the Matrix. Go ahead. You want to learn Kung Fu right now.
Kung Fu.
Oh man.
You think that's air you're breathing?
But anyways, I'll have to see it again. Obviously, I like I said, I don't like how they handle Cap. I don't.
You don't have really finished with Cap.
I just
you liked
don't-
everything leading up to that.
I like everything leading up to it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't really like once that happened is when like I was telling Karl earlier today. I'm like the moment they sent Cap back and they did that. That's when the whole time travel thing to me was like, okay, this is bullshit. It lost me. That moment is I'm like, okay, I was willing to let how they handled the time travel stuff slide. I'm like, all right, I can deal with it. I like it a lot. And then they sent Cap back. I'm like, you know what? No. It just doesn't make sense for me personally. It just to what my idea of Captain America being a guy who doesn't give up, yada yada yada.
He didn't give up. He didn't give up on love.
Never gonna give you
You
up.
probably love the Interstellar too, didn't you?
I enjoyed Interstellar, but again, movies that make loops
Another movie
are fantastic.
Another movie that deals with quantum physics and
But it's the thing. It's like if it's time travel, I don't like it.
astrophysics.
If it's quantum physics, I kind of do. So I'm leaning toward the science side on this, even though it's like unprovable.
the thing is,
But it's loops. I like loops, and so it's because when you're in the storytelling
was a
and
loop.
you begin and end with
well,
the
here's
same
thing,
sort of
when he
thing,
goes
and
back
that
in
was their
time-
time.
So basically, what I'm asking is that when he goes back in time to go search out for Peggy, and
it's
apparently
not, but they found each other. It wasn't a searching. He knew where she was.
exactly stalker. Anyways, he goes, marries her. So what happens then to the other Carter,
Sharon.
Sharon? What happens to her? That is
Everything that has happened has happened.
Yeah.
So that's
It just
his-
keeps going.
That's just now his.
That was
Not-
in his past.
No.
Not
in
at
the past?
not at that point.
Well, but again, they never
So
really.
they-
They only kissed the one time when Sam and Bucky
And
were like
everyone
checking
was
him out.
fine in Star Wars. So I
do
mean,
well, what I'm saying is, is he now a founding member of Shield?
No, because she was already Shield had already existed when he went back. He went back in 1970 because that's where the stone was.
nothing has changed. Everything happens.
This is
happens.
He's
That's
trying
the
to wrap
thing.
his mind around something that's not hard to
Yeah,
wrap his mind around. That hasn't
there-
changed.
Yeah, nothing changes when he goes back.
Before
Not one thing.
before Endgame started, Steve was already with Peggy in 1970 and lived till that moment.
Yeah.
That had already occurred. That's the thing. It's like once they started to explain the time, I was like, hey, we'll do the quantum thing. Okay, that's vague enough. Nobody understands. Tony said, it's like, oh, you guys are too stupid. You don't know what it is. That's a good enough explanation because I'm not explaining it. And then the Ancient One does the line and starts to explain. It's like, oh, this is going to get dicey. But then they said, it's like, no, this is the thing. If the stones remove, then there's the possibility of things to not be balanced, and then a darker version of that. So they were there as a whole to balance each other out or anything. But it was like the one line, and it's like you can only
Yeah, it's linear.
yes. And so when even though you are now in the past, you are still living your future.
Yeah, time goes forward.
And so even
doesn't
so,
loop- or it
even though
doesn't-
you were in the future, that had the things that you had already done in the past have occurred. You just weren't aware of it because you haven't lived it. Because you can only see what's coming ahead. Every time you remember something, it's a memory of an event, and you remember less and less of it. It's a decaying radioactive material when you reach back to your memories. You can only have 100% perception of what's going forward.
I'm going to go ahead and watch the movie one more time.
Again,
And-
you not liking it is fine. We're just saying of this particular plot hole. If you're saying that's the reason why, well, that's not actually a
Well,
problem.
you know, it's kind of
Technically, it's not a plot hole at all. Because
It's not.
if
No,
you
no,
really
no.
think
I don't
about
mean
it,
to say plot
the
hole.
movie,
It's
the
not a
movie
plot hole.
established its own
When you were
idea.
saying,
and-
you've not ever
They
said it was a
basically-
plot
they
hole.
plucked-
You've never said it was a
They
plot hole.
plucked their own concept and idea of how they want to utilize
Time travel.
travel, and they established it for the movie. And for me, I just didn't like the way they did it. So,
Okay,
that's
that's-
just yeah, that's it.
Well, now you're gonna have to remember every time you watch a Marvel movie, though, Steve's somewhere out there.
In the past,
In the past, he's
That-
there.
That's the funny thing about Deja Vu, the Paula Patton, Denzel Washington, Seth Green time travel movie. Because my friend Brian was
yes,
talking about he said they literally have like a paper. It's like, well, it's like you're folding time, and he said at that moment that's when I was out from the movie. That's just like the dumbest thing. It's like, no, because you can't do that, because then that's bringing those two things and then changing things.
Yeah, see, so
But and that's the thing is like whenever that's the whole. I mean, the Good Place does their time
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
The Jeremy Bearimy place. Oh no, that's Jeremy Bearimy. It's not on the timeline. It's and they explained it by saying it's like a whole knot of things that don't make sense, and that everything is kind of happening all. See, there's the Dr. Manhattan time, to where everything is always happening. Everything is happening at the same time all of the time, and then there's only the way that you perceive that, or it's the way that we perceive time, as far as we know, just linear, straight ahead.
Well, that's kind of how Doctor Who does it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the times at the same.
I'm more of a Dr. Manhattan type of guy. Just the way I think.
But that's not true, because that would mean
that means you're agreeing with what they're doing.
No, but that's not true, because that means 5 years ago when you were drinking yourself all through these other things, then you're also living yourself at your healthier version now, when you still chose to stay the one way. So we are incapable of living that way, because that means I'm living through my divorce, I'm living through my college graduation, I'm living through this moment, and I'm living through tomorrow all at the same moment, and I'm interacting with those. That's not what we're doing.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, never mind.
That's Dr. Manhattan. Because,
Yeah.
Because the thing that time is a construct, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And it's something created by man in order for us to understand before and after.
Yeah.
And so then we've created things with the science and the whatever and the math.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Watches.
An hour is based off of a mathematical formula, but it doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
we
exactly,
just decided
yeah.
this is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like we cannot perceive time other than the fact that we have gone through it.
Yeah.
So it's we are only linear people. So that's what they're saying in this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's like whenever you are in whatever moment, whatever is in your past has occurred. It doesn't matter if you were in a point in time that occurred before it or after it. You can, it's behind you, so it has happened. It has occurred.
Yeah.
And at wherever you are, whatever's in front of you is your future, regardless if you've already lived through that time as a younger self. That stuff still occurred, and what you're going through and all of those other things occurred. Well, you're just now living it at the exact same time in two different things, and that's why they don't want the interaction thing.
Now, it would be nice, though, in the future, if they would just, let time travel rest in movies.
I just don't.
Keep it to a minimum.
I know I completely agree.
Yeah.
Me personally,
For every movie,
I was hoping
for every movie.
it was gonna be more involved with the soul gem, soul stone.
Well, I mean that's still a
yada,
solution
yada,
for a
yada,
couple
yada.
of people. That's still a Gamora Vision
Oh, yeah.
solution potentially.
But at the same time, they say that once it's just okay. I don't want to get into it anymore because I'm just saying the way Thanos got the soul stone in of itself, and the way they had to go back and try and do that. They say he says that's it. That how you get it, that's it. So how can you get it twice? Yada yada yada. I'm just
Well, no, it comes back. The Soul Stone is one of those things because they put it back in time. That when Steve went back and took it back to Vormir, but he can hand it to the guy.
does he? But is he just okay? I'm just.
They specifically said if
that's
you
where it
take the
goes.
stones and put them back into the moment that you took them from.
He's like,
then
here you go,
everything
Red
will
Skull.
fine.
Imagine that awkward Imagine that awkward.
I would
chain
like
of
to
events.
see that. Like,
Hey, remember me? Oh wait, you're here.
Well, if that
that would have been very trying for Red Skull to see because he has seen like he's
exactly. So like,
yeah.
wait, this motherfucker. Oh, you're the reason why I'm here.
That would have been an excellent cutscene. They should have done
well,
that.
that would have been something Steve is just like, oh, so you've had to spend like eternity here out in the middle of nowhere? Ha! Here's your stone.
Yeah. But he gets the coolest cape in any movie if I've ever seen, or shroud, or
It's
what-
yeah, no,
It's
it
up
was-
there.
it's really
That is-
cool.
yeah.
I mean, it's not. I don't know if that's cool as Doctor
Okay,
Strange is.
well, Spawn.
But not the one that was
Not
actually
the one
in
in
the
the
movie.
movie.
Not
We're
the
not
one-
talking about the one in the
Yeah.
movie. Anyways, I don't even know what to talk about now. I'm just
So the
go on.
there were
Jere,
so many
please,
different things. There
carry
were so many. I mean, so the fight leading up in the fight, you have when the Thanos is attacking him with the blade and
How about Loki?
ripping into the shield. See that now
Yes.
that's an interesting thing. Ripping into the shield and knocks him down and kicks him back, and Steve stands up and tightens it up, and then Thanos gives a speech. It's like, of all the destruction and slaughtering I've done, I've never cared, but I'm going to enjoy what I'm going to do to your backwoods little planet.
Yeah.
And then the Black Order comes out, and the Hell Dogs come out, and the Chitauri come out, and everybody's out there, and then all of a sudden you hear the Steve, do you copy?
Falcon.
It's Sam.
Yeah.
On your left. Woo!
Yeah.
and it opens, and then the Wakandans walk out first with Shuri and Okoye and the Black Panther, and
And then as fans, we get empowered again.
and then they were like, now it's like the power up, the charge up for the fans.
And then you hear
start
him.
getting
Was that M'Baku in the back?
he was in the back,
Yeah.
and but then you see Sam fly through, and then all of the other windows start opening up, and all the other different people from everywhere, because it's like, oh yeah, when the Hulk did it, everybody came back. It's just they were wherever they were, and it's like, no, that was a really effective moment setting up for that final, and that's even after the 3-on-1 with Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America going against Thanos for about 5 minutes before that.
Yeah. No, it gave some power back. I mean, because you leave defeated in Infinity Wars, basically,
Yes.
right? As a fan, you leave with this, sad, sorrow, defeated feeling, and then coming back into it, you actually, you finally get your moment.
Because that's the interesting thing. It's like using the quantum realm and the way they explain time travel, the way that they've specifically shown the time stone is as a fast forward rewind. It's like you can go forward and see what happened, but then you have to come back to this moment. And you can go backward and see what happened and come back to this moment. But you're not actually changing anything. You're just observing things. Because he was like going forward and with the rotten apple in the train and coming back and seeing how time affects that. And then he was going forward and then looking and then again, well, what if we do this, of the different possibilities of the ideas? And so that's what he's doing. He's going, oh, what if our plan is this? What if our plan is this? What is our plan? He's only observing things. So the time stone is not a time travel device per se. And also it's only the person that holds it can do that, can see or go backward and forward. But it does have all the other powers associated with it. So that's the thing that I thought that was clever about it is, as you're saying, stow the time travel. It's I don't like movies that end in swirls because they're all bad. Twister being the exception that proves the rule. And then time travel as a whole, because typically there's no stakes. But they created this in a version that if the stones don't go back, that's when the stakes occur.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But, not every movie.
Oh, yeah, can pull it off nearly as well.
Exactly.
And again, that was, I think, the genius of Looper. It's like, again, the movie as a whole is a character movie set in sci-fi and fantasy. But they said it's like, it's a time machine. How does it work? That's the machine, and that's all. That's it, and
that's all you get,
and that's all you need to do. Because,
Yeah.
like I said before, once you start to explain something that you can't explain, then it's like,
you're off the rails already.
It just sounds silly and dumb.
Exactly.
What did you think with the Peter and Tony reunion?
Loved it. I loved it. Like I said, I loved everything about that movie until the Cap thing. That was it. Like I was like,
And that knocks off 2.5 points.
that
3.5 points.
But that knocks off everything in the movie, though. Like this scene,
As
butt
a-
captain.
okay,
This
so-
scene,
so
butt
you-
captain.
my 24-hour immediate take is just anger. But
Yeah.
trust me,
So you're
so
judging
once it's
once I start to get like, listen, I'm a very hot individual,
hot cold runs a hot
hot
cold.
cold. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
right now, I'm like, ugh.
So you're judging the movie by its worst behaviors.
Yeah, at the moment, yes. So once
Hawkeye and Black Widow wouldn't do that.
shut up. Now, once I watch the movie again,
wow.
Here's the deal. Once I watch the movie again,
How long have you been holding that one?
Oh,
in?
but I was waiting for the opening like in the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
4 seconds.
I'm going to go ahead and just say I don't know if I'm going to like the movie more or less the second time I watch it. Or I'm going to stick to where I am.
I will say.
After you've already seen
And
it twice.
Well,
so where
I've
are
seen.
you
Well,
at right now?
I've seen it. Well, we'll go back. I saw Infinity War about like 6 different times because it's like I saw it with the group and then by myself and then with like 3 separate people that hadn't seen it, and the Tony and Peter scenes in that would always hit even harder, even though I knew what's coming. And some of the other fight scenes. But in the Thor's appearance in the battle is always hits. It always hits. It's like it's the Raiders of the Lost Ark where the swordsman's out and Indiana Jones shoots him. That's always a funny scene.
Yeah, no matter
Thor
what.
landing, bring me Thanos. It always hits to where like, yeah, let's go. We're gonna. And then yesterday, I saw the movie and I'm just taking in the movie the first time, and the scene that affected me the most was when Sam is on the comm. And then and it's like the on your left, the callback to the previous movie, and then everybody starts appearing. It's like, oh, there's a chance now. I mean, cognitively, I know that they're going to end up winning, but then there's the opportunity, and it's like visually in the moment, it's like, oh, now they're going to have a chance, and that still hit really well. But then when they started panning through the reveal of all the people there, that was much more effective to me this time because I kind of knew. Let me see
You're
if
gonna
I
start
see everybody.
looking.
I'm starting to look at all the people and everywhere, but It hit really well. The Captain America and Mjolnir was just. I knew it.
Of course. I think that's going to go down as probably top 5 scenes for everybody for that movie, if not number 1.
It is. And I mean, it's one thing that he has the hammer, but he's running at him with the shield.
Yeah. Oh, and like throwing the hammer at the shield, doing crazy stuff with that.
That was ridiculous.
Oh.
He throws the shield past Thanos to it's like, oh, you missed me kind of thing, and then he immediately throws the hammer at it. It bounces off the shield and then hits Thanos right in the back. And it's like, oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where he picked up his martial arts skills so quickly with the shield, and he must have been thinking about it for a while. He's like, if I had that hammer, this is what I would do with it.
I mean, he's had 5 years to do nothing else but focus on trying to get better. Whereas Thor spent 5 years just feeling, knowing that he missed. I can understand people not liking it. No, I understand Thor people not like, but Thor is carried for 5 years knowing he had the kill shot and missed, and he's responsible for the death. And as Rocket said, there's a lot of failure to go.
Yeah,
terribly funny. It's like, why does he feel like that? Well, I mean, he is responsible, but there's a lot of failure to go around.
Well, I know he said he didn't like that. Thor was made to be pansy and all that, but in the MCU, Thor's lost the most.
Yes. He did lose.
He's lost the most. So he's the one that should.
His mom, his brother.
Yeah. And
his
sister.
His sister. Well,
his best friend.
She didn't know she existed.
Everything gets taken away from him.
Warriors 3.
So the person that should be in the most shambles should be Thor. So I think they did that perfect.
And he still showed up.
But the way they handled
for
him
the
just
Infinity
being-
War battle.
just being fat and drunk and
What? He let himself go.
Try being mentally responsible for the death of half the universe.
true.
I mean, I mean,
Cheese whiz and beer.
he's playing video games with Korg and
Yeah, I like how they brought them back. I love it. Yeah.
what was the name of the video
They're playing
game player?
Fortnite.
Noob Hunter 69.
Yeah.
We'll fly to you and rip your arms off.
Yeah,
Stuff them up your butt.
Yeah,
I really do like how they handled. I like Korg and Meek having a little cameo there.
Thor, he's back. He's back. Can you talk to him again?
He's sitting there playing Xbox. He's like,
No,
Meek was killing that pizza.
Oh yeah, just like each one of his little.
He's like,
Yeah, I was a little sad that there was no Flurnigan. They didn't. They'd bring. What was the cat's name?
Goose.
No
Goose. No Goose.
Yeah.
I was hoping there'd be a Goose. Because I would love to see him on the battlefield just eating Chitauri soldiers left and right.
Throwing them around.
What's kind of funny though is you can kind of see that they didn't realize that Black Panther nor Captain Marvel were going to be billion-dollar movies. The way they made that, because the way they actually
they shot Endgame
they showed-
before Captain
before,
Marvel,
yeah.
and they shot Infinity War before Black Panther.
Well, she shot Brie Larson shot her scenes for this movie before they even shot Captain Marvel. Like,
And that was the most impressive thing about Infinity War is they had just finished Black Panther. They were working on that, and they needed them for Infinity War. And they guessed that we hope it's going to hit this big because this is the big battle for the thing. And they were using them. It's like, well, what would you guys do? What was going on? And that's where some of the chants and the when the Mbaye,
Yeah.
woo, everybody in the audience. And so I saw it again this morning. So it was a 10 a.m. show, full house. And you could still, and most of these people are I would imagine people that have to go to work or couldn't stay out late last night or whatever the reason.
Yeah.
So it's a different one like the first night or a typical weekend. But they're all you see the excitement. You hear the different fan groups of the different characters. And then, like when Peter, it's like, "Oh, Peter's back," or it's like Black Panther, and you hear all the different sounds of the people who are excited about the different people that would reappear.
It's like a sporting event. Everyone's chanting for their team.
People for their one guy.
It's like seeing the Olympics.
It was seeing it with the crowd has been terrific with that, especially with the reveals of some of the things. The hammer reveal is probably the one that everybody kind of expects, but the way that they do it is in such a way that you're like, oh, totally worth it. I don't care that I kind of knew that it might be happening.
They went full Star Wars with that.
No. It's like, oh, you want to see a fully powered Jedi with a lightsaber? Well, here's Cap with the hammer and the shield.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
they should have done that in Last Jedi.
They show Thor calling it, and they're like, is he calling it to himself? Oh,
well,
he called it to Cap. That was one thing. Like they went full Force Awakens.
Well, no, he didn't call it to Cap. That was the clever thing, because having seen it the second time, I was trying to go through this.
So is he calling it himself? And Cap?
No, he's not. He's not calling it at all. See, that's the feint that they're doing, because the fight's happening. Thor gets hit, the hammer gets thrown, they do the MacGuffin shot, they show the hammer by itself with nothing else happening. So, something's going to happen to the hammer. And then they go along, he gets hit, the axe falls, and then they do the MacGuffin shot, the axe falls, so they're going to do something to that. But since they showed both of them, well, maybe not, something's going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. Thanos gets Thor down there, he gets coming down with the blade, Thor calls the axe, holds that up, and so then the next cut is you see it hovering. As it's being lifted out of the dirt, and you see Thor there. So your thought is, he just called the axe. He called the hammer. No, it was slowly being picked up, because the first time Cap picked it up, it just budged. So it's still trying to and that was him lifting it up, not because it's a straight up lift.
I thought the hammer was being called, and Captain catches it.
That's what they were trying to make. That Thor was calling the hammer. And when he's leaning back and Thanos is on top of him, and he's got the axe and he's beating on them and that, and he's about to come down with the killing blow. And before that, you see the hammer being trying to slowly rising up, and so it's like, it's a call. No, that was Captain America lifting, because it's going straight up. It's not coming toward him. And then they cut, and the next thing you see is Thanos getting hit with the hammer, and then it comes back, and that's when you see catching it, everybody loses their shit, and then but he's swinging around as he comes in with it.
Okay, maybe that bled into my head.
No, but I mean, that was one of the things, because the first time I go back, because the first thing I said to our group of people after we saw it is they had a flying fucking horse in that movie.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it like Ghost in the last episode of Game of Thrones. Oh, there it is.
I was about to mention that for you, yeah.
No, he was in the whole thing. They used the horse.
Yeah.
And then somebody, but they killed it and said, no. When she's flying around with Spider-Man behind her and it gets knocked down, after that, you see her on the horse when she slits the giant space worm thingy from the side.
See, this is exactly why I got to rewatch it, because
the horse
gets mixed up in my head.
Yeah, no, the horse survived. The flying horse
nice.
survived.
Because I was like, why would they kill a peg? Come on.
Nope, they didn't.
No, the horse survives. Yeah.
But people remember when he got shot and thought that was earlier.
Yeah, because it all blends together.
Or later.
That's why you got to watch it multiple times.
But that's the thing, is some of the details that they did. That's when I saw the necklace, the arrow necklace that Natasha was wearing for Hawkeye, and all the line callbacks. It's I'm on your left from Civil War. It's don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid.
Callbacks.
First Avenger. I am Iron Man from Iron Man. The importance of Age of Ultron with Captain America. It's wait, I kind of moved that hammer. Maybe I can pick up the hammer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just
No.
I was checking in on the recording, and I just saw a recordingception. It was kind of weird.
Oh, yeah.
You created
I created my own timeline with our video.
You created an Escher view.
I was like, did not like that. Put it down. Anyways.
Yeah, you don't put the camera on the receiving.
But
on the
but
screen
now that you've mentioned Ghost, should we move into the Game of Thrones talk?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Rachel's gonna be here shortly.
Oh,
so
okay.
We already Jerry and I already did a little bit of Game of Thrones talk yesterday.
Gotcha. Well, I was glad to see Ghost in there.
But as I told him, it's it was clearly added later. It doesn't interact with anything. It's
on
the left side of the shot.
Because they finally probably got your letters.
I bet you if I watch it again, it's like the old Iron Man animation thing. It's just a still that they have there, and then they have somebody move it up and down.
Yeah.
See, when I was talking to Carl,
it's actually a Muppet.
I was talking to Carl
They wouldn't spend that much money.
Like, you know what? As of right now, Endgame didn't stick the landing for me, and I'm like, oh man, what if Thrones doesn't stick the landing?
Well,
And then
Thrones
I'm like, wait a
will
second.
not stick a
And then I'm
landing.
like, what if Star
completely
Wars?
agree with
Huh?
you. No,
Thrones
Star
will-
Wars will. I've been preparing you for the Game of Thrones one with about, hey, Weiss and Benoff are fantastic producers and not
They will
fantastic
not.
They're
writers.
not going to stick the landing. I already. Well, no, I'm with you on
Well,
Thrones not sticking the
if
landing.
she's coming close, we'll start talking.
No,
on
I'm
this
not gonna lie
one.
to you. If they happen to, that'd be
be
so
amazing.
happy.
Yeah.
Well, so
They're not going to.
So they're trying too hard to make us think two things. One, that Sansa's smart, not. The other one is
late.
that Daenerys is the villain. They're
Yeah,
trying to set
they're
that up.
setting that up now.
And if that's how this ends, to where Jon has to kill her because she's evil, this is people will never rewatch this show. They will not watch the prequel series of this show because of that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You spent the last hour and a half saying that the last 5 minutes of a 3-hour and 2-minute movie. And by the way, that's after the ending of the importance of the movie.
Yeah, no,
it's
the
effectively
actual ending.
it's an effective coda. You can actually stop it at the funeral.
Yeah.
Never watch it again.
Here's the deal. That's how I'm probably going to end up watching this movie when I watch it at home.
and
I'm
again-
like, you know what? Because we're talking about how, when you grow up and you're watching movies and you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe this time it'll change.
Yeah.
Maybe this will change.
You can change
You know
it.
what? I can end that movie
Early.
right where I think it should have ended, which is at the end.
I control time.
Pretty much, yeah. I will literally, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. Like, when it comes out on Blu-ray or digital, not on Disney Plus. I'm
Nice
gonna pop-
callback.
Oh no!
Nice callback.
I'm not denying hard copy releases. I'm saying streaming release is most definitely November 12th. It will not be available on any streaming service until November 12th. And you can go back and listen
sure.
to all of that. And
Oh,
that's
no,
what
no,
I was
no.
saying.
I think it will be. For purchase.
No.
For purchase.
Oh no, hard copy.
No,
yes.
no, hard copy and stream for purchase via Vulu or with a video or with a Vulu
VOD or whatever.
VOD or Amazon
YouTube.
or whatever. You're gonna be able to buy it and watch it and stream before.
No, the only streaming service it'll be on, and we won't even spend any time.
We're not going back there. But I'm just saying. Anyway, so when I pop that movie in, I'm gonna watch it and we're like, you know what? Click.
But that's
Over.
well. Let's go to this. The other thing. It's so watching Game of Thrones. The first season, Daenerys is a storyline that is married to Khal Drogo. You're only interested in because of Khal. And then when he's gone, you're like, and it's like, oh, dragons. So now, but her season 2 and 3 and 4 are like, we don't care about any of this with her.
Well, yeah, you do. She's out there freeing slaves.
But she's choosing. She has boats and armies and dragons, and it's like, oh, go ahead and do something. It's like, no, I want to learn how to manage or rule.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then
Oh, yeah,
just
sure.
too much West Wing in something that's not that. When like all this other action's going on
like how
over in
you're like-
Westeros, it's like, oh, how do we administer a company? And then Jon Snow was just like the background character. Oh, Rob's going to be the guy, and Rob goes all the way into season 3, and you're like, and then it's like, oh, so you don't know.
We can all agree if Aaron Sorkin were involved in this show, it would have made it to season 7.
Oh no! But the first 4 seasons would have been the best seasons of television.
Yeah, it would have been well written.
But it's like
Very well, smartly written.
But if you
Smartly
but if
written.
you
Well,
if you know at the end it ends with the Jon Daenerys thing, and the first part they aren't even important characters because they're secondary things to the things that they make you want to think is important. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's a hard thing to watch a serial show when you know the end and you're completely opposed to it. It's like I've seen every
That's
single
true.
episode of
That's
Seinfeld
true.
except the finale. By happenstance, I was working that night and I recorded it on my VHS and I heard a synopsis of it. It's like, nope, I'm not going to watch it. So I've never seen the
I
finale.
wish I could
of
have done that
Seinfeld.
with Lost. Actually, I wish I could have just not watched last season of Lost in general. Actually, I wish, once again, we've already talked about this, and I'm never going to get over it.
I always thought Lost, in no matter shape or form, was a terrible show.
Because, no, what was the trailer for that
So that means you thought it was good. And no matter
So
what shape or form.
the trailer for the new Will Smith movie was out. That was
Oh,
before
where-
Gemini Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
They did do that.
The
Yeah.
Spider-Man, but no.
They did the Spider-Man movie.
yeah.
Hold on. Who's involved with that movie? I'm
Ang Lee.
No, it's Ang Lee, Jerry Bruckheimer, and then out of nowhere, I saw that.
I bet you that's why he was able to get Bad Boys 3 done.
Because
Will Smith said, it's like, oh, you got to do this if you want me to do that.
pretty much.
See, I'm never too concerned about who's actually making the movie or doing anything like that because
You know why? Because Akiva Goldsman exists. He wrote A Beautiful Mind and Batman Returns.
That's the thing. I've seen every director do something bad and something good.
It's
So it never matters to me who's
the
in
same
it.
guy behind The Postman is behind L.A. Confidential. So don't
That's crazy, right?
So I mean, it's you can have the highs and lows and the things.
If it sounds like an interesting story,
Very
I'll
few-
go.
Very few
But
people
I'll-
have perfect careers.
Well, and very few even. Well,
I don't know one that.
some intentionally have bad careers.
Who has a perfect career? Let's just go ahead and
yeah,
throw
I'm
that out
trying
there.
to
Like,
think.
think of an
Well,
actor, director,
well,
not an
yeah.
actor, but director, producer.
Well,
Write into the comments below if you know a director
like-
that's had a perfect
Well, any,
career.
any
yeah.
director, it would have to be. They'd have to be less than their 10 films because after that,
That's
it's
okay.
almost
Oh, yeah,
impossible.
there you go,
know
yeah.
what?
Just
So,
one and done director.
Not-
Well,
not-
Quentin Tarantino's at 9 movies.
Quentin Tarantino-
Christopher
he's-
Nolan
I
is
think
like 7, 8.
Nolan has not pitched a perfect inning or a perfect game for me, and neither has. Well, no, I think Tarantino might be closest.
I don't agree
I don't.
at all.
The only thing I don't like about Tarantino is that he tells the same movie in different
Over and
styles
over
and
again.
things.
Hold on, time out. With Gemini Man, I saw in the the end like Jerry Bruckheimer and Ang Lee, and then I saw writing credit. You know who's one of the writers? Who do you can't stand from Game of Thrones?
Oh, is it? No, it's not him. I saw this. No, it's a Lost guy.
No, it's Benioff.
Oh, Benioff is, of course.
I saw that and I'm like, God damn it!
No, there was one of the trailers that was on in front of Avengers. The writer was the other guy from Lost.
David
Lindelof.
Lindelof.
Lindelof. I think his name was involved in that. So I was like, I don't know about
I
that.
don't know. I see Lindelof's name, and I see Weiss, or I see any of these guys' names. I'm like, all right, well, I'm out.
No, is he? He's a writer, not a producer.
No, he's a writer.
Oh, that's different. If he's a producer, it's like, oh, this movie will be great.
Yeah, Benioff is a writer for in Gemini Man.
It's
And
funny.
it looks kind of good.
Well, the funny thing,
It looks hokey. With,
it,
I mean,
it
I just
looks like it has the potential to be good.
but I think once again, I don't think Ang Lee. I think whenever Ang Lee directs action of any kind, he's
Well,
out of
you
his
know
wheelhouse.
this
Except for the
absolutely-
fact, Crouching Tiger. And
this requires
That was a visual kind of thing, though.
this requires time travel because they're going into the past to get young Will Smith to fight old
no,
Will Smith.
I thought they just, like, made a clone of
I
him.
don't think it was a clone.
It's a clone.
Oh, okay. A clone, I'm all right.
He's like, you created him? Why would you create him to come back and
Yeah.
kill
Oh,
me?
What was
because he
it?
doesn't have all of the.
What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
It's not
that
haunted.
movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Sixth Day, something like that.
The Sixth Day.
Sixth Day.
Yeah,
it kind of has that one. I'd rather see the Sixth Day.
Like the last movie he did before he became governor.
Was that it?
It's like that was like one of two. There was that one and the one where his family gets kidnapped or whatever.
You know
typical.
movie-
That was
action
Liam
guy
Neeson.
thing.
Speaking of
Every
Schwarzenegger,
movie.
speaking of Schwarzenegger
terrible
movies,
father.
you know, what movie actually holds up well and kind of
Kidding,
predicts
Liam.
the future of what happens.
What's that?
Last Action Hero.
Oh, as a meta.
As a meta critique
Love
of
that movie.
As a meta critique of
Yeah.
what was going to happen and everything.
Tropic Thunder doesn't happen without Last Action Hero occurring.
Yeah, pretty much. And it kind of works now.
It has.
And that
It
movie
had, the
holds
same,
up.
it had the same joke. I saw that. I saw it in the theater.
I did
and
too.
then not for 25 years later until I saw it like last summer. And it happened to be on. It's like, no, this carries.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah,
It
no.
carries.
Holds.
yeah.
If that movie comes out today, it's actually a box office
His
success.
terrible
Yeah.
busted ass car that he runs into everything is always pristine. The next time he runs into something,
That movie's amazing.
he parks
Like-
in the trash cans every single time.
And then when he gets to reality, he goes, watch me, I'm going to punch out this window. You're like, oh, shit, that fucking hurt.
Yeah.
you've got to reload.
Wait, you have to reload? Dude, they make that movie. Oh, man, that is a movie they could remake, and it would do very well in today's
They could just enhance it and I'll go.
culture. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, just enhance it.
Remake
and
that
call it
with The
good.
Rock. It makes $500 million.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
The Rock playing himself.
What was
you throw in his WWE career in there as well? Like,
Well, that's the thing. What was the Hamlet 6 or Hamlet 4 where he just comes in with the machine guns killing everybody? It's like that
And
wasn't
then-
in the movie.
he shows up and it's Stallone in Terminator 2. He goes, no! The little jab at Stallone in that movie. I love that movie.
Was it to
I love
be
that
or
movie when
not
I was
to
a
be
kid,
when he
and I
says-
watch it again. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
it holds up so well. And then it also has Tywin Lannister as the villain in that movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
as the fake-eyed guy.
The fake guy.
Can't remember his name.
He's amazing in that movie.
And his crooked partner from Amadeus.
I can't picture his face. But it has been many years since I've seen that
it's
movie.
He's Zorba the Greek.
It's not the Ben Kingsley, but it's the other guy.
No, it's Zorba the guy who plays Zorba the Greek.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Hold on.
The bad guy from Hackers.
I terrifically love that they got Robert Redford,
Anthony
Secretary
Quinn.
Pierce.
Yeah.
No, not Anthony Quinn. That's Lord of the Week.
And how good are they getting at unaging actors, man?
Well, no, Anthony
With
Quinn's
Hank
in
Pym?
Last Action Hero.
Yeah,
He's-
F. Murray Abraham.
Oh, F. Murray.
Yeah,
He was the
yeah,
partner.
Oh,
He
yeah,
became
yeah.
the crook.
Literally, I love that line. He goes, "He killed Amadeus." I'm like, ah! As a child who loved Amadeus.
Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister. No, this was Charles
you go.
Dance was in it.
That
F.
movie-
Murray Abraham,
great
Anthony
cast.
Quinn, Ian McKellen, Art Carney, Mercedes Rule.
Yeah,
Sharon Stone.
Ian McKellen plays Death, right?
I think so. Yeah, Bridget Wilson. That must have been early in her career.
Bridget Wilson plays his daughter.
Joan Plowright, Tina Turner,
Bridget
Jim
Wilson
Belushi,
plays Schwarzenegger's daughter
Robert
in that
Patrick.
movie.
I remember that. Jean Claude. Professor Tanaka. That's crazy. Damon Wayans. Who was he in that?
I think he's in the police station.
Yeah. Maria Shriver, because of course MC Hammer, Karen Duffy when she dated Clooney.
That movie. I love that movie.
It was a great movie.
It failed at the box office.
Oh,
it
horrifically!
really?
I mean,
That movie was
I
too-
saw it during the summer. There was like nobody else in the theater.
That movie was too smart for its own good back then.
It was
the
way
90s
ahead.
was kind of stupid. That movie was way ahead.
No, the 90s were of irony, so it wasn't yet over to the
Meta?
the meta satire.
Yeah, see that movie. Like I said,
It was too soon. It was definitely too soon.
that movie. And who wrote that movie? That movie was it Shane Black?
It wasn't at Christmas, so it wasn't Shane Black.
Ha. Actually, no. It's James McTiernan directed it, right? Let's see. Yeah, McTiernan directed it.
That makes sense.
Zach Penn wrote it.
That's Shane Black did write it.
Yeah, Shane Black wrote it.
Zach Penn would have been teenager.
Yeah,
And-
no, this was
and-
one of
well, and William Goldman. Speaking of authors who who come close to pitching games, he's the guy who wrote Princess Bride and a bunch of
Zach Penn
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Zach Penn wrote Ready Player One, The Avengers, X2. Like,
Those aren't selling me.
wait, you don't like
X2?
wait, Ready Player One? Oh no.
Well, again, you're just young enough to me to where that's like nostalgia in the sense that like that was like your older brother would have been doing those things, and he wanted like, oh, I want to play these things. I'm watching that because I would be the age of Halliday when that movie takes place. I would be that old then, and then it's like there's no surprises in these things. So they're going through. It's like, yeah, I know what this is. It's like, oh, well, they're looking for an Atari game. Well, it's going to be Adventure. It's like, why would it be Adventures? Because that's the one that had the first little thing with the Easter egg and the bug.
Yeah, but that was a beautiful
But it was
message.
a beautiful message.
It
yeah.
was, but again, that's not what's in the book. But the thing,
you read the book?
No, I haven't because
You read the synopsis.
Well, no, I'm one of those people. Well, no, somebody Matt who read the book, who loved it, and who did not like the movie, was telling me about all this. Oh, you'd love it because of all these things. It's like I'm the kid who did not put my GI Joes with my Star Wars figures and put the Transformers with the others. No, the Transformers were here, and the others were here.
I was the same way. I did
Too
not,
many sandboxes.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's like,
I did not mix my toys together. When I play Star Wars, I play with Star Wars. When I play with Transformers, I play with Transformers.
And also
Ninja Turtles, Ninja Turtles.
See, this is why you guys would be bad writers, right there.
Well, not necessarily, because I'm self-aware of myself. But the thing that also is like Steven Spielberg was the wrong person to do it because he doesn't. That's not his nostalgia.
Oh, okay.
That's not his nostalgia. He's the one who did all that stuff. It's like
He
what's
handled it pretty well, though.
Oh no, he did. And
And
even
the
though
action set pieces were phenomenal.
even the odd thing is, even though I don't typically like if you were to ask me what is a movie I would recommend or that I'd say it's like you should watch, it would take forever for me to get to Ready Player One if I ever do. But if it's on, I'll flip to it and watch it because visually it's a fantastic looking movie.
Oh, it's one of the most.
and I'll watch it
Yeah,
from the
didn't
beginning
win that award.
up until like
what you call it? That fucking movie about what was it? The movie
Last
about the moon
Man's.
landing.
Yeah.
First Man.
First Man.
First Man won best visual. But the thing is that that movie deserves it because no. Here's the thing
Movie
about
was terrible.
when it comes to visual effects, at least with the Academy, I think they kind of look at it for blending and if it looks real. Like,
well, I think, and
That's
also,
how they generally tend
they
to
need
vote,
to
so
have
that-
they need to have two separate
Suspend-
things for
they do.
practical effects and computer
No,
specific.
there's
Cool
a
stuff.
lot of there's a lot of CGI in First Man, but
But there is, but I mean they have enough practical.
But the thing is, they tend the Academy, the older guys tend to vote on it based on does it blend, does it look
In
well?
theory, we hope that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't. it doesn't look lifelike and real. Like that's
whoever gave him the most
Because if
money.
you go back and look, if you go
True
like
story.
for example,
That's a Hollywood Foreign Press.
If you go back and
Yeah,
watch
that
Infinity,
too.
if you go back and watch Infinity War, there's a lot of terrible CGI in that movie. You're just like, ugh. And actually, that's something I've noticed a lot with a lot of the. Now that they're using more and more CGI, and CGI doesn't look as good.
Well, what it is
as
that
it
they're blending different CGI companies. Previously, a movie could be set up. ILM will do it. They have 3 years to work on it, or Weta, and they have the time. But now, with the time frames, it's like, okay, you have to do this one, so they get different companies to
I'm
do
starting
things.
to notice that because ILM handled the first Avengers, I think, primarily only.
For the most part, yeah.
And the first Avengers, still, I think, actually, probably CGI-wise, the best-looking Marvel movie.
Well, yes, I was going to say there's nothing I've seen yet that's more visually amazing than the third Transformers movie, the third one.
Yeah. That movie's beautiful.
It's in daylight.
It's awful. It's an awful movie.
When they put the special effects in daylight, they are confident. They're like,
but then
they're whipping their dick out and said, "Look at it."
But then
look at my CG dick.
But then again, what's his face? Michael Bay tends to he loves reusing shots.
He uses plates. Yeah. He reuses plates.
He reuses it all the time. It's to me that's just
the car race, the car chase in the island, and the first time the Transformers in the first movie are fighting on the interstate is the same plate.
Yeah, they do. He does it a lot.
But the reason they do that is because they need to go ahead and get ahead because of the time it takes. What was it, $1 million a minute for each time there was a Transformer on screen?
Yeah, something like that.
So they had to go ahead and have something for them to animate toward. So they said, "Oh, we'll use this plate from the island," and so that way they could start working on that before they even shot anything involving the plot or actors or any of that had been cast. They could start animating, which is the work behind that. They have to be so far ahead that they didn't even have a story. So we're going to have a fight with these guys.
Can we go ahead and say that we're all very happy that Michael Bay is no longer associated with the Transformers franchise?
Well, I mean,
might have done better with Bumblebee.
Did you like Bumblebee? I love Bumblebee.
I hated it. I only got through half of it. I had to turn it off.
Didn't you watch like a screener or something?
No. It was a very good copy of it.
I haven't seen it.
You didn't see Bumblebee? I liked it a lot. It's basically it's E.T. and
there was a Disney movie that I watched as a child called Xenon, and it was pretty much the same. It was.
There's nothing wrong with reusing beats like that.
Well, there's 7 stories.
It's a combination of E.T. and the Iron Giant, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that completely because I like the Iron Giant.
Going back to Ready Player One is like, you're Warner Brothers. Oh, you can do all this. One shot of Batman. No Superman. None of these other avatars. I mean, they did reach in for Iron Giant and use that, and they got a couple of the others. But that's the thing is like Spielberg like went out of his way to it's like nothing I was involved in can be used. So they had to. They got in the Back to the Future car because he was like a tangent producer and some of the other things. There was an E.T., but I think it was in the background. It's like he didn't want to use any of the things that which is.
That's T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Is there a T-Rex?
Right there, yes. In the first scene, the race, when they're going, that's one of the main obstacles. That was
at the end. But I think that's
and then
that's
Godzilla,
from the book.
wasn't he a producer for the Godzilla, or not Godzilla, but King Kong remake?
No, that was
Peter Jackson. No, Peter Jackson
Jackson
directed it. I could have sworn that Spielberg made.
We're coming close to Godzilla, King of Monsters. I cannot be more excited.
That trailer was.
Did you? I watched a new one. Okay, I watched a new trailer.
Did they not have that 5-minute scene in front of Avengers: Infinity War when you saw it? Oh my God!
Huh?
So
wait, stop.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to tell you what it. Before I went to see Avengers: Infinity War,
what show did you see?
I saw it at an AMC theater.
You saw it at an AMC? Okay, I saw it at Cinemark.
Okay, so I saw it at an AMC. So they come up and it's like it's a trailer, but it's like, oh wait, this looks like it's a scene, and then it is. And it's like a 2.5-minute scene, and then they go with the trailer after that, and so it's like, oh my God, leading up to. I don't even remember because I'm so overwhelmed trying to count. It's like how many of it? 17 and counting. Tywin Lannister also in this, and the guy from King Kong is as well. But there were so many. It looks amazing, and Ghidorah, the Ghiddron one, Ghidorah, I think is what they were calling it in the movie there. But it's like, oh, that's like the king of the bad guys, and they got to go against Godzilla. And then they were setting up. They showed a little bit of like probably one of their earlier fights or something. It's like, how are we going to survive? We got to get Godzilla out here.
And
it looks amazing.
Yeah, they're bringing in I don't know how many of Godzilla's like biggest foes, and then
I mean,
there's a bunch of unannounced foes coming.
Well, that's what I said. They're saying they're counting 17, and it's like in no trailer have I seen more than like 5 or 6.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going to be.
So it's like Rodan, Ghidorah, Mothra. There's like another flying type one or something.
No Mecha Godzilla, which I think they're going to set it up for the third one.
The guy that directed this movie, he directed Trick or Treat and Krampus. That's about it.
Well, that's the same thing with.
They did the same thing with. What was it? Who directed the first one? Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, because all of his movies were much smaller.
A bunch of horror movies.
Well, the thing that was great with Gareth Edwards is that
his scope.
Well, he finally gave a scale of size.
Yeah.
Because Salamander Godzilla was like not taller than the buildings. He was like he'd get lost in New York City.
Yeah, it was awful.
And then this guy, it's like, oh wait, he's straddling the tram at the Hawaii airport, and it's like you don't even notice him until like the lightning hits, and you're like, oh my god, that thing is 30, 40 stories.
Going back to my favorite scenes in a movie, and I can just rewatch over and over again. The Halo jump scene shows how huge that Godzilla. Also, it's the biggest Godzilla they've ever made.
Crazy.
And that scene is fucking dope. I love that scene.
There's going to be a lot more.
I still prefer Matthew McConaughey jumping into the dragons in Reign of Fire.
Oh,
just when the first time they appear and they jump out.
I didn't even know who he was at that time. I just knew he's a guy that got eaten.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it. I'm like, should have been driving a Lincoln.
Shaved head, full beard.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They have the Star Wars retelling in the small community that Christian Bale's a part of.
So wait, good question. How did did y'all's theaters react at all the Star Wars trailer?
Yes, but I mean, not so much more than like the Star Wars sound. Actually, no, it was quieter this time. I heard the breathing from the beginning.
It says Star Wars or porn. Yeah.
So
is that the end? Is that the beginning deep breathing or the ending laughing?
But no, John told me one of the because I'm not a huge fan of the new Star Wars movies at all, and so when John told me this morning, the Emperor is confirmed in the new one.
Yes.
Oh man!
And they've apparently said the plan is to have him coming back the entire time.
Really, at the one of the first few 30 minutes in, we'll see the Emperor.
Well, no, I'm saying from this trilogy, the third movie was going to have the Emperor in it.
No matter what, it was.
Oh, it was
basically
that was their plan.
So JJ basically said that he is there, and he was.
So that means there is a potential to figure out what the crap was Snoke. See, that's how memorable he was.
Chances are, I'm thinking that Palpatine might be Snoke or something along those lines. Force projection, something
clone,
like a little
clone,
puppy,
probably
a puppet.
If anything, it's probably a clone.
Yeah,
that he was manipulating via
from
the
outer realms.
Yeah,
where it came from.
Well, they did open it up that people are strong enough to force project,
which has been in the expanded universe a
for a very
force
long
power
time.
for an extended period of time.
And it's an awesome.
It came
power.
from the the Last Empire comic series, which is the first comic series expanded universe thing in the 90s.
Well,
it had Luke force projected.
Well, that's one thing I don't like. A lot of people's argument against Last Jedi. Like, I really wanted to see Luke go out there and take on the entire Empire.
Still do.
No, but what he was able to do via
I don't care.
Force projecting himself from one galaxy to another.
Don't care.
It's a greater show of power than
like
anything him doing.
I like to see lightsabers go like that.
I know.
And anything less than that.
I know you want
not
your pew 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 moment. But
exactly.
It's why
Robin Hood is the 1937, 1938 Robin Hood with Errol Flynn is so rewatchable because it ends with the sword fight. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch a sword fight.
I want to see a sword
I
fight.
get that.
But so does the Kevin Costner one.
Yeah, nobody remembers that one.
I do.
What was his accent in that?
Oh, but hey, Men in Tights. I have an English accent.
Men in Tights. Now that's a movie that can still stand up.
The Uma Thurman Robin Hood movie, which came out at the same time, was much better than the Kevin Costner one. Uma Thurman played Maid Marian in the other one.
I didn't even know that existed.
It's a really good.
See, I can't watch Uma Thurman anymore.
Why?
Because
I watched her one time and I noticed how large her hands are, and since then that's all I see.
Well, she's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, but no, her hands are at least 7. She has very wide hands, and now whenever she's talking or doing anything on screen, if it's like a neck up shot, I'm okay with it. But if it's a whole body thing and you see her talking with her hands, I'm out because that's all. I'm just looking at her hands all the time.
Like she scoops up a kid.
Oh,
which is
yeah,
that's
so
why
like
you
a
don't like
shovel
what's
thing.
his face on Netflix. That dude.
Oh, the Hassan Minaj guy.
Yeah, Hassan Minaj.
Well, he talks with his hands way too much, and I'm half Indian, and my my dad and his side of the family just talk with their hands continuously. So it's something I pick up on very well, but he just does it too much. I know exactly what he's saying if that show is muted.
He's not a good talker, but he's a good communicator.
Yeah, and no, I do like the show. It's just that I can't watch it for long periods of time.
So you'd rather just watch it with you'd rather just listen to him talk.
Yeah, I'd rather hear him on a podcast, than him have an actual show, like visually seeing him.
Oh man,
because I think he has a very excellent show.
Well,
it's just that I can't watch it.
It's an excellent show. He just has really good writers,
either one,
or a little bit of both.
It doesn't matter.
Like,
what is it a stand-up comedian show, or what is the show?
It's a bit of both. It's kind of like last week's Tonight.
Okay.
It's
no, he was a contributor for The Daily Show.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Indian dude that's on Netflix.
yeah, and so
great
now,
show.
Yeah, great show. I mean, he tackles political problems and I think in social problems as well.
Social. No, he even goes on to he does a whole show about Supreme.
Yeah.
in sneaker culture, which I loved.
Yeah.
how ridiculous. I mean, I don't have anyone on here that I can talk about that.
Yeah,
with.
you're a huge sneakerhead, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, when he finally tackled that and how ridiculous that whole, he did a whole episode about Supreme and how that stupid fucking brand turned itself into a $1 billion company. Purely based on
what was it that I was so
speculation.
surprised that the crowbar going for what $200 or something,
The Supreme
like
crowbar,
yeah,
Supreme
or 200,
hammer,
300,
a Supreme
something
stapler,
crazy like that. Yeah.
all because it's red and it says Supreme on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember someone telling me like, well, collectors get it so they can resell it. That means at some point, at some end of the line, there's some guy that's just buying it to have it. Though
Well, no-
that's what gets me.
Well, that's the weird thing is the price gets the dirty speculators, as I refer to all these people. The price jumps up to begin with because people want to be in the middle of the pyramid.
Yeah.
They don't want to be the guy, the last one who buys it, and nobody else wants it after that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Those collectors think that, but I'd say more than 80% of the time, the last person who bought it is a person thinking they can flip it.
Yeah, so they're stuck with it.
So they're stuck with
Yeah.
it. It's like the collectors, they'll go in, they might, if they have to go to the speculator or the secondary market, they'll do it like that first round or maybe the second round. But
Yeah.
once it gets to a certain level, they're like,
Well, no.
nope, you're going to eat it. Like,
Yeah, no,
whoever tries to flip
you
it.
need the market to be saturated with those types of people to keep the price up, though.
Well, that's if it's an oversaturated supply. If it's an undersaturated supply, you don't need to do that.
No, but you need those people
Yeah.
with that saturated kind of
with the
thinking.
sneakers generally in Supreme and all that, it's a undersupplied. There's
Low
supply.
Exactly, limited edition.
Giant.
Limited edition
Well, isn't
this
it the
kind of
thing that
yeah.
changed with the Air Jordans? Is that they were always undersupplied for like the first 20 years,
Yeah.
and so
Until
it
it
created that first day release stage of demand to where everybody had
Yeah,
to have
people.
it.
Yeah, they're
Well,
sitting
that's-
outside
and
for
you
2
can say-
days
You can do
straight.
the same thing with comic books.
Anything.
I mean, like for example, like a copy of what Hulk 181.
Well, that's not correct, because of the sales in comic books at the time, there probably would have been more produced than there are now.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
just that
saying.
people weren't keeping them.
Well, no, that's what I was about to say with 181.
Less supply.
No, there's a less supply now, which is drove up its price compared to, say, a comic book like Deadpool and New Mutants 98, which is, the first appearance of Deadpool
and Domino.
and Domino. That book,
Domino fans are hosed.
There's
I'd
so-
like to get her first appearance. Well, that'd be like $300, $400. Why? Why does she have that to be? And Deadpool.
But I'm just saying that there are so many copies of that book,
Yeah.
and has yet to really take off.
No, it has. When the dirty speculators jump around when the movies
Come out.
it sits at about $200 to $300, and then the movie
Depending on-
before the first movie would go to it got up to
Yeah, but
like seven.
no,
but again,
but what he's
it's not-
saying is like if there's only 20.
But there's not.
Yeah.
But the reason it's not doing that is because people know the comic is not worth that much.
Yeah.
The people that are buying that, for the most part, that are spending that money are people outside of comics that want to cash in on the people that are inside on comics. So I don't have a copy of New Mutants 98 because I'm not going to spend anything more than maybe $75 on it.
No.
And so I'll just wait until these people who spend all this money will try and cash out their losses in like 4 or 5 years when Deadpool's not making movies or something. And it's like, oh,
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not going anywhere. And it doesn't matter that it's
Unless I buy up all the copies today.
Well, it doesn't. And the thing is, it's like it doesn't matter that that's 10 or 15 years further away from when it's released. And in theory, over time, there's less valuable copies. It's that nobody will want it, and that's what drives the price down. And Hulk 181.
So you're missing the waves.
The Hulk 181 only matters because Wolverine's first appearance, well, his first full appearance, but nobody, when it was coming out, cared. Nobody knew it because he wasn't. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
So I mean, the people there was no like second day. It's like, oh, now it's being sold for $2 when it came out for 35 cents. Nobody knew. It
Yeah,
wasn't, it
yeah,
wasn't
no,
until
still 30 cents
It wasn't
then.
until 10 years later, and then it's like, oh, he's been involved in all these things, and he's really popular.
It's really funny because I actually bought New Mutants 98, and it came. Here's the thing: is, it was funny when I first bought that comic book. I bought it on eBay, and when I was actually
Was
really
it a slab?
no, I bought a non-slab copy.
A Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy. So here's the deal: is I bought that, but the main thing I was going after was Spider-Man 252,
Yeah.
which is one of the first appearances of the Black Symbiote.
It's
the
the
most
first it's the first release of the black uniform, but chronologically within the story time, and again we can only tell time literally, is in Secret Wars #8. But that was released 7 months after.
Yeah, I got Secret Wars #8 as well. And
Yeah.
I also have Spider-Man 300. But I'm just saying, like, I was going after that 252. Just so happened that guy was throwing in a copy of New Mutants 98. So I got that comic. I got both of them for, I think it was $150.
Yeah.
Which, if you really look at it, that's a steal.
I got Spider-Man 252 for 60 cents.
Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't.
You were alive.
I was not around for that, so I had to buy it.
You were alive.
How old was I?
I don't know, 1 or 2. But you were
Exactly. So I bought that book purely on that. And then when I got the copy of New Mutants 98,
alive. Maybe 2.
when I got the copy of New Mutants 98, I looked in the back of it, and the guy had a 9.2 in the back. I'm like, 9.2? That means someone tried to, like,
Actually grade it.
grade it
Yeah.
themselves. I'm like, huh, interesting. So then I went and turned around, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see what I'm going to do with this book. Oh, shit, Stan Lee's coming. I'm going to get this book signed by Stan Lee. I'm going to get it signed by
Rob Liefeld.
Liefeld. And I'm also going to get it signed by sorry, my brain's not there right now, but the artist as well. There's
Liefeld was the
and then it was Liefeld, and who else is involved in that book? One of the other guys. So, oh, look who decided to show up. So I got that book. So I got it signed by all those guys, and I got it graded. It came out as a 9.6, signed by all those people. So of course, getting it slabbed, signed, and all that confirmed. Now the book is worth about $2,000. But I'm just saying, like,
not because of the signatures, but because Stan Lee passed away.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
No. It was worth about that much before Stan Lee passed away.
Y'all were supposed to finish Endgame before I showed up.
This is
we're-
comic book.
Oh, okay, that's
We're
right.
actually talking about.
All I heard was Stan Lee, and I was like, whoa. We had an agreement.
This isn't even really about comic books per se, as it's about the resale. market.
Collectors
collectors and
and
resellers.
Are you bringing your collectibles to work now with your Star Wars mug
Yeah, where did they
tumbler
come
thing?
from?
I don't know.
Who's
It's just
this?
here.
This is here.
I was just thought we were bringing
So
our
anyways,
favorite items to work.
It's the house. It's the house
We've been actually killing time until you showed up because we're
Oh,
going to
okay.
finally go ahead and talk about Thrones.
I would say you can blame Duke Energy for all the power line work that they decided to do all the way down Brevard Street.
on a weekend.
Well, no, it's because we just got that storm that came through.
Oh yeah, and also what?
What storm?
So down Brevard.
Like 30 minutes.
So and the Knights are
Wait,
playing
there's a
tonight
storm
as well.
just now?
Yeah.
But I mean, they already have trucks out, like, fixing it. But, I mean, basically, they have Brevard as
Wait, we missed a storm?
We're literally in
Was
the
it?
basement.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
there
sorry.
severe weather?
I forget. Basement trolls. There was a severe weather warning with thunder and lightning to the point my cat hid under my bed and then actually underneath me at one
I
point.
happened to be in a basement, but I was aware of the weather warning because I check the weather.
John doesn't do that. He just checks Instagram.
Well,
and
when I was
Facebook.
coming here, there was one big cloud.
That was
and that's-
hovering above us. Now
Basically, that sat over us for like an hour and a half.
Oh,
So
wow. So-
around the time you guys started was when it showed up. It was like, oh my god, they're talking.
Well,
about
no,
it.
it started to rain on my way here, and I'm like, "Hey, Josh," I was running a little late. I'm like, "Hey, dude, go ahead and get inside." Like, I'm like, these are really fat drops on in my car.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want Josh to get hurt." Go into the basement.
Where
what,
is
what
the
do you mean
fat
the basement?
woman?
He goes, "What's down in that basement?" I'm like,
the big woman.
The big woman.
The big
the
woman.
big woman still here?
You're gonna see Jerry.
The small woman is here now.
You're gonna see Jerry dressed up as a gimp. Just don't
Are we planning Halloween costumes already?
like calm down. He won't hurt you.
Wait, are we talking
Safe word is
Halloween or
hedgehog.
like Pulp Fiction?
No, we're talking Pulp Fiction.
Oh fuck yeah!
That's the one I wanted.
Yeah, awesome, okay, cool, awesome.
Anyways, so Thrones talk.
It's my favorite time of the week.
So, what did you think of the episode?
I have very much mixed feelings about it. I enjoyed to a certain extent the humor that they incorporated in it, but
Campfire stories.
right. But then at the same time, I don't think it fit. It was not the mood I was expecting for the reunion. It had way more humor. It wasn't as serious, and then also it ended on a fucking song, and I'm just like, I don't know. And then there's this. They finally get to this like cliche I say it in a good way, cliche, Game of Thrones, like seriousness, especially around the fire, Brienne getting knighted and all of that. And then all of a sudden there's just moments of interjected humor right after that. And I'm just like,
That's been my beef, that the artificial humor that's been posted. The one thing that I thought was funny that I enjoyed that was accurate to the characters was when Ed and John see each other, and he's going up there for the Night's Watch guys, and Barrack is with them, and he's going up to see. He hadn't seen Ed since before he came back from the Suicide Squad mission up north.
oh yeah.
And so he was all excited about that, and just as he's about to like give him a hug, Tormund like bear rushes and jumps all over him. It's like, that was true to the character. That's
I
true to the
enjoyed
character.
that thoroughly, but also it didn't fit. But also I enjoyed it.
But
Because it was just funny.
of the ones though, I think that's the one that's most likely that Tormund was like, because he's the only person that he really knows.
It's true.
And,
I wasn't.
to be happy
Sorry,
with
go.
it. It's like the only other person he would be that excited to see is the big
It's big woman, yeah.
That's true.
Brianna, yeah.
The only time Jerry, the only time I ever step on your word toes is whenever I have coffee in my hand.
I'm so excited. Well,
I'm
you
so
missed
excited.
you missed John and I simultaneously yelling at each other for about 30 seconds.
About which topic? Sports, I'm assuming, right?
No.
No.
Pop-
Time
Pop-Tarts?
travel.
What we're not allowed to talk about.
Oh, the thing.
It was
Time
about
travel.
Captain America. That's all.
Yeah, you guys, we have to. I could not get seats until Sunday, like midday. So
Jerry's seen it 8 times
I
now.
would have seen it by
he's
3
already
times.
got the torrent for it and everything.
Let me
Subtitles
state for
in
the
Malaysian.
record, being a person who works in production, I do not torrent anything. I pay for all of my subscriptions, and that's a true story.
Absolutely.
the
like a
Roosters,
good,
the
honest,
Roosters are
praying
tied
American.
down in
Well, that's
his
because
basement.
that's because I want to be able to afford to eat and have people buy the things that I do.
Touche.
You do you. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I've strictly been, other than to like only use the messaging facets, I have been 100% ghost on social media.
You have
because
to,
of it.
because
You have
there is a GIF, an autoplay GIF on social media that will spoil the show, and I had.
Oh,
seen
I
it.
refuse. Like I refuse to get on any app other than just for messaging features. I will
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I like
You can't do
close
it.
my eyes until
was-
I
it
get
was
to
a
like the
cuts.
little.
You're gonna
Pops
you're
in
just
the
gonna have to
touch.
wear like headphones and
So they
everything, like
edited
walking
and put
around
it
now.
together.
I had half an idea to walk in
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
sign, like instead of kick me, it says
like,
"Don't
what is
fucking
that?
mention Endgame
Yeah.
around me."
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up! I will hurt you.
Like someone just saying like, no, shut. I haven't seen it yet. Just
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm into tattoos, so like maybe if I can get a temporary one on my
Yeah, there
forehead,
you
that'd be
go.
really
Yeah.
dope. I could do that and like some cool lettering and shit.
No,
Don't fucking talk to me about Endgame until Sunday.
just earplugs the whole time.
Well, I wear
That's all you-
earplugs at work anyway, so that'll be good. It'll be loud tonight. It's a David Bowie tribute. So
Yeah, no one's gonna be talking about
Nope.
game there.
And I can drown them out with dance and
Exactly.
Ziggy Stardust and shit like that instead. Like, can't hear you, David Bowie. Too much glitter in the air.
Oh, now we're all back.
There we go.
Did you do the thing while I was in the room?
What?
Did you talk more about the thing?
No, I explained what the GIF was.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I was
don't.
very curious to know
okay.
what it was.
I appreciate.
You heard none
What
of that.
kind
I
of
heard
evil
0%
bastard would do that?
I heard 0% of that, but you can tell. I will message all of you on Sunday as soon as I've seen it, and with a giant probably what the fuck. That's all I know. And you can I actually want to fucking dick punch Josh Nuremberg when I get to work.
Why?
Because he posted something like, "This is not how it was supposed to end. This is the worst." And I was like, "Nope, close that."
Oh no.
It was like, "You piece of sucker fuck! It's only been out for 12 hours."
That's the thing. Even the blogs will post a spoiler full review like Friday night, and it's like, yes.
Oh no, that's fucking dumb. Like Entertainment Weekly,
I mean,
Rolling
yes,
Stone, those guys.
Yes, there's a Thursday night opening, but that's a particular group of people that see that.
And
So
they probably bought that shit like 3 weeks in advance.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's like it comes out and you're telling the whole movie, and it's
No,
not even been the first
some of
day.
those-
That's not.
No,
Yeah,
some of
that's
those
not nice.
major
Like, fuck
major
y'all.
publications like the New York Post or New York Times and Washington Post and shit like that. They tend to just their idea of reviewing a movie is doing a
Step by
full-on
step.
fucking synopsis of the movie.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not a review.
No, it might as well
At
be like
all,
when you
like-
got what were those books in high school? The cheat books,
Notes.
Cliff Notes.
Cliff
It's basically
Notes.
when you
Yeah,
got a
Spark
Cliff
Notes and
Notes.
all
You
or
get
Spark
Cliff
Notes.
Note the entire fucking movie. Like,
Yep.
I stopped reading those reviews. So that's why I go to my geek reviewers on like YouTube.
Oh, I
know.
go deep into Reddit for my reviews.
Fuck Reddit.
I
no.
trust the basement trolls.
No, I
sometimes.
I trust the
They're
popular.
creative.
No, I trust the popular YouTubers who are like, listen. So a thing happens. I loved it. go see it.
Okay,
That's it. Like,
Back
that's
to
the
the
gist
topic
of it.
at
Sorry.
hand. Side note before you
yeah.
accidentally like slip a finger in there. Okay,
Whoa.
that was a joke, and then also a really good conversation
the
stopper.
Thanos theory.
I will say this though. Somebody did message me saying to Google Thanos,
Yeah.
and then it's
Oh,
not.
you clicked
Oh
on
no,
the-
Google. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
Google
go.
Thanos,
You
you clicked
Google.
on the
And you click
gauntlet.
on
You
the
click
gauntlet.
on the gauntlet,
Have you
and
seen
then
that?
it just.
No.
Oh God, do it. All right,
Google
so
Thanos right now.
literally just
and then
Google.
click on the
just
gauntlet.
put it in the search browser for Google and click the glove in the top right.
Yeah, click the gauntlet and just watch what happens.
So cool. I'm not gonna lie, I geeked out a little bit. I was like, whoa.
Well, no, like Google does all kinds of cool shit like that. There was a point when you
Well, they have
Google Doodles.
when you
have
click
lots of money
on
for
back
it.
in the day when you would do like a search for a dual barrel roll, like Star
Yeah,
Fox
yeah, they still do
64.
that.
Oh, that is awesome!
Isn't that so cool? Did you guys not know about this? Is this what
I
happens when
read
you're in
it.
the basement too much?
I read of it. I haven't done it.
Isn't that cool?
I don't care about most Google
That's
Doodles.
pretty good.
I like
Yeah,
Google Dude. I think they're great.
I mean, that one's a good one.
Does dual
Some
barrel
of them
still
fucking.
work?
Do barrel. So I don't know if it works on phones. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't.
Some of them suck, but that was a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was also warned ahead of time. It's not a spoiler. It's just entertaining. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
fine. All right, so Game of Thrones.
Hey, it works still.
Oh
Nice,
God, no
yeah,
way.
do a barrel roll.
I feel old.
So, what did you think about the Mormont reunion?
I think it led up to a lot of.
She's awesome.
Yeah, no, I love her.
Bella Ramsey.
But I think it reaffirmed kind of what I talked about last episode with what I thought her character development was going to be, was that she was going to be like, no, motherfuckers, like, I represent my house, like, the Mormonts don't back down.
Yeah, rough, tough, hard to bluff.
I know you're my cousin. I appreciate the fact that you're 40 years older than me, but no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and cower in the tombs
When
with
I've
everybody
trained
else.
everybody else. To
When
do
I've
this.
trained everybody else and they follow me, like, how are they going to think of me in the future if we win this and I'm down the basement? Basically was like the gist of what I got. And I was like, good. I wanted her to like shed some blood of somebody else.
They showed her in the armor, and I was like,
Oh, I know.
she's gonna kill a White Walker.
Oh, I
You're
know.
like, yes, like,
Yes.
fan service. Like
The
there you
only
go.
thing I really worry about with this episode, with all the
new
humor,
one?
yeah, the one coming up.
oh, coming
I'm
up.
postulating because of the contrast that J.J. Abrams and all of them like to do. I'm worried that not J.J. Abrams.
Benioff and Weiss,
Yeah, them. You know me. I'm not good with names. I'm good with theories. Okay, it's a thing.
not Benioff. Is it Benioff?
Benoff and I think it's
Benoff.
Benoff, yeah. I'm better with
Oh, I
postulating
think of
than names.
Lindelof. No,
Lindelof.
Benioff and Weiss.
There you
Yeah,
go. We
right.
should all know this for how many episodes in now. We're geeks. It's fine. The thing I worry about, though, is that with the contrast of the humor and the reunions and all this warm, fuzzy feeling shit going on.
No
that,
one
like,
dies.
No. And also, I don't think that's unheard of. An episode where nobody dies. Not even
I'm not
a
gonna lie to you.
fucking chicken.
A part of me, when I was watching that episode on Sunday, I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel, given the way these guys have been kind of just massaging you and being like, hey
Oh,
guys,
yeah. No,
don't
they've
worry.
been sugar dicking the shit out of
Nothing's
us.
going to happen. No, literally, nothing happened last season. No one actually really fucking mattered died last season at all.
Not
So-
any of the central characters.
No. I part of me in the background is like, you know what? These guys don't have the balls to kill anyone. They're not going to kill anyone.
No. That's what I'm
what I
saying, though.
think.
I don't think they had the balls to do it last season, but they have a perfect alley-oop coming up
To
on
possibly
this Sunday.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
they-
I think they're going to kill off like 4 people in the first like 20
a
20
part-
minutes of the
a part of me
episode.
genuinely believes they don't kill anyone. Like these pussies are
I mean,
not going
this
to
is
do
going to
it.
be like the battle at the Night's Watch battle, where it's like an entire episode of just this one fucking battle.
Yeah.
like
Well, no,
like in
it's
season
gonna-
4 or
Someone's
whatever.
getting stabbed.
no.
Like it's going down.
It's going to end up being a battle of the bastards, where literally more than half the episode's going to be taken up by the entire battle. They're saying
I'm
that-
not mad at it.
They're saying
either.
this is going to be the
Yeah.
largest battle for any property, whether it's movie or
I
television.
think they said the only one that
They- like,
beat
it's
it was
the
Lord of
newest
the
movie
Rings.
that just came out.
Yeah,
No,
that we can't talk
Helm's
about.
Deep. Battle of
longer.
Helm's Deep.
It's longer than Helm's Deep. It's longer than the final battle of the Return of the King.
But as far as CGI requirements, they said that the only one that ever beat it was the third Lord of the Rings movie with
just because of they had
The
that-
third Lord of the Rings movie or the third Hobbit movie? Because the Battle of the Five Armies was
A lot of CGI.
Well, that entire
what are
movie
they
was
called?
a lot of CGI.
Gorks, Morks,
Orcs.
Orcs. Close enough. I got like 3/4 of the word. Thank you,
No,
Jared.
you had all the letters.
Yeah.
You just
Just
added
a-
others.
You know,
But I
that's
mean,
one
like
of-
the ones where like they're attacking.
That's one of my
attacking that
favorite
one.
battles in all of fiction writing, and I don't even remember how they handled
Which
it
one?
in the movie. Battle of the Five.
Armies.
Yeah, Five Armies. I don't even remember how they handled it in the movie because I was that disappointed. in that.
It was always difficult for me to try and figure out what the five armies were, and then it's like
Because they all kind of look the same. It's like, okay,
well, no,
your
because
armor
the
has
elves,
this.
the elves, the humans, the orcs,
I did buy animals.
There were dwarves that came in or something.
Dwarves and
No,
eagles,
because
right?
there was one
But
wearing
that's the thing.
deer,
Were the eagles?
pigs,
Were the eagles? Or is it the?
It's not Animal
people?
Farm, you.
It's okay,
as
Orson
well.
Welles over here. It's fine.
Yeah, it pretty
Wow,
much
the only
was.
thing I'm good with is authors.
Okay, well, how'd you like the episode, Carl? Did you actually watch it? I mean, you obviously watched it. I mean,
What'd you
why
think
not
about
even say
Arya
that?
getting some D, man?
Oh man,
You're gunning for that, yes.
I
on last
was
episode.
like, it's about time. You know, everyone else got it besides her. So
I slow clapped when she did it. I'm like,
Hey, girl, get them abs.
I heavy breath or breath. I don't know how to
I was
breathe.
heavy growth.
Heavy-
Growth? I don't know how to
Did
pass
you
that
give it a
stuff.
moment?
Is that a
Really-
combination of breath and bro?
I,
Were you one of those people that got freaked out? Like, ugh, huh, naked, Arya, gross. Ew,
What's
no.
the meme where
No,
it's like
no.
everyone, as soon as the scene happened, started
Google
fiercely
her time.
Googling
Well,
Arya's
it's like,
timeline?
how old is that
Well,
Macy
Maisie Williams is like 20.
She's 22.
well, no,
22.
I'll set the
She's
scene for
22.
you though. When that sex scene comes on, because you know no one likes to watch a sex scene with their mother, right? That's the thing.
That was
And-
kind of the equivalent.
Well, my friends.
Wait, were you watching this with your
my
mom?
friend's mom was in town, and we were all sitting around watching it.
Yeah, but
so,
you're a grown-ass adult. That's a little different.
yeah, a little bit, but no one wants to be, you know, in the room when there's sex going on when your parents there.
Okay, it's weirder if I watch it with my dad in the room, but it's like I'm over it
so
with
in the
him.
back of my mind, I'm like, this is a bit creepy. But no,
But it's not your mom.
I know, but you know, I was playing off that energy. But I was feeling creepy for him, either one. But I know, I thought it was about time that, you know, because she makes a great explanation for it, like, you know what, I might die.
Give me that dick.
Exactly.
None of us may survive.
I
Yeah.
like the lead-in for it too, where she's up on the top tower with the Hound and what's his face?
Barrack.
Yeah.
And Barrack, she's like, I'm not gonna spend my last night with you miserable old drunks or whatever. And just walks away, and they kind of look around back, and they're
Or
like, "You're not
you know,
wrong."
or you know, it can be construed
Pass the
as, you know,
alcohol.
like her first choice was the Hound, but then that guy came in and interrupted the whole situation.
I did not even go that direction. You're fucking
You know,
gross.
you could go that direction.
You mean the scene that no one asked for?
I mean,
Cock
she did seek out the Hound.
Yeah, she was
Maybe
looking
she
for him.
wanted some hair of the dog.
Yeah, yo.
You're welcome, alley-oop slam.
No, I mean, the look that Gendry gives her after she throws the 3 pieces of
yeah.
dragon's
How about
glass.
the look she gives him when he slams the axe
Oh
down?
yeah, there's a lot of like.
There was some sexual
I
tension
want
there.
to tear his clothes off.
I was actually really a fan of it. Okay, that axe was sexy. Or that spear was sexy.
I'm
She
doing
was
that
like-
from now on.
he was like,
Anytime I
"Ugh."
take it, yeah.
And the
Anytime I
look she
take a
gives her,
date
she goes,
somewhere.
"Oh, I'm gonna fuck that."
Yeah.
And then like fast forward, and she goes, they're doing that whole conversation, and she's like, "Oh, pink,"
And she's
pink, and making it just hitting the target on time. And he looks at her like, "Yo."
And the continuity of it when he finds her in like whatever like basement they're in, and she's like, he hands it to her, and she goes, "Ooh," and then he's just standing there trying to be like, all right, so how do I segue into fucking you, but
Yeah.
kind of not, but kind of yeah, and then she starts like spinning the spear, and he's like kind of like trying to dodge out of the way of it, like she's gonna like not handle it properly.
Yeah.
But
She
then,
doesn't know what she's handling.
but apparently for her first time, she learned how to handle the D.
Well, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw a tinge of disappointment when they were laying there afterwards. She's like, ugh.
Well, I think
I should have
that
gone
might have been
Podrick.
Nah, she should have gone for the wildly. They're the Hound. The Hound would have fucked the shit out of that.
I don't
Seems
know
like he
about
knows
that.
what he's doing. He knows the ways around a sword.
I don't know if he does. He looks like he's maybe barely. Maybe he's
I mean,
raped a few bitches.
I mean,
I
he
don't think
literally
he's ever,
looks like he's been around the block.
He's been out there raping women and pillaging, but I don't think he's ever actually been like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to pick up a chick tonight, and
It's
we'll
okay
see,
if she
we'll see
sits
where
on
it
this
goes.
side.
Yeah, I just don't see that with the
Stop
Hound. For some
describing
reason,
your average Saturday night.
At no point in Game of Thrones do they say that you have sex
Sorry, John.
willingly in that show.
I don't think anyone has
More
sex willingly for the
like
most part.
there's like 3 people that have sex willingly in that
It was
show.
I was gonna
Jamie
say,
and
have we also,
Cersei.
it's Jamie and Cersei. Have we also realized that
Daenerys
Sansa
and-
hasn't had consensual sex at all
Never. No.
in this entire series?
Oh, how'd
So-
you like the fact that you're kind of establishing the fact that it might be Sansa and fucking Euron? No, not Euron. Fucking.
No, I didn't get that vibe. That was more like a brother sister thing. Although they were a little bit too excited about it.
No. I got.
Are
no.
they both just gonna play flick the bean at that point? Like, what do you do?
It goes down on her. Who knows? Why did I say Euron? It's fucking
Theon
Theon.
yeah. Greyjoy. Yeah, I know what you meant though. It's fine. I was waiting for you
It
to
just
catch.
got flicked
We
the
don't have.
bean.
We're used to
That
having
took me a
Karl
while, but
here
that's
to
hilarious.
correct us on our. On
You
our
mean Jerry? No one's getting their names right tonight.
I apologize profusely. It's been finals week. I literally just wrote like a
the Simon's
20-page
podcast
paper.
where we talk about everything besides names.
Besides names, the Not Names podcast where we just vaguely describe things. The dude that did the thing. No, in that one time.
The conversation has no names.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. This podcast now officially has a title. It's going to be called Assignment Has No Name.
Simon has no name.
That's going to be the name of this episode. Because I've been putting up different episode names. Like the first one was like Simon Fell or The Rise of Simon because it's a
A
fucking
girl
trailer
had
drop.
no orgasm would also be fitting as well because Arya's look at the end.
Yeah, she did not. No, she did not get what she wanted.
She was like, "That's what that's all fucking about."
She pulled a Thanos. She was fine. I'll do it myself.
She's like, "That's what that sword was really for."
He's like, fine. She's gonna grab her own gauntlet and go to town.
I mean, I
I'll
couldn't
take
help
myself
but
to Pound Town. I mean,
This is what the staff was for.
I couldn't help but empathizing with this poor woman though, like because she's over here
was
like.
your first time that bad, huh?
I would say any sex I had early in college was probably a paramount to that. The dude's gently sleeping, satisfied to the left, and I'm kind of like, well, fuck this shit. How do I sneak out and maybe go get it like some cookout?
Or find another dick.
Or find it. Well, no, I don't double dip in one night.
That's just unsanitary.
Right? God,
Wash it.
you assume I have time. I'm just kidding.
I really love the fact that we're having this conversation. Right
Yeah. Side note: I
Dad
hope my
left.
dad's not.
Dad's gone. We can actually finally have a normal conversation.
I know, right? Without him blushing and talking about me like, oh, guys, anyways, change the topic.
Yeah.
All right. So, Karl, you liked it generally, though, right?
I liked it. The thing about this one for me though is it had a lot of like foreshadowing who I think is gonna die. So even though they were saying
Jorah's gone.
Jorah's gone.
Dead.
I think Jamie's fucked too.
I think Jamie's fucked too.
I don't think Jamie died. No, Jamie doesn't die in Winterfell.
No, because
He dies
said,
in King's Landing.
well, they kind of foreshadowed though when he like goes to like knight Brienne. He's like, wait, a knight can make another knight. Any knight can make another knight, and so he knights Brienne.
He should start knighting everyone at that point. Like,
I'm trying,
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna knight all y'all.
No, that's a Hodor move. Okay, calm down.
Whoa.
But it did have this episode
Jerry's
did
not
have
around to be like, fuck
the best backstory to any character ever.
Which one?
I suckled at the teat for 10
Oh
days.
my god, the
no,
memes for
yeah.
that were amazing.
He's like, she thought I was her child.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm so strong.
and then he chugs whatever
Yeah, then he
white
just
viscous
chugs-
fluid is in the
That's why
horn.
they
And that
call me
horn,
Giant
yeah.
Bane.
Oh
You're
my!
like, yes.
The
And he
greatest backstory.
He's like, I
of
killed
all
a
time.
giant when I was 10 years old. Did you use your bare hands? Like, how did he didn't even go into it. Like, listen, I killed a giant and then I sucked his wife.
well, that's-
I sucked his wife's tits.
That's a
Was his
wildling way of
story.
flirting. But still,
I thought it was the kid that he like the giant kid that he killed. That's why he was suckling at the teeth.
Oh,
no, he said he did it, and that's how he grew up to be big and strong.
Yeah, I know, but I thought he killed a giant child and then took his place. Because that would make
I don't remember.
Unless-
I'm quite sure they didn't really elaborate on what
Well,
he
I
killed.
know, but that-
he just
but
said
that
I
would-
killed a giant.
I know, but that would make the most sense to me. Because then why would the mother just be confused? Like, oh, what's this thing?
Giants aren't
Yeah.
the sharpest tools in the shed.
That's true, but if something's hanging off my nipple, I don't. I know how.
She doesn't care.
You don't have
I'm not-
room to talk about tits, sir, because you do not own a pair right now. Okay.
Oh, have you found something just like randomly?
I mean, I'm
Have
just
you
saying
nursed something back to health? Is that what you're trying to imply?
randomly without ever having
I have
children.
nipples,
maybe.
Greg. Can you milk me?
I know. I literally had that same thought when he's like, I suckled at the teat. I'm like, it's like milking a cat, you know? Meow, 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 meow. Hear that sound.
Ugh.
I'm gonna enjoy that in playback
But
later.
no, it had a lot of good things. I liked how the biggest thing for me was the end, because they had this whole plan how we're going to defeat the Night King, and then the very end, when they show his armies lining up but no Night King, I'm like, oh well, he already knows your fucking plan. If he's not there leading the charge, he's somewhere else fucking your shit over.
Well, he said too, I think Bran, I agree with your point, because Bran also was like, well, I always have a connection to him. I have his mark.
yeah.
So I think,
He's opened a door both ways kind of thing.
well, he has,
Oh, yeah, he is.
but he's never been in a room strategizing before with anybody.
Nope.
So he
just does what he needs to do.
all of that talking about shit in the room was bullshit, and Bran was there to throw off the Night King. Because Bran, because Bran and the Night King had that like Harry Potter Voldemort connection.
Yeah. So you think it's like a little crisscrossed by Bran, like him outthinking the Night King?
I mean, I'm postulating, but like if I were wanting to fuck with somebody who had a gateway into my mind, I would make them see a situation that looked believable but was entirely farce, and we were going to do something totally fucking different.
Well, that would be cool. I would like that twist. But they
better build more ramps too, because how else are they going to get them out in the snow under that tree?
Yeah, how's he been getting around anyway?
He's never out of breath. That's what kills me. And he has scrawny arms.
And Hodor is not there anymore to carry him around.
He's always
He
got
made
his...
sure of that, didn't he?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, he's also got his arms always like over his dick in the underneath some furs, you know.
I don't think that thing's working anymore.
Oh, side note, can we talk about the first opening line of the episode, where they're all in the hall, and it's right before Jaime gets defended by Brienne, and I forget what the lead up was. Shit, this is when I wishes Jere was here. But the alley oop of it was like the things.
No, the things we do for love.
No, the things we do for love. But it was something like that, and then Bran's like, "You would know."
Yeah.
Like shade,
and then just
stares at him.
No, Bran says the things we do for love.
Oh, that's
he literally looks at me and goes,
right.
"Yo, dude, remember that line you said
what
right before you threw me off the ledge?" He goes, "The things we do for love." You're like,
and then Jaime just turns pale.
Yeah,
you
like,
just see him like side eye, like fuck that kid.
He's like, I love how Jaime and Tyrion are all like, "Yo, so yeah, I definitely fuck sis." And
they're just like, yeah, it's a fact. We're not hiding it anymore. We might die. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everyone knows. And
yeah.
I wonder if
but no, he gets to lay in a shot like you always knew what he was or she was.
No,
but you went along with it anyway. So don't come to me with that kind of like, oh, she fooled me kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. That I liked that Tyrion kind of called him out on that. That was horse.
The one thing that I didn't like about this episode, and I think Jere kind of touched on it earlier, is they're setting up Daenerys to be the bad guy, and they so much so that the moment that I was waiting for was when Jon got to tell her, like, hey,
at the very end, like with 2 minutes
left. Oh, you mean the
left.
world's worst timing? Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way.
But all,
like, dude.
Yeah, but wait. All she cared about was, well, you have a claim to the throne. No, we're related. Throne.
Right. She
that's
totally
all she cared
bypassed. I fucked you. We're first cousins.
Yeah. So,
well, no one gives a shit. Obviously, in this universe, no one cares who they're working in family.
Yeah, but still, it should be like a kind of moment.
Well, they also have this whole medieval times thing kind of going on.
No,
so
dude, she's
maybe
hell bent on getting the throne, and she just learned she is no longer has first right to the throne at all.
And as far as she knows,
there could have been a little bit of a better dialogue. You don't think so?
It could have gone better.
I think the timing was just piss poor.
No, that was on purpose because then we're all like, what the fuck is she going to say next?
Well, when is the
television? Hold on, for television, yes, but for like where John's at, hey, this is going to happen. We're about to go into battle. Why is she going to tell her literally right before they're about to go to war? Yeah, like literally, like, by the way.
Well, he didn't know when that thing was going to sound.
Well, no, they know, but
that's what kind of sparked it. He was going kind of that direction, and I think he was going to explain it a little differently. But then the happens, and then
he was going to say, "I don't care about the throne," pretty much. I think is what he was.
Yeah, but then the conversation started because Horn, and then things.
Yeah, because Tormund shows up and is like, "Yo, by the way, them bitches are going to be here in the morning before dusk." Yeah. So like, or dawn, whatever the fuck it was. But I'm just saying, like, he's like, hey, maybe he was going to be like, hey, I don't give a shit about the throne. You can have it.
I mean, he said that,
but
like,
she's all like,
times.
no. Now she's like, oh, nope, he's got to burn. And like he was saying, Jere was saying earlier,
I know, I saw it in her
they're
eyes.
setting up Danny to be the villain, the Mad King. They're definitely setting it up.
Oh, they're totally alley-ooping that one.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh, Danny's bad guy. And by the way, we have 3 episodes to settle that.
Right. It's going to be like a 3-episode battle, and all the while they're just going to be throwing dirty looks at each other across the battlefield.
That battle's done, and it's over.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I'm teasing. I'm not. Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure. Okay, so obviously Jorah's dead.
Jorah's going to die.
I think sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think Gilly dies. I think everyone down in the crypts dies.
Also, I'm kind of surprised at how not busted Gilly looks all of a sudden. Was anyone else kind of surprised? Because she had that, like, buck tooth, like... When they found her at the inbred north of the wall camp.
And then how about that? Yeah.
And then towards the end, she's like over here in like actually. I thought it was good because they didn't really mention her. They've only kind of touched on her character briefly, only in relation to whatever Sam was doing. Yeah. But I felt like in this episode they actually like kind of half-assed tried to showcase her a little bit. Like, look at the growth she has. Like, she's made over all these years. Like, she hasn't really been a focal character. She's definitely been like a secondary, third. I don't see it. Argue tertiary character, but all of a sudden, the last time we really saw her, she was all timid and shit, and then she was finally getting the hang of this mother thing, the inbred brother mom thing going on, and then. And then all of a sudden in this episode, she gets to get more screen time than she did in, I think, since...
because out of nowhere, that child with dragon scale shows up and goes up to Davos and it's all like, hey, I'm going to go fight. And you're like, wait, who the fuck
No,
is...
she's a burns on her face,
No,
right?
it was dragon scale.
No, it was dragon scale.
It's definitely dragon
Okay,
scale.
okay.
And you're like, huh. And I think Jerry touched on his theory about that.
What did you go print?
Hey, Jerry.
Tickets.
Hey, Jerry, what was your
You have an
theory
extra
on
one
the...
for.
Not for Endgame, by the way.
Oh, no,
Jerry,
no,
what
I'm
was
in
your theory
2019.
about
I have mine on
the
my
little
phone.
child that showed up with dragon scale?
Is that so they play the music for Shireen's music theme, but there's no reason
Rest in peace, Shireen.
for Davos to have any special connection to a kid outside of any other kid. He knows what's coming up. He knows why. So there's a particular reason. Yes, the dragon scale was a tip-off, but then it's like she wanted to. It's like, well, I want to fight. I want to stay up here. But he said, no, you need to be in the crypts.
And he twists it to be like, well, no, you're going to protect them down there.
Well, but I think that was a subtle manipulation to make sure that the girl stayed into the crypts.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was extra. That wasn't
by
subtle. That
the
was very blatant.
By the girl to manipulate him to make sure that's where she was.
Do you think it was the kid manipulating the whole situation?
Because it's a possible she was Melisandre.
Whoa.
You're right.
Yeah, I reacted the same way he told me that yesterday. I'm like,
No!
wait a second, because
she tells Varys. We didn't get deep into this.
Yeah, we know you didn't tell me.
Oh,
So she,
right. All right,
so
yeah,
she
tell me
just-
the backstory,
So,
please. Do
so
the
in,
thing.
in season 7, so she and Varys are there, and it's like, oh, it's funny that you introduced the king, Jon Snow to the Queen, but you're not here for when he actually arrives. And it's like, oh, my time's here's the gun. So yes, you better leave and go back to Ashai. It's like, no, it is my destiny to come back and die in this country as well as yours. And that's when Varys was like, what?
I do kind of remember that.
So she left. So obviously she's coming back because they're not going to say all that and do whatever. And there's no point really for her to be in the Iron Throne because she realized, as she misinterpreted her readings of the fire, that the battle for R'hllor is against the night, as the light, the god of light to battle the night. So that's where she needs to be. She can't be in there. Everybody knows who she was. John said,
Oh yeah, she made her.
kill you.
She showed her hand like 4 seasons
Well,
ago.
it's John said it's like thanks for your help, but it's like because of what you did to her and what Davos and everything, you can't. So she can't show up. So she has to disguise herself, which we know she can do.
She can.
Yeah.
We know
She's
she can do.
1,000 years old, at least, or
God,
who
and
knows
she's
how many.
so hot though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, the chick that... Oh, yeah.
Without,
She was
without the yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely digging that look.
Clarice Van what's Bart Simpson's friend? Everything's coming up. Milhouse Van
Yeah,
Houten.
yeah.
Clarice
Yeah.
Van Houten.
There you go.
So
That's an interesting way of remembering that.
Well, I think she appeared on a Simpsons show, like as a cousin or something. They did some sort of thing. But I think she was a college roommate or college friend of Seth Meyers.
No kidding.
They've known each other forever.
And she's I think she's some type of artist.
She's from the Netherlands. She was in a movie called The Black Box, which was about
Which black box is that?
It was the prequel to Bird Box.
well, it was about
Followed by tissue box.
It was about the women who slept with the Nazis for the underground to get all the things about.
I
that.
did watch this one. That was a good movie.
That was her.
That
She
was
was
really
with the
good.
blonde hair.
Yes. No, I remember that because actually I think I found that one on Hulu a couple months
It's the
ago.
same director of Total Recall and
Yeah.
Hey, Carl. So, while we're doing this, go ahead and start downloading Hinge and Bumble on your phone.
Oh yeah, do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that thing, man. We got
Yeah,
30
you-
minutes. So we're going to go and dedicate the last 30 minutes. to
But,
setting up
so-
the
Is it
file.
already 4:30? Shit, was I that late?
So,
Sorry,
but-
guys.
No, it goes quick when everybody's talking well. But the thing that was interesting is that obviously the people that are going down into the crypts aren't fighters per se, but not that they would do terrifically well towards those type of people. But who could do well? A Red Priestess of R'hllor. Her gifts and that she wouldn't be good in hand-to-hand fighting out the White Walkers out in the snow and doing whatever, but she might be more helpful in protecting the people down in the crypts.
So I wonder then what the Lord of Light has shown her that on what side she has to be on. Then.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious. The Night King and the Lord of Light. I think that kind of tells you which side she's on.
What if the Lord of Light and the Night King are the same damn person?
They're not.
They both have resurrection powers.
No, because previously the prince that was promised is Elor s01e04 re-risen, who was the avatar for R'hllor, who stopped the long night the previous time.
And my eyes just crossed because of how many names of actual legit characters you
Which
just
could
threw
still
out.
be
which are all in the books. And
Which
however
could
Which are
either
all in
be
the books.
Jamie or John, right?
Jamie, John, potentially Daenerys, as Missandei made a point of saying in High Valyrian that word doesn't have a gender. So
Yeah.
it could be the prince or princess that was
true.
promised.
Oh, I do remember that. Okay.
Or possibly that the prince that promised was Rhaegar, and that Jon Snow is actually
The
Lightbringer.
sword, yeah.
He's
the actual.
he's the light
sword.
bringer.
Yeah.
the bringer.
Instead of because again, prophecies, and this is the cool thing about Game of Thrones, even in the television show and the books, is that prophecies aren't specific. It's like they can be interpreted, they can mean different things, and so it's not like, oh, this happened, so it has to happen exactly. Oh, there's a sword, it's a legitimate sword. No,
Right.
it's the sword is
Metaphorical.
called the light bringer. So maybe
It's a metaphor.
he stops the night, so he's the light bringer.
What kind of things did you print out?
2 tickets.
4.
Well, I had 4.
Jerry, welcome to 2019. Mine, I have a QR code on in my email that has my
that
tickets.
would be Ticketfly that it's not in the present day. They're the ones that don't allow you to scan through an app. They'd have to print
What are the tickets for? What you going to?
somewhere.
He's gonna go see the thing again.
Places.
No, that's on my phone.
Interesting. So how are we doing there?
All right. Yep. How's your internet doing? All right. So, did you get both downloaded or only one?
Only one.
All right. So go ahead and download the other one. Let's wrap up Thrones, and then we'll lay into
What's
dating life?
What's the other one? Bumble.
Bumble, like a bumblebee.
Yeah, you're gonna be there in your hive, and by hive I mean
Hopefully, I'll find my queen. Beehive queen.
Do you want to just table this and we'll?
Humor explained is humor denied.
no. I like what you did there, but I'm just like nah. That's for trying to destroy my thoughts on Endgame.
So who do you think is going to survive or not survive?
Oh yeah, you want to play a quick round of Thrive, Survive, Dies?
Oh yeah, I'll go first. Well, I'll go first with my Jor dies.
No, come
You already
on.
called
I'm
that.
the one that told you that.
No, I've been
Yeah,
saying
sorry.
that.
No, he's been saying Jorah for like weeks.
I said that Sunday.
Oh.
Like literally the moment like, oh, that motherfucker's dead. The moment he got that sword, I'm like, okay.
No, actually, I remember the first time we
Bye.
did it, you guys both said it at the same time. Okay, so Jorah dies. Who thrives?
Thrives.
Like who? Or you can just go with survive.
Who just survive? Oh,
But
who just
we'll-
survives?
Yeah, who survives? Because now we, especially with what Jerry just said about like it's
Jamie.
potentially Melisandre.
Jamie
in there.
survives.
Jamie.
I think Jamie lives.
His ending is going to be much more tragic than dying in battle.
Yeah. Jamie lives. Jamie makes it to he's gonna make it to King's Landing. And it's gonna be gut wrenching
He
what
has
happens.
to stab Cersei.
Yeah, it's something along those lines.
All right, Jared, give me yours. Well, you have to say survives real quick. So who do you, or thrives? So who do you think?
Thrives?
Yeah, thrives. Who do you think's at least going to be in an advantageous position at the end of this?
I'm gonna think about that for a second.
I'm going to give you a hint. Giant titties.
No. I think
Not like giant titties, but like giants titties.
I think he dies.
You think he does?
Tormund dies.
No, no.
Tormund dies.
He kills all the things.
Okay, Arya thrives. She ends up being the one who kills.
Well, she ain't thriving at the end of that last
Wait, who
episode.
did she kill?
She's gonna end up killing the Night King.
I think so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll get
Whoa.
that far.
Nah, she's not
close to
that
him.
important.
That's
I
what-
actually
no,
think she's
that-
going to be the one to draw first blood.
That's what that weapon, or that weapon's gonna kill a dragon or the knight. It's gonna be one of those two things. That's why she designed that weapon. But the thing is, how
I'm
does she
sure-
know about the dragon? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
No, she designed that weapon because she's not physically strong enough to
and she's
wield
also,
a sword.
but she's also not tall.
And it's much more depth to her athleticism and agility
Yeah.
to have something a spinning sword.
And
staff weapon.
she also didn't act like it was ever. Yes, it's a spear, but it's a double-headed spear, which is meant for close hand combat. Yes, you can throw it, but that means you have to go fucking retrieve it. So
Yeah, no, I mean,
It
I
looks
think
like it
it's.
shoots out.
We'll see what happens. But I think she thrives.
Have you ever done
Anyways,
martial arts, which I have? It's basically a bow
Sansa
staff.
thrives because they're going to push the whole Daenerys Sansa rivalry, and the only way that happens is that Sansa gets more power, which means I hate
Ballin'.
all of this.
Ginger up high.
Any Stark, all Starks survive because the
The
pack
pack
survives
survives.
and the lone wolf dies.
I can't say what. Earmuffs.
No, no, because what I said covers all of that.
No, but what I was going to say is that at least.
All of it covers that. What I
Really?
said covers all of that.
Are you sure?
As long as the Starks are together, they survive.
Oh, no, I was going to say at least one of them died this weekend.
That's what you clearly did not listen to anything that I just said.
Nope, I didn't. Go on.
When the Starks are together, they always survive.
Yeah.
You guys are such dicks.
By himself.
All right, I think you're good.
Good?
You're
Safe?
fine. Yeah, you're
Done?
good. Yeah, good.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
good. Go on.
I said it. I said everything.
I
that needed to
know,
be
I
said.
know. I wanted to say what I wanted to say anyways. Because I'm going to say it anyways.
Thank you for at least remembering
yeah,
put your
yeah.
childhood earmuffs on. La 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 la.
I think Jormung's fate actually has a worse ending, possibly. And I proposed this to John. I said this the other day. Is that I think that Jorah survives because he's going to be the one that's going to. If they make Daenerys the big villain, he's going to be the one that has to kill her.
Whoa.
Which will crush him.
Whoa.
Ooh, that would be an
Can't wait to
ultimate.
watch that.
That
I
would
don't
be an
think they're gonna go
ultimate
that
sword
direction.
in and turn.
That's why I think he survives,
Sorry, sir, friend zone.
and Grey Worm dies. Because
Damn,
Why is everyone taking my stuff?
and the only reason is like there's no happy
What did
couples.
be last week, motherfucker? That's what happened to me.
No happy couples except for Sam and Gilly.
Do you think
Yeah.
they're going to keep that continuity? I mean, you're right. They've killed off every other couple. I mean,
No,
even-
I'm saying
even
that's
the-
what these guys are going to
Oh,
do.
yeah, I
They're
know.
going
I
to
mean-
choose to give you no happiness.
You're right.
I think Grey Worm says, "I'll see you after the battle," which means he's gonna die.
And
Yeah,
and what did they
you're
plan?
right.
And what did they plan to do after they put
Run
Daenerys
away.
on the
Yeah,
throne?
they made future plans after a battle.
done,
They
totally
die.
done.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea. I think that's an
Anyway.
an optimism of that you need to go into with war, but
Oh,
also
oh,
I'm
no,
going to fucking
that's
die.
Like
That's
no
the
legitimate
retirement
real
principle.
life that's what happens.
Yeah.
Those people come back. But in fiction, when you're the one that's seen doing that,
You know.
I retire in 5 days.
Exactly.
yeah.
If you say the word, if a cop
you-
says they're going to retire, that's when it is. When you make a new car payment or your first car payment, that's when your car's going to get hit. When you finally pay it off, that's when it's going to
gonna
get
get
hit.
hit.
when I left the airport with my flight benefits, I hit the
Easy.
date like in July. And then I said, "Oh, well, you're gonna say, oh, I'll just hang around and everything." And then when I made the decision, I just handed in the paperwork with the 2 weeks. And then it's like, "When are you leaving tomorrow?"
All right, Carl,
like
your
a
turn.
All right,
nobody
Carl, you're up.
chance.
We got to fuck with your dating
Okay.
life, so hit it with it. Hit us with it.
Okay. Jorah's dead. Grey Worm's dead.
You know what, Jerry, you going down Hitch too?
Okay, so Derry.
Jorah kills Jerry.
Daenerys, she thrives. I think they got to put her in a better position. All the Starks live. Let's see. Oh, there's no one left to kill. I
Oh,
think
there's so many.
there's so many,
so
but
many.
I don't want to go on record and being wrong because I know some of these people aren't gonna die.
It doesn't matter. We get to do it all over again next week.
Oh,
Yay!
I know. You know what? Okay, so Brianna Tarth got exactly what she wanted. She finally got knighted. So
That's danger time, right
that's
there.
danger time
Yeah.
too. So I'll say Brianna.
She just
Tarth.
got her
'Cause
set
that-
of balls.
Well, that's the happiest moment she's ever going to have. With
Exactly.
Jaime.
So
That was her
Yeah.
crescendo. Absolutely.
I think she might die trying to save Jaime's life.
She or Pod are both not making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of them do.
Although interestingly, Tyrion said, "Well, we're gonna die tomorrow." He says, "I'm not so sure about that." He intimates that he knows that all the people in that room survive, and that's after he had the conversation with Bran for like the 3 hours before at the fireplace. So
Yeah,
does he
so
know
does he
something?
know
Does he know
something?
something?
Well, and that's why I'm thinking that all of that shit of them around the table was horse,
Yeah.
or the two of them.
because it wasn't real closure; it was fake closure.
Yeah,
They all
absolutely.
continue.
Poor.
Well, no,
writing.
all of that stuff. No, sorry, I'm backtracking earlier in the episode. All of the strategy that they were talking about with Bran perfectly placed in the corner to look and see everybody.
He's their Siri.
Like, I mean,
Or not Siri,
I mean, he's basically like a camera.
Alexa. He's an Alexa.
He's an Alexa, but he has a direct line to the Night King.
Like
so that's
how
why I
Jeff
think all of
Bezos
it is
is.
horseshit.
How Harry Potter of them. Anyway, so you say
And
dies,
then
Brienne. Brienne dies.
Brienne dies.
Thrives is Danny, and
yeah.
then who'd you say survives?
Night King.
Ooh.
Night King survives.
Look at you rooting for like
I-
the
no, no,
villain of
I-
Joffrey.
No, that's what I wanted to say, but I'm like, they're gonna hate on me if I say that because
You're-
you know,
you're rooting
you
for
guys know
fucking
I'm
Night Joffrey.
You guys know I'm
No.
rooting for Night King.
Wait, this is for the, this is,
We've already established
wait,
that.
no, this is for the battle, right? Not for the
no
whole show.
I mean,
No, it's for the battle.
yeah, for the battle.
next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
plays into
so
the rest
Night
of the
King's
show.
definitely going to survive it. The one reason I think is because I have a theory that he knows all their plans, like you're saying, and he wasn't there at the end of like he's always been. Whenever you see the White Walkers, you see the Night King. Right?
Instead, you saw his
and now you just see his minions, his court or whatever.
Well,
I don't know what they
you
are.
saw his sergeants of sorts.
Yeah.
his captain.
But you didn't
Yeah,
see him leading
him.
all of it, and
Yeah,
there was
so-
no dragon in sight.
Yeah, so he's somewhere ready to mess someone up.
All right, your turn.
All right.
grade
Shit, I
your-
had a good
grade your
plan.
account yet?
All right. Dies. I think it's gonna be Daenerys, but not in this episode. I think that's gonna be in a couple later.
We're not going with this episode.
All right. Well, fine.
Focus.
Die is going to be. All right. So Tyrion said he was going to go in the tombs. I'd say Tyrion dies this episode. So.
Whoa!
Well, he's postulating that Melisandre is down there. I think.
He takes.
She has no beef with Tyrion.
No, but I think that's implying with all of this like treasure trove
No,
of
that's
people
that's
down
what
there.
everybody else is applying.
I think Tyrion stars the entire thing.
I mean, I hope so, but I think he's going to die
Okay.
because
he ends up being king.
No, he ends up being the Lord of Casterly Rock. The one thing that was never going to happen.
I hope that happens
No, I
for
think-
him so
Oh
badly.
man, that would
No,
All the hoes at
I think
Casterly
Bronn
Rock.
gets Casterly Rock.
be. Nah, he dies.
No, Bronn can get Highgarden or
I think
Dorne. Bronn could get Dorne
I think he ends up with Casterly
or
Rock.
Highgarden. No, he doesn't get Casterly
No, he's
Rock.
there to go kill Tyrion, which is not going to happen.
He's
which
not
he
gonna
means
do
he's gonna-
it.
All right,
He's gonna
all right.
die.
I actually, I'm going to rival Jerry with this one. I'm going to say that Sansa dies this episode
That would be great.
because she's not.
This would
she's not a
become my
fighter.
favorite episode ever.
Because then you can
What's your
tell me.
problem with gingers, Jerry?
I'm a ginger.
Well,
I have no
she's
problems with
shown
those.
How are
no.
you
She's not adept at war. She's not a
Right.
Yeah,
good
part
war
ginger.
strategizer. She's just found her footing as
You
far
have
as.
part of a soul. It's either
That's
none.
generous. Love you,
No, I was
John.
saying about the redhead resin, not to you.
I know.
He has
No,
a
for
thing
the
for,
people that
equal
didn't wear it.
opportunity, all shades of redhead. But yeah, she's shown herself to only just now becoming into like a conniving piece of shit. Like she was taught
she's
by
always
little.
been?
Well, no.
like she's actually like adept. Like Littlefinger
But
kind of
she-
trained her to be.
But not, she's not though, because you see her clumsily activate.
Well, no, in this,
trying all of
but at the end of last
but she's
season,
finally
she
flexing that
perfectly
muscle.
articulated in the last 2 episodes her and Arya fucking with Littlefinger.
So you're one of the people that thinks that she and Arya were communicating off screen.
Yes.
Okay. Clearly wasn't written that way until the very last moment when they make you think that. And the second part of that is then that they think that she actually conferred with Bran to.
She probably checked with Bran first,
Yeah,
and then
but-
went
which
Arya.
makes it so much worse that all of this season, when you're like, oh, you believe that Cersei's bringing an army? It's like, no, hey, I checked with Bran. She's not sending an army.
Yeah, I'm starting to call
That's-
Bran the magic 8-ball. Like shit, like someone walks up to him and goes, "What? Tell me what this is," you know, and then you get a fucking answer.
Sausage Shazam.
I start calling him the magic magic Bran ball.
That's actually a reference to oh damn it, God's show on Stars. New Gods? No,
American Gods
American Gods. Why did that?
by Neil Gaiman.
My brain is not working today at all.
He's
As I'm in
you
overdrive.
know what Bran is the Find Your Friend app. That's what he is. Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, they're right over here.
Yeah.
Yep. He's like he's as useful as MapQuest kind of sometimes too, though. I think I think that Bran is going to survive.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
I don't think, although I kind of half-ass wish that he gets totally fucked over by this supposed, if my theory is wrong,
We're
the
gonna take him
supposed
by
plan of
surprise,
bait,
yeah.
it actually just like fucks him over.
I think it's going to backfire.
I'm half hoping it does, but I think Bran's going to survive this one, and then let's see, thrives. I want to. I mean, I really want. I actually kind of want Jaime to survive this battle. I'm not gonna lie, Podrick. I can give or take. Don't fucking care. Also, I could do without his singing. No offense, guys. And then
He has a lovely voice. And that song potentially foreshadows what's going to happen between Danny and Jon Snow.
well, this is true, and but also, okay, Jerry, help me out. The dude that Maisie Williams had sex with,
Gendry.
Gendry.
yeah.
I actually
The
have
heir
half.
to the Stormlands.
Baratheon.
Yeah, so I actually have an inclination that he's gonna die. Also, if I can pick multiple people that die, because
If they keep the houses the way they are, I think Bronn will end up being the Lord of Highgarden or of Dorne, the Prince of Dorne. The Gendry will be the Stormlands for the Baratheon heir at Storm's End.
Theon keeps, or Theon and Yara.
Well,
Yara.
Theon. Oh, speaking of dead, Theon totally dead.
Oh, yeah, that's
he's
a good
completed his arc. So Yara will be at the Iron
survives.
Islands.
Yara, that's my pick. That's
Well, she won't. She's not in the battle.
I don't care. I love her so much.
We're not going to see her again this show.
I know.
That's the last we saw her. So she's
We're not gonna see her for a
do
while.
all of those things.
No.
And then
we might have seen her in the last episode.
no, we won't see her.
You don't think so?
I think she's going to survive, though.
Not if Danny's not on the throne. She's not going to show up for the
Theon's
other
funeral.
people.
True.
Yeah, Danny has no loyalty to Yara.
And then they
Or the
do
other way
more
around.
so. Yara has no loyalty to Jon Snow.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
But
her
she has
connection is
more-
to Daenerys. But if Daenerys is not on the throne, she won't be there. Doesn't matter to her.
What if they just kill Daenerys and Jon
Tyrion
just
will be
kill each other?
Tyrion will
and
be
say,
at
"Fuck
Castle
it."
Rock. Sweet
down with
Robin
that.
will be at
Do like a 10 paces
wherever.
pistol draw.
I'd be okay
the
with that.
Eyrie, and then Sansa will be Lady
Where are you
Stark
going?
of
We have to fuck
Winterfell.
with his dating life. Side note, I asked John earlier about how his thing went.
Oh yeah.
He said 0.
0 hits.
Zero. I was like,
Imagine
it
that.
was like, it was like 4 days, 3 or 4 days ago. I was like, hey, how's your thing doing? He went, nobody, no bites. All right. Well, since John abdicated his role of director, Jerry,
Did he literally post like, "Hey, this is for a podcast"?
No, he just mentioned
He
in one of
mentioned
the
his
first
podcast a
questions.
lot.
He was like, he mentioned, you like my podcast or you listen to my podcast. I get off on the sound of my own voice.
Because I have a podcast.
Because we did this right after you left. So the questions we picked were, we should definitely go out if you like the sound of my. You get off on the sound of my voice and listen to my podcast. You should not go out with me if you don't like the sound of my voice.
It was pretty much every answer to
It was
podcast.
pretty much. It was pretty much the most jack, but also egotistical thing ever put on the internet in a while, other than that created by Donald Trump. He's the OG of that.
Oh, we're back on Star Wars.
Any rate. Actually, honestly, after that last episode, I'm surprised more people didn't get it on. Not gonna lie, I expected. Also, I was kind of hoping with all the other, especially as like vulgar, all the other, not vulgar, but as graphic, I should say, as all the other sex scenes were that for the most part have occurred in Game of Thrones. I didn't see a nip. Like
They told I saw
or
the
nothing.
post. The
I saw
behind
more
the
when
scenes,
Grey Worm had his legs open.
I saw the behind the scenes things that HBO releases after, so the producers can explain while the things that they did are actually smart. Is that they told her it's like whatever you want to do, whatever your comfort level. So they gave Maisie Williams complete control, as opposed to like every other actress. But
They gave her like 3 seconds of like, you're not going to see my nips and I'm going to be on top.
But
and
the reverse of that is when she signed her contract, there were no nudity clauses. So they had to negotiate that later. So that's where she had power over that, as opposed to the other adult actress women who signed on to begin with.
It would have
Yeah.
been really creepy if they were initially in her contract.
Yeah, it'd be really weird if like, hey, if this actually goes well in
And
5
you're
years, would you
18.
mind
Yeah.
taking your clothes off
Like, how-
forever embellished on, film?
Yeah, she's
And that's in like 5 years though. Are you cool
Well,
with that?
That's my side.
everyone now knows since the Google searches she's 22, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So
I know she's definitely in her 20s.
yeah, so what? 10 years ago she was 12.
Well, she was
When she started?
11 when she was hired, but again, the show was shooting for a year before it first aired.
I mean, she's just short
Okay.
statured as a person in general, but I think in the show she's supposed to be like 17 or 18, something like that.
No. She still would be probably 12 or 13
In the show?
In the show.
In the show?
Yeah, no,
In
I'm
the
sorry,
books.
in the books. In the
Yeah.
show,
Oh,
the
I
show
was
is
gonna
pseudo real life.
I was gonna say.
So
I was like,
we add a
16.
couple years.
okay, so normal age,
No,
but
I need to be 16, 17. But I mean,
So she's fine in the southern
we're
states.
talking about 14, 15.
the most religious of them
in
all.
the
she's
Middle
fine.
East is in the Middle Ages. Excuse me, in the Middle Ages, 14, 15 would be like,
That's
veering you off and popping out
actually
some
middle
kids.
aged. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
no, well, even in the early 1900s.
That's like the new third.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't until like recent the Industrial Revolution. It's like, no, we got to go work, and it's like, oh, we can't have kids dying in shirt fires.
And with all that said,
Sure,
guys, Game of Thrones talks is now over.
Well, we only filled space because you decided to.
Oh yeah, I
do
understand it. But I'm
something.
saying, guys, tune in.
He had to
probably
take his
on-
Avengers Endgame bathroom break.
Yeah. Finally, after that gallon of water I drank yesterday and that large soda, I finally went to the bathroom.
I had a large popcorn. Make sure it just dehydrate me.
Hey, I
have
wanna
extra
fuck with
salt, like
Karl's
more
leg.
salt.
Anyways, guys, we'll be
More
back
salt.
on. I think we're gonna be back on Monday. to go ahead and do instant gut check reaction to
The Battle of Winterfell.
Battle of Winterfell.
And then I will have
in
also
theory-
seen Endgame by then as
In
well.
theory, because we
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
want to talk about that.
We don't know what the title of the episode is. We're calling it the Battle of Winterfell.
I think they've already established it.
Well, no, they've not released the episode titles until the Sunday, the day of. But again, that becomes one
What
of those
if-
things. Is like I don't think
What
the
if they
battle.
just, like,
I
there's
don't
no
Did you
think
see that it was episode 69? That's all it
last
said.
week.
Yeah.
Well, no, the last week was. I don't think that.
Is it a purpose?
I don't think that the Battle of the Bastards was going to be called the Battle of the Bastards until the fans kept
Called it.
referring
Named it
that,
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, we'll call it that."
No, what if
which
they-
is one of the things of the writing things. It's like
This is-
they lost it. It's like, oh, well, if that's what the fans are doing, we got to go with it or
Yeah.
It's
change
like how
it.
they
with
call the
it, yeah.
ACA Obamacare.
This is what they should do. They should just put an
Well, that's
ED
marketing.
at the end of Winterfell.
That too.
They should just put an ED at the end. There you go.
Winterfeld.
Yeah. It felt.
That's really great grammar there.
They should just put an ED.
I
and
like
call
that.
it. Call it
Hey,
a
they're
day.
uneducated. What do they know?
Winterfeld. All right,
Most
Karl.
guys don't want ED, to be honest.
Anyways, tune in on Monday when we get our get instant take on that episode, and hopefully I like it more than I liked Endgame. But I think I'm going to go see Endgame again on what? I'm going to go see Endgame again on Sunday,
Don't make me.
and I'll see if maybe my opinion changes a little bit, and I'm a little bit softer on the movie because my instant gut take on that movie was just not good.
We'll just give you some B12 and vitamin D, and you'll be like, "Oh, I loved it."
Did someone say D? Anyways, Karl, we'll go and pull up your app. So today we're going to go and create a dating profile for Karl on Hinge, ladies. Be on the lookout. I do believe I sent you a few
All
photos.
you get is the first name.
I sent you some
Carl.
photos, right? We're not going to give him the last name.
No. We're
Yeah.
only throwing out first
No
name.
last
Yeah.
name.
No last
well,
name.
my mission was for the week to take more photos, and I did not.
Did you
do
not?
Well,
that.
okay,
I
so
did
take
not
a
do that.
selfie right now.
Did
It does say add a photo.
There you go.
there you go.
can
Take a photo of you
there.
with the headset
Yeah,
on so
there
they
you go.
know who you are.
And also,
Take a
side,
photo.
it makes you look important.
Makes it look
Also-
like you're actually doing something with yourself.
But also, side note, oh my God, we're popping your cherry, honey.
Yeah, to Bumble.
No, hey, we're doing Hinge
And-
first.
Hinge, not
Oh well,
Bumble.
I'm okay. Well, bye Bumble.
Yeah, let's do,
Sorry,
Hinge.
ladies. He's going to be on Hinge, not Bumble.
Okay,
Hinge is next week.
Okay, welcome to the Hinge app. Okay, this is signed to be. Okay.
John, you're
What
taking
is your
it.
name?
Oh, yeah.
First name.
I'm going to cover my entire face up with the mic. So it's just,
Okay, so far the questions are easy. First name, last name. I got it.
yeah, it's going to be pretty easy.
Nobody
Oh,
actually
Jerry's
puts
doing
their
this as
real
well.
last
Wait,
name, by the way.
last name is optional.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Nobody actually puts their last name.
Really?
Yeah, I
All right,
don't.
bye.
Oh, I do. Should I not?
I mean, okay,
I want
hold
you.
on.
I want you to stalk me on all social media.
Like, yours is super generic, though.
Do you want them to stop you?
absolutely.
Do you want them to
I
see everything
do.
on social media?
You
Jerry,
have, like, the
I
two
wanna- I
most
wanna say-
generic names other than
Jerry, I want-
Smith.
I want to
Yeah.
say single
John
first in my
and
life,
Simon.
so please stalk my social media.
I am the only Carl Parvez ever.
Well,
so.
there you go. You just
You
give
just
your last
threw your
name.
last name out there.
Edit. We'll edit.
We'll
I'll
edit
beat
it.
that out.
Yeah, we can take that out, right?
I'm not editing it out. by the way.
No. Ladies, you were thrown up one bone and one bone only.
I'm never on Facebook, Instagram, or anything. I don't even know how to get on Instagram, so you guys can try and
You
find me
download
all
an app
you
and you
want.
tap that Instagram button. It's pretty simple.
Nope.
Yeah, John's going to harass you until you link it to your
What is
Instagram
your-
page.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, so should I give him my bogus email or like my
No,
actual email?
give them your bogus. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
They're
no.
you're not sending. They're not going to be sending you notifications. Oh, by the way,
No, they
okay.
do. I gave my trash email and literally my trash.
But
every,
you
trash
actually-
email.
every
Do you
notification.
actually
It'll be like, hey, so and so liked you.
That shit
so
goes
and
in
so
my
liked
spam
you.
folder. I'm pretty sure. So I don't give a shit.
Shout out to Yahoo.
Yeah, right.
Hey, give us
Sexy Fox
free
123.
stuff. What does Yahoo own? Nothing anymore.
My mom had an AOL one
don't
until
even
like
think they
maybe
are
3
yet.
years ago.
My friends that still have AOL accounts.
not
I'm like,
kidding.
what, dude? Does it say you got mail stuff when
They
you
never
log
miss
in?
and show disable notifications. I already know.
No.
You're disabled?
You need to keep your notifications on. 'cause
No, because we have to.
we want you to make.
Okay.
It's gonna do push
You know,
notifications.
thank God they ask, "Are you sure?" You know what? I had a change of heart.
I
Enable
want to know when bitches
notification.
think they want to meet me for coffee at Amelie's.
Adding basic info leads to better matches. All right. So you can delete us? What? Okay, enter basic information. All right, let's do this.
All right, what's it asking next?
Where do you live?
Nope.
That's a little much. Zoom into your neighborhood. Okay, I can do
I
that.
picked the next neighborhood over on purpose.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
call.
Also,
Why
because
does
I'm a
it
chick.
start me off in New York?
I don't know
Why
because
is
you probably
location services not happening here?
don't have location services enabled
That's probably true.
for like anything because you can do that.
Not Raleigh.
Me and Raleigh. But it also lets you pick your like if the pin is you and there's a circle around you, it lets you pick like your radius, diameter kind of thing about like the scope of area in which profiles it'll show you.
Yeah,
So
if you want you from 0 miles to 1,000.
So you can determine what is geographically untenable for a relationship.
I think my cutoff is like 4 mil or something like that, just in case.
Yeah, nobody wants dating with fucking Fort Mill.
That's why we're not doing this for me.
Oh wait, no, you're doing it too.
Oh shit!
You're supposed to be doing this too because hold on, hold on. I have an idea
First
for
off,
next.
no.
Jerry,
Second
Jerry.
off, I live in Fort Mill, so you've already said nobody goes there. So
No.
no.
For
Fort Mill people
us.
date Fort Mill
you
people.
date Fort Mill people,
I know all of them. No.
and then on top of that,
Not even if I throw you Jerry beads.
I have an
not
idea.
Even.
I have an idea for next week. I want us all to download Chris Hemsworth's app, which is called Center, where it's a fitness app, and we all have to do it for a month.
Damn it! When you said Chris
Oh, wait,
Hemsworth,
wait,
I
wait.
hoped it was like a daily like nude of him or something.
Wait, earmuffs real quick. Earmuffs real quick.
Do you think they did it on purpose?
Wasn't
absolutely.
Do you think it was to
wasn't
market
the
that app?
best way
To market that app?
Wasn't
Totally
the best
true.
way to do it though.
Oh yeah, well we're all downloading that app next week. By the way. We're gonna do it for a
It
month.
clearly doesn't work for him.
Have you seen him now?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, obviously it works.
have you seen him in the movie?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Earmuffs over.
Thank you for being such good friends, guys.
Meh.
Preach.
It's just it's
Super
a
free.
non-issue.
You say that,
If
but
somebody
I've
made
not
it-
brought up anything to ask you to do earmuffs, whereas they have. So it's like I'm actually respecting the I don't want to know anything aspect.
Thank you,
But
Jerry.
They're just
That
they're
is
just
really
being better bad friends.
But I love her. I love hearing her go la la la.
Oh no,
la,
it's
la,
it's
like that. She has
it's
a great
it's
singing voice.
it's
I like
Paul
singing earmuffs, I'm
it's
not
Paul
gonna lie to you.
Reiser. It's Paul
Did you
Reiser in
compare me
Beverly
to
Hills
Podrick?
Cop.
Also, did anyone else notice the beer belly they gave him?
It's Paul Reiser for in Beverly Hills Cop when Eddie Murphy was like, "I'm not listening, Jeffrey, la 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 la." I'm
No,
not
literally,
listening."
that's what I was. That was what I was really going for. Like,
Anyway,
la, la,
so
la, la, la.
Carl, what section of the app creation or profile creation are you at right now?
Okay, I'm.
Because we have to go through the questions. That's the main thing we
okay.
want to do.
All right, I'm 5'8".
Lies. He's
I
5'7".
am.
Ladies, he's actually 5'4".
I'm clinically diagnosed 5'8".
Well, here's the thing: is you should lie about your height.
Is it
you
chronic?
You should
By a
leave. Hold
doctor.
on, you should
I
leave
was
that blank
diagnosed
because I've seen a lot of profiles basically say, "Hey, yo, if you ain't 6 foot, swipe left."
Well, they're gonna find out when I meet them.
Yeah, but they may just like your charm and
Also,
face. Like
side
alone.
note, guys be lying about that shit. I met one dude one time that was like that said that he was like 5'11". That motherfucker, I showed up in like Doc Martens.
How long do you think men have been lying about inches now?
That's the thing. Is that
I
a
just-
man's inches or a woman's inches?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised
Why
that
do you
it's
think y'all-
magnified to height
Why do you think
because
y'all-
of the internet.
Why do you think there's a stereotype about women not knowing how to park properly because they've been lied to all their lives about what 6 inches is? Just saying. It's a stereotype. Stereotype 6 inches. Ha ha. Joke.
For those listening, I drive very well,
Humor
and
explained is humor denied.
also this
It
woman,
wasn't
this
even
woman
a
drives
joke. It
stick
was called a
shift.
stereotype. Thank you very much. Anyways,
How
Carl,
many men
All
at
right,
this table
so-
have a
It's
manual
humor.
transmission car? Oh wait,
That is pretty badass.
I think I'm the only one.
She does
My
drive.
car doesn't even have a transmission.
She does drive a stick, actually, guys. Just for y'all listening.
Do I do it well?
What
You drive that stick very well.
Anyway, sorry.
All
We're,
right, so
if I had something to prove, I'd be concerned.
yeah, I like how
All
you
right.
guys are like, well, and then Jerry's like, just nah. Whatever.
so first question: what about kids? Don't have kids? Have kids? Prefer
No. We don't. We don't give a shit about
Okay,
what you
okay,
like.
okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
so
We're talking about
mean,
the actual. They're going to be
you
asking
don't even
you
have to
three.
answer that. You can just make it like
okay,
not
where's your-
visible.
They're going to be asking you 3 genie questions
Where's
that you
my
got to
hometown?
answer.
Ooh, can we pass it around and we have to pick which question
Yeah,
he
yeah, that's what
answers?
we're doing. So-
yeah, okay, we can do that. That's fine.
So Carl
we
gets to
have-
pick the first
Hometown.
one. We
Jared,
have 10 minutes.
So we have
Not a lot of time.
we have 4 minutes
mi-
or 10 minutes.
We have 10 minutes.
Okay. I was going to say we can make
We
this
can, we
speed
can
round.
set it up today, and then we can see the
No,
next
no.
time we can see what
All right.
happens.
So
We're gonna
Carl
pick
can
the
do the rest of
questions.
his profile, but we just pick the questions.
Yeah,
and
we're
there's
gonna
3
pick the
questions,
questions.
and there's 3 of us. That works out really well.
Yeah, it is. Well, no, Jerry is a one. Jerry can give his info and.
No,
There's
Jerry
input.
gets to pick a question for Carl. Carl's at our mercy.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Fuck with Carl's dating life.
I mean, I made my Hinge account last week, actually, and
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Well,
how many
first-
matches?
none. But because the answers and questions I chose are so stupid.
Are they?
Oh my god, yes. You were there when I was doing it.
I know. I'm playing dumb. I'm playing to more of my feminine wild cliches.
Oh my god. Oh.
You're welcome. But out bumps.
Anyway, so the question of the pig is, I know the best spot in town for, I say literally everything, because I have a podcast. I'm creating this profile for a podcast. And then my next question was, I geek out on the sound of my own voice.
You were supposed to. I thought you picked the other one, which was you should not date me.
No. There's 3 questions. I'm not there yet.
You already said 3.
No, I didn't. The third question was,
Okay.
you should not go out with me if you don't like the sound of my voice or don't listen to my podcast.
You gotta take the podcast out of there, man, or else
No.
people are gonna know it's a joke.
I mean,
it is a joke.
It's completely a joke. I want to make one of the questions like, hey, swipe right if you want to be subject of one of my podcasts.
Oh my god! What attracted you to me?
You'd get matches
Podcast.
with that.
You think I would?
Yes.
You think women are that terrible?
People.
Oh,
People are.
in general,
I mean,
yeah. It's not just
you were
women.
currently fishing for women. I'm not. If it was open to both sexes, there would be men that would be swiping on.
And
that
you're
as well.
dangling a mild platform for
A
them.
platform for them to be about, this dude talked about me this week.
Right.
Listen to
So
him.
this dude.
Ooh, there we
Hashtag
go.
podcast.
Hashtag podcast.
Hashtag podcast.
So where are we at now, Carlton?
So we're now at the picture
Carlton.
phase.
Did you pull out his government?
No,
Carlton.
he's not even a Carlton. I think he's just Carl.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just a Carl.
I just call him Carlton.
That's like a fish name. That's what I would name like my fish or something. Carl.
Carl the fish.
Fish don't get human names.
You shouldn't name fish.
Fish
They-
are friends.
What's,
okay.
What's the dad's name on Nemo?
That's different.
They all get
What's his
names.
name? I actually don't
Marlin.
remember his
Marlin.
Yeah.
He's a clownfish
Oh,
named
no.
Marlin.
Yeah.
People,
Fish shouldn't get names
guys
'cause
in
they just
Charlotte
die
area,
too
I'm
quickly.
available for Disney trivia anytime you want to do Disney trivia. They do it at the Gin Mill every Wednesday.
All right, I think we're
Or
at the
Thursday at
photo
7 p.m.
phase, so I need photos.
I sent you like 3.
I might go to that one with you. I've been watching a lot of Disney lately.
I'll crush Disney all day long.
I'm pretty sure I just watched Emperor's New
I'm
Groove
still
like 4 times this week.
I need to find another Marvel trivia because I need redemption. I'm still not over that. Maybe if I actually win Marvel trivia, because I came in second place last time. If I go and do Marvel trivia and win,
Hey Carl, how's your selfies going over there?
I might like Endgame more if I win Marvel trivia just one time.
Fucking ass chapped over here.
I am so angry.
Oh wait, no.
You gotta turn your camera
Oh
around.
my god, wait.
He
everyone-
almost took the
So everyone, just to let you know, Carl took a photo of me for selfie.
I don't know how cameras work.
He didn't. He almost. Okay, so they're
For the
sitting.
audience at home, Carl's never taken a selfie.
I stopped
Carl
at
and
And
John
he
are
proceeded to
sitting
take the
across the
camera.
table
He
from
took
each
his
other.
phone and he almost took a photo of me. He goes, huh?
He had
I'll
his,
do that.
He had his arm out at the right angle,
Yeah, I like
but
it.
it was totally going to be a close up of John.
All right, so
We
do you
figured-
look at the camera? Do you not look at the camera? What
It
are the
depends.
steps?
Look away. No.
Okay,
look
well, hold on.
away.
Remember
but
Jerry's
face
a-
the camera. Look away.
Yeah, remember
that's a flash.
that looked extra seductive. Also, remember Jerry's advice though from that other profile. Oh
First
shit,
one.
I forgot to tell you about
No.
No.
It looks like you have a dick in your mouth. Not gonna lie.
that. Jerry's advice from the other one, like that dude's profile that they roasted, where he's like, "Why is he looking so concerned off into the distance?" It's like because
No,
he's
Carl.
like getting his house broken into, and he's wondering
Carl,
why.
look off into the distance, looking very concerned. There you go.
There you go. And then you gotta hold
Actually,
it.
I'll do the camera for you. I'll take
No, it's a selfie.
No, no.
It is a selfie
I'll do
by
the first
right.
one. I'll do the first one, and then we can do a selfie afterwards. So here we go, Carl. Boom.
Dorks.
All right, perfect. That's a great photo, actually.
Yeah.
He's gonna get swiped.
Oh, for sure. Especially with that nice back IKEA lighting going on right there.
Oh no, I got the
It-
plant
it-
in the background.
It looks like It looks like I'm doing a podcast and there's a bug on the wall or on the ceiling.
Oh, perfect. Done. And where's that photo I sent you? There you go.
It's not
you only need
janky
2
because
photos.
he's sat in the one spot where if you like, look backwards, there's holes
Go
in
ahead
the
up.
ceiling.
No. there's-
Okay, wait. I gotta go to the photos that you sent me.
Don't let the picture know it's a basement.
Hey, ladies, come find me in the basement. Back to the GIMP joke.
Full circle Pulp Fiction. Love it.
S&M.
Promise no jazz
Okay.
music. Furious jazz music will be playing on our date.
I love jazz music.
Not that kind.
Oh, good point.
There's literally like a subsection called Pulp Fiction jazz.
Is it really?
I don't know, but there should be.
You just made that up.
No, I just
okay.
totally pulled that out of my ass. Pun intended.
Boom.
Damn, keep going with those Pulp Fiction jokes.
Dead air.
So,
Yes, I
John,
learned
why do you
how.
think yours is a fucking bust? Oh, wait, we figured that out.
We already figured that out. I didn't take it seriously at all.
Have you actually, like, you were talking about, like, re-downloading apps and shit. Like, have you actually done that?
Yeah, I re-downloaded Bumble and Tinder.
And
I've been getting matches. have I talked to him? No, I don't like meeting people that way. I'm not gonna lie to you. I personally prefer meeting women out in the wild.
Yeah, you also went to a live after 5 the other week, and I gave you 2 explicit instructions. That's not where to pick up a fucking chick because
No, I'm pretty sure I could have picked up a chick there or two.
Oh, I did get
a number.
Yeah.
You got a number? You got a number?
Yeah.
We had an
probably the same
entire
number.
45-minute episode on why you don't pick up chicks at a live after 5.
Yeah, well,
Well, I
you know
haven't
what?
texted her since then.
I haven't either.
Oh, you had like love for like the drunk love for like that time you
Oh,
were
they were
together
not-
at the
oh, they were
bar, and
drunk.
then that was it.
Pretty sure I actually got Carl's number. I'm not gonna lie.
I gave you my number.
Like, I gave you my number. I don't remember that.
That's my burner phone.
8 shots of Casamigos later.
Oh my god, you tank.
So, anyways, no, I don't really do. Me personally, I don't translate very well to text. Like, I don't.
No, you come off aggressive as shit.
Yeah. That's why I don't like text messaging. Like, at all.
Can vouch. Got a text. Where are you at? You said 3:30. It's 2:45.
Yeah, well,
I will
no.
be there.
I'm just saying, I don't like literally. I don't like once you start to like get to know me, and then you
No,
start to
I
text
know.
with me. It kind of makes sense, but like that initial text that you're gonna get from me, no. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm like. I just know I know my limits. And
right.
me being a texter
Take
is
that
not
one.
one.
Take that one. Do it.
This
Yeah,
one?
I see it. It looks great. Yes. Money shot.
All
This
you.
one right here.
Yeah, it's cute.
I look adorable.
You do.
You could either be
adorable.
gaming or be on a really popular podcast, and nobody would either know the difference.
Yeah, except for the fact there's no mic piece.
Well, I mean, yeah. So
Why does he have very ancient headphones?
he's
on?
just got really old headphones in a basement.
Why is that basement unfinished?
No reason.
We ran out of crawl space, so we started shoving them, like Haunting in Connecticut style up in the ceiling.
That's how the victims escape.
All right, I'm just gonna upload these photos.
Okay, go ahead. We need these questions.
Like I'm the creepiest one out of all of us.
I have to go work, so
Yeah, I have to go to work at 6.
Choose that one.
wait. Which
Do I,
show is
wait,
that?
add location.
David
and
Bowie
caption.
tribute.
David
No.
Bowie tribute at
So-
the Fillmore or is
Adding
it
a
underground?
Location and/or caption.
Is it Fillmore or underground?
Fillmore. Which is gonna be awesome because I was actually talking to Karl about this when you were gone. I was like, if somebody wanted to literally punch Josh in the dick.
Oh, are you working Falling in Reverse on Monday?
Yeah, maybe I picked up a shift.
I want to go to that show. I'm
Okay,
gonna do
is
that
it gonna
show.
be like children or is it gonna be like old emo heads?
A little bit of both. He's very. Have you listened to Falling in Reverse?
I listened to like 2 songs just to get an idea because I he unfortunately
it's
looks like the older big
He looks like MJK's broken cousin.
No, he literally looks like if Machine Gun Kelly or Justin Bieber and Lil Xan had a threesome and somehow had a baby. Like that's what he
That's what I
fucking.
think. He looks like MGK's broke cousin.
But he does no. That's his like cousin from Alabama or something. I don't know.
I can always add photos later.
Yeah, you can always add photos
you
later.
can
Let's
always
say
edit
that.
it later. Yeah.
We're not very concerned with that at the moment. But no, I really want to go to that show because there's a bunch of. I mean, Ice Nine Kills is going to be there.
All right, right profile answers.
Okay.
There
I
we
guess,
go.
Yeah.
We want to find the right question.
I'm gonna pop your question, Cherry, real quick.
Let's start reading the questions so people know what these type of questions they ask you on these stupid fucking dating apps.
All right. So the wonderful. I'm going to turn up your brightness because I'm fucking blind and we're also in a basement. My simple pleasures
Stop telling
are.
us the fact we're in a basement, goddammit.
On
My simple pleasures are.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
My simple pleasures are.
on my.
My simple pleasures are sweating the small stuff. Oh my god, do it.
On my
That is
bucket
one of my
list to do
pleasures.
Oh my god,
DMT.
you should put that as your answer right
Well,
there.
I haven't been sweating a lot of small stuff lately. I don't
You,
think.
you should be
Yeah, no
honest.
It's been my cat that's really brought me back.
Meowcom, what's wrong?
Meowcom. No, he's the light of my life. That's the thing.
Oh, bless
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
angel child.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a picture of you and your.
You need to
Oh,
put. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Like as a female, like I will probably like you 85% more if you have an animal picture.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I'm with it.
Did you say pants down?
Hands down.
Pants down.
I thought I was supposed to.
We hear what we want to hear.
First off,
Yeah,
I
right.
thought you got at least a phone number that's like 45% laid. Also, second, no, I thought I was the one who's supposed to
Wait,
be
getting
deaf
a phone
because I.
number? Wait, time out. Let's just swing this back a bit. Did you really just say getting a number is 45% getting laid?
Yeah.
Really?
So, like, if I can't fill in the other 50...
I think that would be correct.
So if I
Yeah,
can't...
Jerry's got more experience.
So
Back me up
what
here,
you're
homie.
essentially saying is that I
mean, granted,
awful at
his
following
shit was
through.
rotary dial. But
Well, let me just say,
I'm terrible at following
I
through.
would say it's like a conversation
Nice.
at that point. Like the first 2 situations, the meetings of communication. as an outsider looking in into the way these situations look, are women determining is this bone worthy or not?
Yeah, like does my brain? My brain says yes.
Because
I don't know if my vagina says yes.
and
like they both have to like,
or the reverse, depending on what's going on in your relationship status or the summer or who knows, whatever.
My vagina says yes, but my brain says
no, not this guy.
Do we want to make his profile appealing?
And then during
Okay.
that first two
we're trying to get rid of him.
contact situations,
He'll never come back to the show.
Then you have three options that you become. It's the bone worthy, nope, just like somebody I'd like to spend time with and be a friend, or like nope, you're a horrible person, I never want to see you again. So those are the three options.
Okay, Karl, I think I'm going to give you a little retro throwback just because I think it's funny. If I still had AIM, my away message would be.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one, right?
I'm confused. The question.
Dashboard confessional lyrics.
So my
I had AFI ones.
if I still had AOL, my message to you would be
No, your away message.
Your away message on AIM would be.
Oh, you can't do that without like
I remember those now.
But that's when you do like the weird squiggly like fonts because there weren't emojis yet.
Yeah.
So you like made like a capital
Or
X,
you're
a capital
me and you
D
find the
with
most
like
emoticons.
Yeah.
emoticons.
And
sorry.
if you were me, you would find the most emo lyrics possible at the moment because.
In your eyes,
No.
I lost my place. Sorry, this is why I don't sing, guys. I sell the liquor, not the songs. All right, here. I like controversy, and I like it's a topic to starter.
What is it? What's the question?
My most controversial opinion is it's a conversation starter.
Boom! You hate fucking pandas.
I don't like dolphins.
He hates
What?
dolphins.
I don't like dolphins.
Go ahead, dude. No,
So you're
go ahead
all
and answer that one, 'cause I'm
for
gonna answer your question.
un-eco-friendly
No,
source.
I am for
tuna.
every animal in the entire except for maybe mosquitoes.
What do
and
you have
pandas
against dolphins? Did you just watch the King of the Hill dolphin episode?
No.
way too many times?
No. This has been a long hatred for me. It's my main thing with dolphins, and I think I talked with Jere before about this. Is they're rapists and they get away with it. So they're that cute and that lovable that they can rape and no one cares.
Oh, it's a dolphin, as he sexually harasses.
So it's a swimming teddy bear, but like the rape
No,
bear.
no.
Swimming teddy bears wouldn't rape you.
Carlton, go ahead and answer that question with dolphin because we're going to go ahead and answer these real fast because these are really easy questions to answer. So go ahead and say, I do not like dolphins.
I don't like dolphins. I just,
No,
it
no,
doesn't
geez.
have to be some
No,
big thing.
Don't say why, because
Yeah,
Don't say why.
That's
No,
the hook.
That's the
I
hook.
don't like dolphins.
Yeah, I don't like dolphins.
No. It'd be like, I find dolphins evil. Or,
No.
I don't like dolphins.
Okay.
The ideas
that
for the
difference,
questions.
that difference in wording is why he will get swipes and,
And
you
you
did
will
not.
not.
I don't like dolphins.
Because
Okay, done.
if you just say,
All right,
I don't like
next one.
dolphins, you're inviting conversation.
Yeah.
for
Why
somebody
don't
to
you
go,
like
Why
dolphins?
don't you
Why do I
like
like
dolphins?
dolphins?
And then
It's not a
boom.
declarative statement of I think dolphins
It's-
are evil. There's no question in that.
Yeah.
Like if you say dolphins
All right,
are
so-
fucking evil, they're rapists,
Hold on,
then
time
there's
out.
no,
Hold on,
there's
quick
nothing
question.
else to say.
Time out. So,
And then also go ahead.
no, I'm going to go ahead and start reading out some of the questions because you weren't even reading them
I
out.
read a couple of
So
them, and
we'll
then
get
you just got
along.
really
So
loud.
here's some of the questions these stupid fucking things ask you. We'll get along if next. I'm convinced that. Ooh, that would be a good one for you.
You should have the mom question out there.
I'm convinced they're after me. Who's they? Find out. The secret to getting
No.
to know me is the way to win me over is
No, none of those.
What if I told you that?
No.
I'll know I've made it when.
No.
I used that one.
Teach
It's a
me
bad
something
idea.
about.
I think women can use that one, but I don't think men can use that one.
Oh, you know
I
what?
know if
It
it
always
win.
comes
Well, you
off
said
as-
I
Go-
said
no, no,
arrogant.
you know what? I
Yeah,
kinda-
for women, it's like ambitious, but not like whatever. For guys,
So you know
it's
what?
like, oh, you're
I'm
a
not gonna
douche.
lie to you. I kind of want to go with this one based on the first one we asked. Is because you don't like dolphins. I want the next one to be like, if loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right. So you should be like, I love this though, but don't put your cat.
No,
No, everyone loves
no.
cats. Everyone loves cats.
Okay.
Not at
Also,
all.
side
Most
note:
people
the
love cats.
idea also behind
There's
his
more cats in households than
profile
dogs.
being successful is diversity. So yours not only blows because of the arrogance undertone; it's also a joke. Side
Yeah.
note,
Yeah, I know.
but you have to diversify. You can't just have everything be
I
tied
won't-
together. It's
I
not a
won't
novel.
I won't shut up about. You should not go out with me if the award I should be nominated for.
That'd be a good one.
I bet you can't.
No, fuck that question.
I know.
Terrible question.
I'm weirdly attracted to.
Oh no.
No.
I like that.
That's just anyone reading that. Oh, I don't have that. He's not gonna like me.
Ideal first date would be Best travel story.
If you say tacos and margaritas to that, I will instantly X you.
You know how many fucking profiles I've seen tacos and margaritas on?
Taco Tuesday.
At the same time, that chick probably like, yo, I love hiking. And you're like, yo, you look like you haven't hiked at least since the first Obama
Yes, we
administration.
roasted that in the last episode.
Yeah, I know.
so-
It's fucking... just going through getting back on mobile and Tinder, I realized nothing changes.
No, it doesn't.
Anyways.
It all recycles the same people that you...
It's the same
all high school.
recycled bullshit. My ideal fake sick day would be... nah.
I'll just recap.
Let's
Feelers.
debate this topic. Ooh.
No, 'cause that's
you're inviting
something-
controversy.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you wanna do that in person.
Oh, wait. My most irrational fear.
Oh, that's a good
Irrational
one.
fear. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It can be short and sweet.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it seems like you have a few of those as well.
Irrational fears.
Because, I mean, you...
Okay, I don't
Getting raped by
particularly like
dolphins.
that's a rational fear. Everyone should be afraid
Because
of
that happens.
that. Everyone should be afraid of that.
Malcolm getting a blowhole and turning into a dolphin.
Yeah, just me waking up, him like flipping me in the space
Instead
with a
of cat
tail.
dog, it's cadolphin. Colphin?
Catfish.
Dog cat.
Catfish.
Dolphat.
Irrational fear, man. I'm sure I do. It's just hard to
No,
like
I just
take
have an
it up
image
the-
of
No.
Being asked questions without preparation.
Yeah, Carl, I've been hanging out with you now for about 7 months.
Oh my
You have
God,
a
you're
few irrational fears.
Wait,
I
okay,
have
wait,
to
can you- wait,
recall.
well,
I
you-
can't
you-
think off the top of my
that's
head.
We're like on the equivalent of a first date with like 3 people all chiming in at the same time, by the way.
My most irrational fear is my podcast is being on my first date with me.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God, we should totally do that.
No.
Mic'd up for his first date. Like,
I do always have this.
we're answering the questions for him. Like,
No, just be like, hey, can you meet me at McNick's house? Like, yeah. And then walk her over
I
here
do.
for the podcast. So fucking mean.
You sit there. I'll talk.
About you.
all right, no. So, most irrational fear.
No, I do have this one fear, and it is irrational. Okay, so
No, go start typing
okay,
while
so,
you're saying it.
well, I don't know if this is irrational fear or is this something people talk about sometimes. Sorry, but
You're worse than me about
Time's
not.
ticking.
Yep.
yeah.
All right.
So sometimes when I'm like just sitting around, sitting on the couch, I have a fear that someone's gonna drive into the house.
Do you
I just-
live on a first floor or second
first
floor?
We
floor.
live on the first floor.
Oh, I was
floor,
gonna say, if you
on
lived on the
street,
second
yeah.
floor, that'd be fucking hilarious.
That is an irrational fear.
That would actually be an irrational fear.
I actually didn't know that, so I was like, wait a second.
It's nothing I act on. It's just something I think about sometimes.
Okay, there you go.
Honestly,
I
in
am
Charlotte,
afraid that
that's
someone's
not-
going to
Yeah.
drive their car into my house.
Oh my god, what?
I don't know how to avoid that.
No, my irrational fear is one day someone's going to just drive their car
through my
through my fucking house.
Well, I don't know how to put that in
into my
words.
house, not into my house.
Without becoming like too like I need to lock all doors, kind of like
no. Like
no.
somebody's gonna mess up and drive their car through the front of my house. It's not
and
hard.
ruin my day.
And maybe my dolphin cat.
My dolphin cat. Now that'll start a conversation. You have a dolphin cat?
So Josh, by the way, who was just on this podcast earlier, stated that tell Rachel I warmed her seats with farts.
Sorry, I'm at like dick level with him, so I can literally just punch him in the dick, and it's not gonna be that hard.
Well, I mean, you are literally at dick level, so you could literally punch him in the dick without even. You could headbutt him in the dick, probably.
Honestly, yeah, I don't want to headbutt him because that's just
It's weird. Is
Yeah,
it weird? I'm
yeah.
thinking it's weird.
I don't
it's
think
a
it's
little
weird.
weird.
No, it's not weird at all.
It's a little weird.
I think you guys are
You
weird.
prefer headbutting into the dick?
I would not want to headbutt anyone in the dick.
but-
I'm a dude.
But so then it is weird then.
Not really.
But you would
So you
rather
wouldn't
a
do it.
woman
He's
face.
6'9". She could. She's
Also,
short.
say now, how do you
No, no, no.
differentiate between a headbutt to the dick and like
Forehead.
ramming the dick, like just
like
like
a
okay,
billy goat. Like,
I think the headbutt is a one-off, and the ramming it would be the multiple times.
I think the ramming would be hilarious.
I
Not gonna
kind of
lie.
want to do that.
Like
just-
you put the little horns like up.
I've got
you put your
antlers.
You put your
I
fingers
really,
up to your head.
if
You're
he's
like,
fucking texting you because he's watching this, I'm gonna die.
How does that sound?
all right, last
Oh,
question for
no, is that his response?
Is that his response? Is he watching
If
this?
he was watching, that'd be hilarious.
Tell him be prepared. He's got less than 45 minutes to run. All right, so Karl, you said my most irrational fear is of someone ramming, nice use of the word, ramming their car into my apartment while I'm sitting on the couch. Okay,
That's a quality irrational fear.
yeah,
so
like you're
now,
sitting on the couch.
Give
all
the
of a sudden
phone to
there's a
Jerry so we can do the
fucking-
last one so we can end
All
this.
right, there we go.
Oh my god, I haven't laugh cried this hard in a while. That's funny.
Raffle.
He didn't respond, did he?
Not yet.
Sweet. doesn't know what's.
Jerry, go ahead and keep reading questions like I was.
You read them out loud.
Oh, let me. The one I immediately swipe by because they're like, really? These are actually things that people would
Yeah,
answer.
Yeah,
they're fucking dumb. That's why I
This
was like,
is why when you like
I
went through.
unwind too. It's like no wonder nobody connects
Masturbation.
really on these things.
Like
go home,
everyone
rub
else.
one out. Yeah,
Like
that's right.
everyone
Get
else.
home, rub one out, I'm
Pornhub,
done.
duh.
Yeah.
While making direct eye contact with my cat.
Oh, I called it the your dolphin cat.
By the way, ladies, he really loves that guy.
No, it's a thing of dominance. I read it in a book.
Oh no, this one's actually not bad because it's a little bit like on the edge of being too much of a weird kind of doofy douches thing depending on what you did, but it kind of shows some adventureness. Most spontaneous thing I've done.
Oh, Jesus.
Whipped his dick on a roller coaster.
Whipped your dick out on a roller coaster?
No,
What?
I just
Actually, don't answer that if that's the.
So,
I literally.
That's fucking hilarious. At the highest point in Charlotte, my dick was out.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That would have been my answer, but I'm not the one answering his question. So
One time at Scarewinds when
Just so
nobody
you
was
know,
around.
you should pick that question and use that answer.
You
Maybe
should
I will.
totally use that one.
I'm gonna go and revise my Hinge account right now. I'm gonna go and put I whipped my dick out on Thunder Road.
I was literally going to say it has to be Thunder Road because that would be
Of
yeah,
course
awesome.
it's gonna be
but then
Thunder
this
Road. I mean,
poor
all
girl's
the-
like, if he did that, just going to the park where there's kids, what he's going to do when there's a date?
Whip your dick out on the table.
Maybe that's a Let me guess what you're going to order. The sausage.
on the note of sausage, I said this in a text the other day because somebody was talking about food because we're preparing to go to Epicenter in a couple weeks, and so we're all talking about food and shit. And I hadn't eaten all day. I was in class from like 9 a.m. until like 5:30 p.m. Didn't fucking bring a snack and shit. So they're all talking about food and shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to go home and like shove food in my mouth.
So-
and then Ashton was like, oh, it's the old feast and treat. I'm like, oh no, I'm going for the holy trinity of feast, fap, and nap.
Fap and nap.
Feast,
Love it.
fap, and nap.
So here's the thing.
So it sounds like Thanksgiving.
So
Holy Trinity, man.
Hinge goes.
I am risen
So
afterwards.
So that's what you got?
Hinge gives you like a little like, hey, this is what you could answer. Like, for example, the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. Hinge goes, after I paid off my student debt, I quit my career, my degree, and started from scratch.
Oh my god!
Who the fuck would say that?
I honestly want to see if somebody just like
Whipped.
copied and pasted that shit answer and left it in there.
Whipped.
I
I'm
bet
sure
there's
someone
lazy
has.
son of a bitch with like the most deadpan humor that like just put that as the actual answer because even though it was the example answer
Whipped my dick out while riding Thunder Road.
at the very top. Can you at least just make it seem more momentary that it happened, like really quickly?
Well, no,
at the highest point between North and South Carolina.
No, you don't.
I did it.
You don't say that because you would assume that it has to be that. Because if you were able to do that at any other point in the ride, that's kind of impressive. on any of the movement of it.
And so, no, for those who don't know Thunder Road, you sit down and then you've got one of those.
It old school.
It was an old wooden roller coaster.
Old wooden roller coaster.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Dale Earnhardt one.
No.
The,
Intimidator.
I
It's a
got-
little bit better since you have that
You
little
should
vibration
totally-
going
Oh
on.
my god!
Oh
It
my
goes to the
God.
Intimidator? No,
I thought it was
Thunder
the
Road.
Intimidator.
No,
That
the
would be
old
awesome
Thunder-
as shit.
Thunder Road
No.
doesn't exist anymore.
No, the old.
So basically, by whipping out your dick on that wooden rickety like lawsuit waiting to
we
happen,
going forward
you
or
basically
we're backwards on
it's
that
going
ride?
backwards.
There you go.
I think that's hilarious. That's way funnier than fucking the Intimidator. Oh my god! Because I'm laying down.
I would love to whip my
No,
dick
the
out on
Dale
the Intimidator.
No, I was thinking it was the Dale Earnhardt one because like it's more impressive because they give you that lap thing that basically smushes your pelvis, into the
That would
seat.
imply that I have a really tiny dick.
But that's what I'm saying. It would be
How would I
impressive.
whip my dick out on that thing?
But I'm just saying that's why it would
Or
be
you're just like,
impressive that you did. Oh my god, fuck. Hulk smash dick!
Yeah, so it just explodes. Yeah.
I was holding on for dear life as we dipped down because I whipped my dick out.
Why
on the
does every
Intimidator.
episode end in us talking about dicks?
Because we
you
talk about
showed
the Star
up.
Wars trailer.
Anyway, so did you answer your last question?
No, well, okay. So probably the most spontaneous thing I did is when I used to live in Ohio. There's this one restaurant I loved called Skyline Chili. It's a little hole in the wall kind of place.
It's
No, well, it's a chain
known
actually.
now.
Do they use
Yeah.
cats?
Well, there's like eight.
It's a well-known.
Yeah, but there's like 8 stores. But no, I really, really loved it, and I hadn't had it in years and years and years and years. So I drove from Virginia to Ohio just to go get it. That was probably the most spontaneous thing I've done.
That's a little crazy.
Wait, you've been talking about Skyline Chili now for like about several weeks now.
No,
Are you implying that you're going to disappear for 2 days?
I would
to
fly
just
up
go
there
get
just to go
chili.
get it.
Do you like bring home like one of those industrial sized buckets, like when you buy industrial pickles and they have like literally like the lid? And
You're going to
It's,
text.
it's
I'm
either
gonna
that
text,
or a lot of drunk stories.
I'm going to get a text. Oh, our drunk stories.
Oh, that's Bert playing with fire, gentlemen, and that's not a.
We're gonna go. We're not gonna go.
That's
down
not a
that bag
song of
worms.
fire and ice.
That's the thing. You don't want to answer
master.
that with the drunk story.
No, that's a social genocide.
Exactly.
Until you get to know
Jerry's
me.
nodding in agreement.
Until you get to know me, and like 1 week later, I get drunk with you. I'm like, by the way, this one time you did what, the who, and where?
I do love when you come up to me at work and I see you when you're mostly sober, and then we talk for a minute, and then I usually go, all right, bye. I gotta go sell other people overpriced things, and then you come back like an hour or two later, and you're fucking plastered, and then you start forgetting that there's people behind you, and you start telling me this fucking story.
That's my life in general. I don't.
And you know what? I indulge you
But
because it's hilarious in the
well,
moment.
here's the thing: is these are the things I would do sober.
All right, guys.
So, guys,
We gotta wrap it up.
Anyways, we gotta wrap it up. Hey, ladies who are now single or gonna be single,
I don't
Or
care if they're
have
single.
been.
Why are you cutting his odds?
Yeah, right?
All right, fine. Hey, you ladies
The
out
numbers
there.
game.
Go ahead.
No, you gotta say it like the Marvin Gaye. It's hey, you ladies.
Well, hey, you ladies. Be on the lookout for Karl Pavez on Hinge this week. And
Only available on Hinge this week. Next week, you got more competition
next
on
week
Bumble.
comes Bumble. What comes first, Bumble or Karl?
Exclusive. Exclusive Hinge for Hinge members only.
Exclusively, hey, for 1 week only, exclusively. For 1 week only, exclusively, only to Hinge. Karl Pavez will be on that dating app, so please be on the lookout.
Carl, I haven't
Sign
been on
up
mine
today.
I
Sign
haven't
up
been on mine
today.
in weeks, and I'm purposely just gonna go through all of this shit to see if I can't find yours.
So, anyways, guys, thank you very much for listening to Simon Says This Week. I'm John Simon, signing off with my trusty producer. Jerry, anything to say?
Next time we do, I'm stumbling over because I'm so excited about this potential. Is when you're on social media, the apps, and you come across somebody you know in real life. Don't answer. We'll talk about that next time.
Okay,
That
can you
sounds
jot that down because
I'll remember that.
goldfish brain because that has happened to me a couple times.
I've had women purposely do that to me, literally in the same building.
Ew, that's
wow, like we're literally in the same building.
signing
and they're like-
off.
I
This
know,
is
I know,
next
no, I'm
week.
just saying, like, it's happened to me 3 times. Carl, anything for you?
No.
Look for this-
Karl Pavez over and out
On Hinge,
on Hinge, but super on Hinge. I don't.
unhinged or on Hinge?
Carl unhinged.
This is Karl.
Carl unhinged.
So next week
Carl
we're gonna have a
Unhinged laying pipe.
next week we're gonna have a segment called Karl Unhinged.
Carl, you get your own fucking episode.
You're gonna get your own segment.
Oh God.
This is actually gonna come before Smart and Small Stuff. It's
Oh my
Karl.
God! Instead of Simon says, it can be Carl says.
Well, no,
Whoa.
no. Wait. No.
No,
That's a
Wait,
segment in the episode.
Wait, no, wait. When I find someone on after Karl unhinged, we could do sweating the small stuff with Carl's date.
Done. And Rachel, anything for you? Any last parting words?
No. You know what? I think we thoroughly covered all the different references of dick and dating and Game of Thrones and all of it.
Throning.
And literally, or derobing.
Deep throning.
Deep throating.
and ram headbutting. So this is Rachel Lauren, your favorite lavender-haired potty mouth.
All right, kids.
Still the
Everyone have a
best.
good night.
Still the best.